Welcome to Combox Live Watch Along. Me and Varun are with you from the start. Glenn, if he can work out how to make himself not look like a puppet, which is what we've been seeing from his feed so far. So he's off working there. LSG won the toss and chose to field. Where are we now? So the 11s as they currently stand, Ajinkya Rahane, Finn Allen, Cameron Green, Raghavanshi, Rinku Singh, Ramandeep, I'll get it.
Ramandeep.
I'm not even going to say it anymore. Anukul Roy, Robman Powell, Sunil Narain, Navdeep Saini, and Tyagi is the last bowler. So, Tyagi, I can't read anything here. I'm going to make this bigger so I can actually see it. And the reason is I'm also looking at who are the super subs there, impact subs, are Tripathi, Saifet, Manish Pandey, Aurora. Okay, so we have 1, 2... So they've got 4 internationals in the side. So why would they have Tim Seifert as a sub?
Fielding, probably.
The wicketkeeper. Okay. Anyway, the big news there, I suppose, at the moment is that Blessing Muzarabani they've moved on from him. Lucknow have Mitch Marsh, Aiden Markram, Rishabh Pant, Nicholas Piran, Abdul Samed, Makul Chowdhury, M. Siddharth, Avesh Khan, Shami, Digvesh Rathi, and the Prince Yadav, one of my favorite princes. One day he'll just be Simple, which is how we know the other prince. They're super subs. So I'm trying to read these things out and count the internationals. 1, 2, 3. So they have 3 internationals in their side at the moment, which means they can use a sub. And so their sub at the moment potentially could be Shahbaz Ahmed. We've seen him a little bit. They've got Mayank Yadav listed as a sub. I don't know how that works. And Britsky looks like the most likely, doesn't he? Or Badoni?
I think Himmat Singh, they like Himmat Singh usually. I think he played a couple of games from what I know.
Did he?
Is it Himmat Singh? Oh, I just made his name up.
I don't remember Himmat Singh playing. He's been listed in 3 matches. Is he the guy who's good at fielding, maybe?
He might have been the guy that was really smashing it in the nets, I believe.
Okay.
Sorry, Badoni. I forgot Badoni's in the team. He will play, of course.
Yeah, I said Badoni.
Yeah.
Badoni or Britsky. They can bring in Britsky or Badoni depending on what they need there. And they brought in Shahbaz Ahmed for another game, didn't they? At one stage when so they've got a few different things available to them. I just realised I'm watching the wrong screen. This is my fast screen, isn't it? What else do we need to tell you? It's the same pitch from the game that was washed out. So that we saw a lot of swing. And you said that the ball that Cam Green went out to, can you tell everyone what the expected average of that ball was?
I believe it was 5. It seemed, I think it's swung away 2.33 degrees and seemed away 1.97. That's about as close to unplayable as it gets.
And in terms of, my laptop has decided to take over my iPad, and I don't know how to stop that from happening.
Is it the Mac thing?
Yeah, but I didn't start it.
And first ball, and he's got in some nice shape.
Shami again. So we've got a third slip in place. As you say, lovely shape there, and that's just going to go down to mid-wicket. Down to third for 1.
Yeah, 138.4. Decent speed to start off with. I think if they swing and Shami's on a rhythm, it could be a bit troublesome for the KKR openers. But Rahane is an unbelievably good player of right-arm pace.
Yeah, fascinating early shot there. Just on the front foot, just opening the face, running it down. I don't know how to get out of this.
So go to settings on your Mac.
I can't. How do I go on my Mac? My mouse is stuck in my iPad. Oh, actually,
just keep.
And it's the loudest we've ever seen. This is a swing ball that cuts away from Finn Allen.
So Glenn is stuck in the 1990s and Akshay's on an airplane, is what it sounds like.
Actually, if you just take your mute off for a second, let's see where you are.
All right. Okay. You guys can hear me clearly.
Please put the mute back on.
Look pretty on the screen, Ban. It looks good. It's fine.
If we could take Akshay out and just test his sound somewhere else. Anyway, the ball is moving, and we are here. There are some of us here. Shami gets another one. This swings violently. That just kept swinging as well.
That swung, yeah.
That swung like 2-3 degrees.
It felt a lot more than 3, that.
It just keeps going. It beats him with a little bit of swing, and it kept going all the way through.
I mean, this could be a wicket overjar because Finn Allen does not like using a brain usually early on.
See, I disagree. I think he does use his brain. If he's facing swing early on, he thinks to himself, if I hit it for 6, chances are the ball's not going to swing as much anymore.
So the first ball swung minus 3.65 degrees, and the second one swung minus 1.6. Oh, that just darted back in there. Bloody hell.
Sorry, I'm just resetting my thing because I had to
that's fine.
cheat on my iPad a little bit. So that one came back in off the seam though, was it?
Yeah, I think it jagged back in there.
Just to say that the expected runs is at about 192, and I think it's about 200 when we started, maybe about high 190s. I would have said so. This swing has just brought it down a little bit.
I think that swung in there.
No, actually, he's got a meal going. This ball swings away. It's a big shot by Finn Allen. And it goes down to 3rd for 1.
No, it is not, my friend, unfortunately.
No. Rakshit or Vignesh, if any of you are listening, you might just help out. Actually, we've had some technical problems today. We've barely started, guys, and we've had some technical problems. Wait until I tell you that we almost had an empty chair for Wagon Wheel because I had to go and get a package while I was recording.
By the way, Jared, I think you missed super chats for Wagon.
If we could get Akshay to go into another room and check his sound and then bring him back when he's fine. I think that will... Not that he's not pretty and we don't want to look at him all day.
Yeah, but I think I meant to text you. You missed some super chats from Wagon Wheel.
No, I didn't have any comments on Wagon Wheel.
No, they were. It was on the YouTube side. There were like 3 or 4 super chats.
This is a boundary anyway.
For some reason, the stream cut away. I just missed that entirely.
So we just have a look. So they were 2 without loss off the first 5 balls. And then Rahane gets one from Shami that is full. He sort of slices across it. He makes beautiful contact, but it's a weird shot. It goes for 4.
Yeah, I think it's apologies
Shami, to anyone who came on Super Chats, because on StreamYard there was nothing. There was not just was there no Super Chats, Varun.
No comments.
There were no comments at all. Because I just finished asking Rakshit what had happened. And he said, I don't understand how that would happen. So at least that makes more sense. So apologies to everyone there. We'll try and get that. In fact, if we have super chats from Wagon Wheel, maybe if Vignesh or Ruck should have a chance, they could just take a screenshot of them and we can answer them on this show.
Plenty of swing for Shami. I think there's only 1 ball. The least amount of swing in this over was 1.6 degrees. I think which was the second ball. So
Prince Yadav coming on at the other end. Exceptionally short fast bowler. Doesn't help the standing next to Aiden Markram. Although Aiden Markram is only listed about 185, 186 centimeters, but he feels a lot bigger than that to me. Anyway, Yadav comes in, good pace, good swing, and some excellent wicket keeping here. It was a wide, by the way. Excellent wicket keeping down the leg side as he ends up trying to kick the ball
away.
up.
Was that an attempted outswinger, but it was just 2 leg side?
So that is what we call the dream ball, right? And what outswing bowlers will tell you is, if they'll try and get it so it starts on the stumps and then swings away, but quite often it doesn't swing back or it swings too late. So in that case, it did swing, Burren, but after it was already a wide.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of super chats here as Finn Allen forces this one down a deep backward square and he'll pick up a boundary.
4-4. Oh, wow.
Andy says, is Stubbs or Brevis better? Who has the more T20 upside? Brevis for me.
Brevis.
I think that Stubbs is leaving a lot on the table. I think what happened was early in his career, he probably over-attacked a little bit and went out too often. And now he's probably gone the other way a little bit too much. But yeah, if I was going to pick one.
Also, wasn't CS the one who was telling us that he's actually a defensive batter who has to attack? It's not in his nature to attack, whereas Brevis, he feels a lot like it's in his nature. He's almost one of those new gen batters who like attacking for ball 1, isn't it?
This is short again. He's forced this away for another boundary in exactly the same spot. It goes a lot quicker than the last one. He's just
he's bowling back of the length.
Yeah,
and he's bowling too straight and he's bowling the long length.
And this shot of Finn Allen's quite interesting. It's almost like a front foot pull shot / flick all at the same time. He's literally just trying to get the ball as square as possible from. I mean, look at that last one. That might have been off stump. To be fair, I take that back,
Yeah.
Prince. There was
It
nothing
was,
wrong
it
with
was.
that. He's just going for this gap on the leg side, and he hits the ball so hard that he only needs to beat the fielder by a little bit. We'll get to this.
Yeah, I think Stubbs' main issue currently is Miller does the same role, and both of them can't be in the same team.
Yeah. By the way, well, we can talk about it later, but you won't believe this. Rob Barron has sent me an essay on David Miller.
Yeah,
Based on what happened the other day.
he said,
Have you
I
seen
think
it?
he said that. No, he said he talked about it in the group. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
as he spent an hour writing an article on it for some reason.
I'm actually okay with that. And we can talk about it in a little while. I did a video on it. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's gone down well with people. But I think if you're a batter and you're in that kind of form, you back yourself to hit the next ball for at least a single, right? So, and I watch a lot of basketball where teams do that a lot. This is a top edge.
Wait,
It's gone
that's
very, very high. It should be 6, though. It is not 6. It is caught by Digvesh
who's
Rathi
taking
on the
it?
boundary.
Oh wow!
Just takes it inside the line. He didn't
I
look like
think
the most
that's-
confident man.
I think that's the first ball he actually got the length right on. The one before was a bit overcorrection and he went too full, and this would look like a proper length delivery.
Yeah, it was the top of off stump. He tries to flick it on that flick shot on the leg side really
Yeah.
again. And are we having a look at the boundary line? Just wondering if they've had a look at it.
To be.
It looked like it was fine to me, but he was very close
right.
to it. Yeah, we're just having a look. Yeah, we might have to have a look at that. Oh,
Oh, that's
he
close.
styled that out a little bit, Varun. But that
Yeah.
first step was really close to the padded triangle. Like, I would look at this more. But anyway, we might get back to that a little bit. So the expected runs went over 200 there when Finn Allen hit a couple of boundaries. They'll come back down again, I believe, in the next little while. We got Akshay back, and this time we can hear him and not everyone around him.
Perfect. All right. Thank God. Thank God for that. Yeah. Jeez.
Although I just don't know what the point is of you coming in now that Finn Allen's gone out, because that's the only reason anyone will watch them.
Nope. Look at the jersey I'm wearing, Jared. I couldn't make it more obvious than that.
Yeah, just having a look. Yeah, they just got over expected run line. So expected run line was about what was it? 200 exactly, actually, when they started play. And we're looking at about 190-ish at the moment. So we'll keep you updated with that. Raghuvanshi is coming out.
I think it might be a bit of a walking wicket here if the ball's moving.
Be interesting to see. They got 2 slips in place. They've got a 3rd and a 5th. And this is bowled beautifully if you're trying to bowl to that field. And he just eases this out to backward point and they take a single. So this game was pretty much even money coming in. Lucknow of about 52% chance of winning it. And obviously now they're just a little bit further. Where are we now? They're at 57%. So nothing's changed massively there.
What's the reason that Mujrabani is not playing today?
They
Don't know,
got
we
in
haven't got
Rodman
to-
Powell.
Oh, yes, it
Okay.
is. It's Rodman Powell has come in.
Yes.
Another guy who's really good at hitting pace. Just what KKR's always needed.
It reminds
So I
me of
think
the.
Green and... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, it reminds me of the last auction cycle where, if I remember correctly, they had a top order that really struggled against pace and hard lengths. You know, they had Venkatesh Iyer, Shreyas Iyer, they had Rahul Tripathi. I'm forgetting a couple more players. So it's almost like they saw that. They were like, you know what? We need better batters of pace. And they just went all out on it without factoring, you know, that you need at least one spin hitter, if not more. But yeah.
So yeah, sorry. So Green and Raghuvanshi actually don't get out to spin at like a below par rate of strike rate versus them. So you don't. I think the issue is I think both of them are number 4s. They don't really have an obvious number 3. They can't. They can't also. There's no one to hit spin in that team either. There's a lot of flaws in the batting, Jared.
It's an interesting batting lineup. It's complicated,
Yeah.
as Mark Zuckerberg might once have said. Just the swing's disappearing a little bit here. So it was
Also, shit ball
exaggerated
there.
swing, and now just settling down a little bit.
So Gyan did say me and Akshay are the only 2 LSG supporters.
You've got my support, Gyan. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's handle. Let's handle all the vitriol that Sanjeev Goenka has received, on his behalf. Not that he cares. Oh,
So we got the Prime Minister in the group chat. Good morning, Jared, my boy. Hope to meet you soon.
Is he Prime Minister or President?
Prime
The
Minister.
Prime Minister. Oh,
He's
God,
Prime
thank
Minister.
God.
I always get confused.
Yeah.
I hate countries that have Prime Minister. I think everyone should either call it Prime Minister or everyone should call it President. And I say that as a person who comes from a country with a Prime Minister.
The UK doesn't have a president, do they, Jared?
No. They got Prime Minister
Yeah.
too. There's
We've
other
got
ones too,
both.
isn't it? What's Germany? Germany's Chancellor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I hear Chancellor and I don't think you're in charge of anything. I always think like they've just farmed it out to some random person to help them.
So what is it? Some European countries have monarchy still. I think Denmark has it. Spain might have it.
Wait, Denmark has a monarchy?
Yep.
No, they're not. They're not in power, but it's a bit like the
Of
UK
course.
since they exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that,
okay.
I think that isn't it is it the Danish ones that are really chilled? There's one of the royal families that is just like you could just live next door to them, like they're just dudes. And then one of the other royal families in Europe recently got done for being in the Epstein files, right?
I mean, that was UK as well.
Only
I mean, Prince Andrew was
No,
caught.
but that was the famous. Everyone knew about that one, but there was another one. Don't know if he was the prince though. Where are we?
Oh, that's an interesting question from Saptak, by the way. Jared, it's directed towards you. Were you
Oh,
buddies
wait,
with
this
Lalit?
one
he
sliced
asked?
over the top, and it could be 6. It's an incredible hit there by Raghavanshi. Just opens the blade and forces that over. It's not swinging as much as it has been, but this is. I suppose it's a half volley and off stump, but it's the fact he's hit it over cover is the ridiculous thing here.
That is a good shot.
Sorry, did we have a super chat? Did you say?
It wasn't a
I think
super
it was a
chat,
question.
but it was about Lalit Modi, so I found that interesting.
You were buddies with I mean, we certainly weren't buddies. There's a lot of YouTube videos with you two. Yeah, I think I've interviewed him 3 or 4 times. I was trying to work that out recently, how many times I might have interviewed him. I was trying to interview him before this tournament. He's very hit and miss whether he answers, of course. To be fair, his assistant answered, but I didn't end up chatting to him this time. But yeah, I wanted to take him through a bunch of things. Do you know what I was interested in, actually? I was interested in what he thought the IPL would be now if he was involved. That was the one that I was fascinated in, of like, for better, for worse, forget that, but just what direction it would have gone in, like what things would be different. Would we have more teams? Would we have fewer teams? Would we have gone to a draft system by now? What other owners would he have tried to manufacture? Because as we know, he manufactured owners. Beautiful shot, this down the ground. Stopped by mid-on. Digvesh is having his greatest fielding game ever. But yeah, no, I know I've interviewed Lalit twice in his house. In front of his incredible alcohol collection. It is like you could basically steal his alcohol and retire. The quality of the bottles that he has out.
It does have a lot of opinions, though. I mean, he does have a lot of opinions on how IPL is or where it is at today. So that's interesting to see.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to him about, right? Which is, how to, what do you think is working, what's not working? But also it'd be great for someone in cricket to push him a little bit on some of the things he got wrong, right? Yeah, me and Lalit have a complicated. This is where I find him a fascinating guy. He tweeted something that I knew was wrong, right? Which was when the Rebel League was coming out, and he said, I had nothing to do with the Rebel League, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, you did, because we talked about it, right?
Interesting.
And I said, and not only that, I know that your business partners did, and I know that you're involved in it, and I know that you were going to do it. So this was the Z TV Rebel League 2017, 2016, whenever it was, when they offered David Warner $50 million to go to this new league, right?
Wait, you're talking about 2016-17?
Yeah. There was a Rebel League. Go back and have a look. David Warner was offered $50 million. A lot of players were offered a lot of money for that. It's got a wide here as the left arm finger spinner has come on. He's just lost control of that as M sit off. I'm quite interested in him as a bowler, so I'll be fascinated.
Yeah.
Anyway, So he tweets this thing of like, I think he hits the I think that looked like the Toblerone moved, guys.
Oh yeah, it has. It has.
It could just be the shadows because it's tricky. My point being is they should have looked at that a lot more than they did.
The Google part of
Yeah,
it,
I think
again,
it's
it could be the
just about
shadows.
fine, but you're right. Yeah, they should look at it more.
It just looks too close. That's what I said,
Yeah.
Byron, when we were live. Like, it's just like his step is. Oh, it's so close. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this is 2016, 2018. I can't remember when it was actually, but he was like, I had nothing to do with this thing, blah blah blah, and I was like, so I just went on a Twitter rampage, up and over covers,
Oh, what a
beautiful
shot
strike
that
here
is.
by Rahane against spin. You're all jealous of how well he plays spin, as he smashes this over the top for a boundary. So yeah, so I go on a bit of and I was just in a bit of a mood and I didn't care, so I slaughter him on Twitter. Like line after line, calling him a liar, saying that what he said is incorrect, that I have the proof of it, whatever. And then if you do that, and I've done this to many cricket officials before, they'll never talk to you again. There's a vendetta against you, right? Like, you know, Lala was like DMing me like a couple of weeks later, asking me a question about something. Like nothing had happened. Like I hadn't just embarrassed him on Twitter. So he's a really fascinating guy from that perspective of, and I remember when, Hassan Minaj's team reached out and they said, look, we think you've interviewed him more than anyone else. Can you help us? Whatever. And they said, I said, well, what do you need to know? And they said, well, how far can we push him? I said, this is the thing with Lalit. There is no limit, right? If you tell him that he was openly corrupt when he ran the IPL, he'll just probably shrug his shoulders and go, yeah, but I made everyone a lot of money. And they were like, what? And I said, there's no limit. He's going to be on, what was that show on Netflix, I think, right? As long as you tell him he's the star and that that it's a big deal, this show, he'll be there with bells on and he'll say whatever you want. And you won't be able to, he won't leave the tape. He won't leave the thing. He's just going to sit there and giggle, right? And own up to it. And when I told them this, they were like, are you sure? Because Hassan's going to go quiet. And I went, I promise you. And then they did it. Do you remember that interview? Like, they literally, like, and he's giggling like a little girl at times, going, ha, 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 yeah, I did that.
He goes on record saying, yeah, I've done cocaine, I've done this, I've done that. Like, he's explicitly mentioning things. I'm like, wait, I'm not sure if you should be doing that on a show like this that gets the reach it does. So
because they had asked about that, and I said, look, I have nothing. I know he's done cocaine, and I've been around him when I'm pretty sure he was sober, went to the bathroom, and came back, and he was talking at 4 times the speed, right? And I've been around enough people in my life to know what that means, right? So because they were like, we really want to push it. I said, look, I don't know because I've never talked to him about it. I said, but like. I won't go into the full stories here, but there are some great stories of people in cricket. Digvesh Rathi is on, and this is a half tracker outside our stump. Not exactly what I was looking for, my man. Maybe he's fielded so well he'll bullshit today. But I've heard some great stories of like Lalit trying to sign people for the IPL, right? Commentators, players, all sorts of things, right? People, companies, and like him coming back from the bathroom with white powder on him. And these people just like, oh my God. And you got to remember, at that stage, they were used to hanging out with like 69-year-old old Indian. Like Delmere was like the most progressive guy in Indian cricket before Modi, right?
Must be some culture shock for them there. Yeah. But about the Rebel League, why is this the first time I'm hearing of this? Are you referring to the one that they were planning on like a mini IPL of sorts? Or no, this is entirely...
This was... All the best cricketers in the world were supposed to go across to this league, as there's a play and miss. Oh, the ball's stuck in his pad. I wonder where that had gone. So maybe it wasn't a play and miss. It might have actually just been an under.
No, I think it's an inside edge.
Yeah, he whacked it straight down into his pad. Yeah. Have a look. I can't remember what year it was, mate, but I know it was 2014, 2015 because when it was getting going. The reason it's a fascinating league. So it was the guy from ZTV trying to have one last play at cricket, because he's desperate, obviously, to be involved in this. As he gives himself some room here, Rahane. Oh, I mean, that did look like a shot of someone maybe not quite as good against spin, but he gets it away for a 4, and we'll take that as well.
Really full that, I think.
Yeah, so the score is 34 for 1. A couple of balls to go in Rathi's over, which is the 5th and his first bowling at about 100 k's an hour here with his spinners. Yeah, so they basically worked out that they could get grounds and everything quite easy around different parts of the world. And that all they had to do is the big expense, right, in cricket at that point was the spectacle and everything else. And it's like the players weren't getting paid that much. So as long as you gave, as Rahane scoops up another 4 here, not completely on purpose, he's trying to hit this inside out over cover, and he's ended up hitting it over backward point, but he'll take all of these shots. Glad that he watched our video, Varun. But
Indeed.
But essentially, they worked out they could do everything. But the biggest thing was, as long as they paid the players like 25% of the pot, 30% of the pot, right? They could buy every player in the world. That was
That's smart, actually.
So
That was
it was.
smart.
I forget. Do you know who I'm talking about? The guy who owns Z. What's his name? I've forgotten his name now.
Basically, the guy who started ICL, I would say.
Yeah, that guy. So it was his next league. It was him. It was Lalit Modi. It was Dean Kino, who was the guy who set up Champions League. That's him.
Yeah.
But it was all. We always thought it was a bit of a problem. But we were making the documentary about this other topic, and we stumbled onto this story, right? So they knew that we stumbled onto it, and they said, look, you can make a whole documentary about this because we might be about to buy all the players in the world. And we were like, okay, well, our documentary might come out before then, but if that's what you want to do. But while this was happening, someone at the ICC must have set an alert for like cricket domain names, right? And these people, and I don't think this was Lalit or Dean, I think this was the Subhash side, had put up Global Cricket League, World Series Cricket League, like all these like really, really ominous sounding super villain names, right? I've like it might as well have said, this is the league that we're going to try and take over all the world's cricket with, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as Avesh Khan comes on, good pace, gets that through. So 40 for 1 after 5. A little bit of intent here. The expected runs are just under 109. Around 190 at the moment as well. But yeah, so suddenly you have this situation, right, where someone involved with cricket, I don't know if it was ECB or ICC, but they show this list to Giles Clarke, and next thing you know, the Guardian's got a leak, right? And Giles Clarke was very close with the guys at the Guardian at that time, and so they did a whole expose on this league, and it fell apart almost instantly at that point because it was too early, right?
Yeah.
They weren't ready at that stage, and I think Lalit and Dean Kino had already maybe distanced themselves from it because Subhash is a bit of a nutcase, right? And so I don't think it worked. But yeah, there you go.
Wow, man, this is the first time I'm hearing of this. I have a lot of reading to do.
I'd have to go back and check what year it was, man. But I think when I was tweeting about it maybe it was actually even earlier. Maybe it was 2014, 2015. But
Could be. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, the way the IPL also came about, it's such a fascinating story, right? Like the way he went about buying all the top players. It's essentially what he did with the IPL, what he wanted to do all by himself yet again. So fascinating. Yeah. But I'll have to say,
but it would also, I should say, it would have been right across all formats, by the way. It was an all format play. Yeah, that was one of the other big things. So I think, their idea was to replace international cricket entirely with their own franchise system.
I've been pushing for a franchise test league for a while now. I've been sitting on it, hoping that someone please just start something like that.
Well, there's a new white paper out, which the ICC has asked for. They asked McKinsey to make for them, which is essentially about Test cricket and having 2 tiers and everything else. And it's quite fascinating. It'll be out soon. I haven't seen it yet. I've been trying to get my hands on it. I saw a business magazine did a video on it. As this one is up and over, short third from Raghavanshi. So he's 10 off 13. It's an interesting surface. I think we just had a super chat about it and it's disappeared.
All right. So quick things as asked us. What do you guys think of this pitch? Is it going to ease up or will it be like this throughout the innings?
Well, this ball has just been dispatched over deep cover for 6 for about 20 meters there. I think the swing was the bigger part of it early on, wasn't it? Than the seam. I think the ball's come on okay. Maybe the slightest bit of 2 pace because we've seen a couple of balls sliced away. And that was a half volley that was hit over covers. So maybe the half volleys have been easier to hit than the balls into the wicket.
Oof.
But I'm not
That's a shot
sitting
and a
here saying
half.
that this is a tough wicket to bat on. Did you guys think that?
I think a better batting side would have 70 by now, and a better bowling side would have taken 312 by now.
I don't know about the better bowling, but by the better batting, I agree with Varun. That I don't think there are any obvious demons as such on the surface.
I mean, we've
KKR
just
is
seen
just-
here, Raghuvansh's just pushed this through the covers for 4. Like, it
Yeah.
looks like a pretty good batting wicket to me, if we're being honest.
Yep, that's true.
No, I mean, but if you look at Prince Yadav's first over, I think he bowls one ball and good length, and he gets a wicket essentially. So,
Yeah. But there was still swing there, wasn't there, at that point as well?
yeah.
Since that swing has gone, we really haven't seen as much. And KKR are almost favourites now. I'm not sure they should be. If this batting pitch is as good as it is, and you've ended up 56 for 1 in modern cricket. We've got a bunch of different super chats, so let's go through them now. We've got the timeout. Anime says, what's the behind story on the Kimber surname? So essentially what happened was there was a bunch of Christian religious zealots in France who moved to the UK, and their name was Cumbre. And then they realized that they needed to anglicize their name, as was very common back there. So they just made up a name from Cumbre, and the English version of that is Kimber. And so it means that there isn't actually, it's a very modern name. I think it's maybe 300 or 400 years old. So it doesn't go back a long way like most surnames do. And then it ends up being that all Kimbers are related to each other because it was a very small community as they went around. So there's very few Kimbers in the world. There's 2 professional Kimbers. There's a guy who plays, is it Joe Kimber? Who plays in professional cricket in England, which is funny when Jay Kimber comes up on the screen. And there was a guy who played for South Australia as well. There's a couple of them that were better at cricket than me and will remain that way.
There's a women's cricketer as well, by the way. I want to say Susan. I'm forgetting what her first name is, but
I haven't seen a women's cricketer with my name. But
wait, let me.
But so the actual where they moved to from France was where Newbury's from. Newbury cricket. Where is that? Is it Berkshire? Newbury cricket location. Yeah, so they basically moved to like a hot area of cricket. So that's Sussex. That's like
so
where cricket was started.
Stats Guru has 4 Kimbers, Jared.
4 Kimbers. Okay.
Yeah. We have Lewis Kimber, Martin Kimber, Nick
Lewis,
Kimber,
that
and
was the
Tom
one I
Kimber.
meant.
Lewis
Sorry, not
Kimber.
John.
Lewis Kimber. Yeah. Sorry.
Who was the other one?
We have Martin Kimber, Nick Kimber, and Tom Kimber.
Okay. And so there's an Adam as well. I think it was Adam Kimber who played for South Australia. So I don't know why he's coming up. But yeah, so if you think about it, my family moved to Sussex, right, at that stage from France, at the exact time that cricket is being formed, right? And so it's being formed in Sussex, right? Sussex, Surrey, those sorts of areas, right? So it's not a surprise that Kimbers are involved in cricket. You know, there's a long sort of backstory there. Plus, they were all conservative nut jobs. So what else were they going to do? They weren't going to have any sex or any drugs, right? Samit says, with Shami still swinging miles and bowling 135k, should India start reintegrating him back for New Zealand tour or the Cricket World Cup? Well, he certainly wants to be that. I think he's still the second best seamer in the country in pretty much all 3 formats. So I don't really understand why he's not on that. But he doesn't bat, and is he right-handed? If he was an all-rounder and left-handed, he'd be in the side, guys. M. Siddharth went for 9 in his first over. He's back after the power play. Be interesting to see what Rahane does here. What else do we have here? Andy says, how valuable is an opening left-right combo in T20s? Could throw bowlers off their lines and deny them one of their best opportunities to take wickets. I've never looked at just openers, Varun, have you?
Can't say I have. Just openers.
Can I tell you my favorite thing, which is that generally having 2 left-handers is better than having left and right hand.
Yes.
And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, and the most important is that you bowl to left-handers a lot less than you bowl to right-handers. And so generally, even if left-handers aren't as good as right-handers, they end up with a slightly better record. If you have 2 of them, the chances of you having any bowling specialists in your top order who are good against left-handers only is quite slim. Right? Or sorry, any way through. So unless you have a team with in-swing bowlers or, late career Stuart Broad or Kemar Roach, the chances of you having someone who's better against left-handers and right-handers is pretty slim because most bowlers are picked because they're good against right-handers. Anyway. I don't know if that's a fun fact, but do you know what it is? Definitely a fact.
It's
Before we just had a 4, I just thought.
yeah,
big
well done,
sweep
well
there.
played.
It's Protsem. You lost all the wagon wheel chats today. As I said, they didn't actually come through. We're going to... Rakshit's gone off to take photos of them, mate, and we can have a look at them. But when will we see a wicketkeep as a fielder on the circle off the last ball and can he use their gloves or not? Are they restricted to the keeping area? There is a law about where you're standing, isn't there? But we have seen teams already try to not use a wicketkeeper before. It happened in Blast Cricket quite a few years ago now, maybe 7-8 years ago. It doesn't work. Because you can just leave the ball and it goes for 4. It just doesn't work as a tactic. It doesn't make any sense. Like Siddharth in again. This is flat and turned around for. They might get 1 there. Yeah, they pick up 1, so they move on to 65 for 1 after 6.5 overs. So yeah, teams have thought about it, but I don't know what, like, because you'd have to change where all the other fielders are as well. Right? In order for this to work. Because you'd have to have deep third in a position where they can stop the ball going for 4.
You remember that Bangladesh game? I mean, like the keeper who was, standing well beside the line of the stumps, and the ball just went through and through.
Yeah. So
Also, just T20 eyes, Jared. I think whenever the last updated this, they are better.
Left-handers or left-right?
Left-right. So left is the worst. And then it's right,
is that
right,
international?
and then it's left hand. Yeah, T20Is, yeah.
Interesting.
I think I only checked since the last T20 World Cup, so...
Yeah. Is that... try all T20 cricket and take out internationals there. Only because
I don't have that database currently. I think I need to build that.
Come on now. Well, there we go. Left-right is better. Brett says, mid-season trades for real. KKR to get out of relegation form. Can you still do mid-season trades? Because you could...
Yeah.
It's still technically true, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they brought that in for COVID, didn't they?
They did,
Yes.
and the rules was slightly tweaked in 2022. So there is a clause the player who's being traded should not have played more than 2 games, yada, yada, yada. So there are a couple of things, a couple of boxes that need to be ticked, but it's still there.
Digvesh back on again. This ball's just pushed in the air through the offside. What else have we got here? When is Akshay going to do a bit where he switches jersey midway through the game, depending on which team's winning? Rudra asks.
Wait for LSG versus LSG versus Delhi or something. That'll be a fascinating game. I'll count.
Oh, this might be out. Reverse sweep here. Might have got some bat on it because it looked very adjacent. Well? What was that?
Isn't that outside off though?
I don't think so. It looked adjacent. I mean, it might be outside off. At the moment, Digvesh and Rishabh Pant are touching Rishabh Pant's pad over and over again in conversation. Oh, yeah, you're right. Just outside off stop. So, interestingly enough, the person who had the better view of that was the bowler, and he was positive it was out. The wicketkeeper was the one who had no real view on it and was like, I don't think it's out.
Yeah, I watched it in real time now. It does seem outside off stump, the impact for sure. Also, one thing, yesterday, if I'm not wrong...
Oh my God, sorry, just before you say this timing on this last ball from Rahane is ridiculous. I think it was Rahane, wasn't it? Yeah, he's just flicked this ball into the leg side, and I was thinking, oh, they'll get a single here. And he somehow picked the gap, and it's hit the training wickets and just scooted away for 4. Sorry, mate.
Nah, I'm waiting for the ball. I want to see what's Rahane done here, and then I'll probably say that. Come on, Digvesh, run in, there we go. Ooh. Yeah. I guess he's seen your video today. It went out today morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen that clearly. What else?
I remember when I worked at Cricinfo, that stuff would happen a lot. Like, it does happen sometimes with the videos as well. But I remember doing a piece and then after the game chatting to someone from the team and them going, did you see what we did? And I was like, what? And they were like, we did that thing that you said in the piece. And I went, did you? I hadn't even noticed.
I think the most popular anecdote, around something like that would be MS Dhoni after the India-Australia semi-final, if you guys remember. 2007 World Cup, India defeat Australia in the semi-final. Ravi Shastri is the one sort of, doing the post-match presentation. And he'd written some article before the World Cup began that how MS Dhoni is an inexperienced captain and probably India is not going to do so well. So when he asked Dhoni, how does it feel to be a part of the final? He's like, well, I read your article on Cricinfo, so I remember that. You clearly didn't give us any chance. So
I think the big one, you forgot the really famous one isn't that one. It's Mark Nicholas when he talked about the West Indies and he basically said something that the West Indies thought was coded racism. And I think he called them brainless. And they were like 5 years ahead of everyone in T20 cricket at that stage. And they really took that Cricinfo article to heart. That's the one I remember as like, that was a really interesting time to work for Cricinfo. Because of all that. And the funny thing is, I was writing all these pieces about how I thought the West Indies would win that tournament, even like way out. And even I got caught up in the whole, like people were like going with a fine tooth comb looking for for coded racism. I was like, guys, I'm the one, I was literally even in the start of the 20th over saying that I still thought the West Indies would win. I might have been the last person left on earth other than Carlos Brathwaite who thought they were going to win that game.
Fascinating nonetheless.
Hertz manager says, Chancellor Jared, you miss Rob visually
demonstrate shots.
Oh, to Akshay yesterday, as his feed was slow. We should have Rob do that for every ball, please.
Yeah, he really went out of his way to try and describe it as vividly as possible. So good on him for doing that for sure.
I've never seen Rob play cricket, but he's told me he's terrible. So I don't think he would be very good at playing shots. Is my guess. As we know about Rob Barron, potentially the best fielder that's ever lived. Certainly according to himself. Avish Khan coming back on. So it's 74 for 1 after 8 here. And Rahane has thrown his bat away and hit the ball straight up in the air. And it's going to be...
And is it gone for 6 yards?
Is that 6 or 4? Yeah. 6.
That is a 6.
Hey, I tell you what, he might get 10 runs off this ball, everyone, because it's very possible that Rahane has thrown his bat for 4 and hit the ball for 6 at the same time. We've certainly seen a lot more intent from him today, and he could not have thrown himself any more at that ball.
Literally threw his bat at it.
Oh, now I see that. Wow. Geez, that's not even point. That's almost in the third man region, more than the point he's in, the way it's gone.
Well, I think they have a third man back. So, yeah, so deep backward point, maybe? Let's have a look. Yeah, it was quite fine. I think right. It actually goes finer in the air, but it's still nowhere near third. So,
yeah,
you'd take 30 out of 20 from Rahane.
Off the bat, I thought it might go straight up in the air, but no. Rahane, this is what we want him to do. Just keep going now.
Oh, good shot.
I mean, the timing he has on some of these balls is ridiculous. This is to cover for 1. But as I said, with that one he flipped off his toes a couple of minutes ago that went for 4. Again, the timing is ridiculous here. What do we have here? Prit says, by the way, Jared, India has a prime minister and president. So that's what I was trying to say before. Yeah. That is the one that confuses me the most, is when a country, and Pakistan has the same, right? When you have a prime minister and president, I already have enough trouble remembering if your country has one or the other, right? Don't have both. Right? That does my head in. Rohit says, why Brits didn't bring rugby in India like South Africa and Australia? I don't know. I don't really know the history of rugby at all. If you want to know the full thing here, Rohit, most of Australia doesn't play rugby either. So Australia, there's only 2 states in Australia that play rugby. So it's not as if it's all over. And I would go a step further and say that there are 2 kinds of rugby, and Australia basically only play the one that's less famous. Rugby League. Rugby Union, which is the popular worldwide one, Australia is not nearly as big in Australia as the other one. So I can't tell you this. As this ball is on the pads, flicked in the air, and that could be 6. Raghavanshi this time. Slow ball, got that wrong, steered it down leg side. And Avish Khan's having a shocker here, isn't he? What's he gone for?
Plenty this season.
30 runs in 10 balls here.
Yeah.
Even in the last game, he conceded 5 fours in an over to Klaasen. Was it 5 or 4? One of he conceded 4 or 5 boundaries.
Was that like, when they're in the middle of that comeback, right?
Yeah, that's right. Ooh,
So we
shot.
somehow have Rohana hitting spin and Raghuvanshi hitting pace today. They've swapped roles.
But yeah, so the only thing I know about rugby in Australia is the fact that, weirdly enough, Australia is very, very dominated at times by things that happen in Northern England, right? And not things that happen in Southern England. And I don't know if that has to do with the immigration patterns and how people move to Australia, and that rugby league is bigger in the north and rugby union is bigger in the south. But I don't know why South Africa is so big into rugby. I just don't know enough about rugby. I'm aware.
I didn't know it was a colonial sport.
Well, anything
Is
English
rugby
colonial.
more upper class or more like working class?
Rugby
Jared?
union is upper class. Rugby league is working class. The only cricketer
Okay.
I know who's obsessed with rugby league is Johnny Bairstow. But I don't know if I'm allowed to mention him because he's quite upset at me at the moment. So
He does have the body for it.
yeah, I reckon he would have played rugby. So rugby league's a bit more. There's maybe not as much open running. It's a slightly different sport. There's not as much kicking in rugby league, maybe is the best way of putting it. So yeah, just a slightly different sport.
Yeah, isn't in England like all the cricketers have played rugby and all the rugby people have played cricket or something like that? There's so
That's
much
rugby
overlap,
union,
isn't
yeah,
there?
not rugby
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sorry, yes.
That's because all the cricketers go to private school, and those are the two big private school sports.
Yeah, you usually play in winter, don't you? You play rugby in winter and then cricket in the summer.
I don't know what all I know is that rugby splitting into two different formats is potentially what will happen for cricket, right? So there is an argument to be said that rugby was all one sport, and then some people started playing it in one way and some people started playing it in another. And if you look at modern rugby, it's now 3 different sports. It's league, union, and sevens, right? So you actually have a situation where rugby is doing the thing that cricket has never quite managed to do, which is just separate, and people who like that one can go in that direction, and people who like that one can go in that direction. There you go. That's all I know. And thick necks, lots of thick necks. And I think young rugby union's the one where your ears go weird. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Varun must know this. He's a posh boy from North London. He must know people who play rugby union.
No. No, I went to a public school, Jared.
A public school in England is where rugby.
Yeah,
You
I
mean
played rugby in
you mean
school.
you went to a state school?
State school, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, private and state, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Public in England is, again, getting back to the president prime minister thing, is one of the stupidest things. 94-1 here.
What is it?
9.1 overs.
You have state, you have grammar, then you have private, right?
Yeah, but private schools in England, the top schools are called public schools, but actually they're not public schools.
Of course. Yeah.
So Eton is a public school.
Yes.
Very public.
Eton is definitely a public school. Yep.
Yeah. Naveen says, with the rise of high intent batting, a batter sacrificing strike rotation for big hits against tough matchups, resulting in more dots and boundaries, but fewer ones and twos. Yes.
Has there been much?
But one thing to this, yesterday I'd actually shared this graphic on the group as well, and we shared it here. The non-boundary strike rate in general across the years has gone up. Like especially the last years, it's not just the boundaries that have gone up. So it's not like basically what's gone down is dots. Everything else is up for grabs. They're just making sure there's run scoring happening in some shape or form.
I'm talking about specifically about the high intent batters, though. Those guys, there is, and the West Indies is what started that, right? But you're right. Like we did a graphic recently, and you can still see the West Indies are outliers. But watch Tim David and some of these other guys. They will actually, and Heinrich Klaassen, they will actually bat dots more than other players will.
Yeah.
But you're not right.
Also, I don't know
Not
if
wrong.
that's against
Also, this happened in
tough
baseball
matchups.
as well, by the way.
I don't know if it happens against tough matchups. It's usually easy matchups that they do that. Where like we're starting to see batters just turn down a single, go okay, even if we play 3 dots, I will hit him for 3 sixes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if hitters have necessarily paired it up with taking singles against a matchup that isn't suited for them yet. We've seen some people do that, but not always, right?
Yeah. Opening partnerships quite often do stuff like that because they have conversations beforehand. If the left arm finger spinner comes on, just block it. Either hit a boundary or block it, basically, is what they will say. There's a great one with David Warner and Aaron Finch where they were mic'd up for, I think it was a warm-up game or something. And you can hear them talking about that specifically of like David Warner going, that's my fault. I got you on strike and that's my matchup, not your matchup. Like, I made a mistake there. Slow
And
ball.
also about with this, yesterday we had someone asking us, Jumpsuit, if I'm not wrong, it asked us about if we could share what percentage of overs in the IPL has seen 2 or more boundaries. So I was just looking for the data. I'll put it on the group if you guys could share it, because he'd asked for it. He or she had asked for it specifically. Again, fascinating. No surprises there. The boundary
You might have
scoring
to
has
send
only
that
gone up.
to Rakshit or Vignesh directly. Do they have it?
I'm not sure. Let me share it with them as well.
Andy says, is Ngidi better than a healthy Hazelwood in T20s? I'm going to say no, but I want to hear what you two say.
No.
Yeah.
Across phases, I would say no. Just like a complete bowler, Hazelwood is probably. Yeah.
I
there's a
think mainly
boundary
because
here
he
at
said
5
healthy
lengths.
Hazelwood.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, healthy
Yeah.
Ngidi also is a part of that. The Prince has come back on, and he's, again, looks like he's just bowled a full toss on the pads there, and Raghavanshi is taking that for a boundary. The reason I would say that he's not better is not that he might not. Well, sorry. Yeah, the reason I would say he's not better, he actually might be better, but what he's not specifically, right, is more impactful. Because if you can take wickets with the brand new ball, that is the best skill to have, I think, in all of T20 cricket. And Ngidi doesn't even bowl with a brand new ball all the time. It's not his speciality.
Yeah.
So by the time Ngidi comes on, right, the game has already sort of slightly progressed a little bit. And Ngidi isn't at his best, really, until the middle overs and late. So unlike Bumrah, who is still good in the 3rd or the 4th over and can still have a huge impact, Ngidi can't even always have that kind of impact because he's much better later on. So that is why I would compare it. All right, so what have you got here? So what are we looking at?
So basically, the percentage of all overs in an innings where we've seen 2 or more boundaries. So the whole sort of conversation came from the fact that someone had, commented that if an over, the first ball of an over goes for a boundary, a minimum of 13 runs should be scored, or else, the bowler's done a good job of coming back in that over. To which Robbie was like, mate, scoring 15 runs in an over is not that easy. It's not as easy as you make it sound. Then they're like, okay, what percentage of overs actually see more than 2 boundaries? So that's where someone asked if we could sort of get that data up.
So what's that? That's about, so we're at about, what, 37% now, are we?
Yeah, we're at 37.8 now. It started off at 30 in the very first season. Again, 2008 was an outlier in many different reasons. Across the first decade, 2008 saw the highest boundary scored, period. Till 2017, that is. You can factor in 2016, 2015. We usually think of those 2 seasons having a lot of high scores and everything. But 2008 was an outlier. But apart from that, it's more or less been constant. And then the impact player rule has come in and completely, accelerated that growth.
Is this out? Is this caught at mid-wicket? It was a short ball, whacked across the line, and Shami's there, and I think he's just got his fingers under that.
He might have.
Dignesh just bowled it a little bit shorter. Rahane, with all of his intent, has done the right thing here, but unfortunately, he's just found short mid-wicket. We're going to have a look at it anyway. It was very close to the ground, and I should say that Shami didn't look that excited by it, but it looks like to me he definitely caught it. It was actually wide. I think that was part of the problem with Rahane.
So I can't
Has
actually
he
tell
caught
if this
it
is a
though?
balanced pitch. Yeah, honestly, no idea. Wait, there's reviewing it.
Yeah, in real time, it didn't seem like he'd caught it. Like, I don't know, for some reason.
Well,
think he
partly
has.
because he didn't celebrate it. Listen to the way I called it. Even I wasn't sure, and I
Yeah.
saw the ball go in his hand.
Yeah.
We're just having a look now. It looks smooth to me.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
It's so blurry, though, this angle, that they're going to have to find another camera angle to make a decision from.
Also on the 13 runs thing. So I believe if you score, on average, if you score 1 boundary, you're expected to make 8.5 runs in that over in total. So 2
Okay.
boundaries is about 12.5 and 3 is like 18 or 18.5, that sort of thing. So yeah. So
By
if
the
you
way,
want 13 and an over, you need 2 boundaries roughly.
I forgot to tell you guys this. This is a fun one that we used a lot on Cricket 8. So the market has completely given this out, right, at the moment. And so sometimes the market will do that and it will decide that this is definitely a catch, whatever. And then suddenly the market has to fix itself when it turns out they're wrong. So at the moment, just having a look at this, because I think they had got to, Lucknow only had a 42% chance of winning after being favourite for most of the games. And they're now back at 49%. So it's a 7% swing that the market's had. And yet we're on our, 9th replay? And we still don't know if he's out. I think it will be given. I think the market's right here.
Same. Yeah. So do I.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
giving that
what
out.
were LSG before the game, Jared? Like 52% to win the game? I
Yeah, it
wanna
was
say?
very close. Yeah, 51%,
Yeah.
52%. Wasn't much in it.
That feels oddly like generous to go to KKR in my opinion.
I agree with you. I thought I was a bit
Yeah.
surprised when we sat down. I forgot to bring it up with you at the time, but I
Yeah.
thought it was very interesting that was the case. Anyway, they're at 48.4%. So somehow he's taken that catch and people are backing KKR more after that. But maybe they realized it was Rahane. But 41
Exactly.
of 24, I think he did. This is fine. He showed intent against the spinners. He didn't get locked down. There was that little period where I think he slowed down for about 5 balls. Fine. We've got to give him something. Like, it's what he does. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way he batted today.
Yeah,
Varun, I know
pretty
you
solid
hate
innings.
all people. What did you think?
Yeah, it was pretty solid innings. He was hitting spin, which surprised the hell out of me, but yes.
He was trying to hit spin as well.
I
mean,
can't
he went out
complain
trying
about
to
a
hit spin.
Yeah. I can't complain about a Rahane innings if he's shown intent versus spin.
First ball here, Digmesh has bowled, the finger wrongin', and one day Cameron Green will know what that delivery was, because it's not today, because it hit his bat, but I'm not sure he meant it to hit his bat. It's ended up going through his legs to square leg. It's one of the things about being a tall batter of when you're not seeing the ball perfectly, and he smashes the next one to long off, so he's seeing that one good. When you're not seeing the ball perfectly, you do look less coordinated and less like you understand how to bat. If you're a short player, there aren't as many moving parts that can go wrong with you.
I agree.
Varun, I don't understand this. Can you explain this super chat to me?
There's a new stadium coming up
I-
in.
I think it's got like a
Go for it,
unique,
Bharat.
very unique design. 1 second.
Oh, does it? Oh, let me have a look. I wasn't aware of this.
No, it's. I think it's got like a Trishul or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it
It's
have
right,
like?
So the floodlights look like tridents down there. I think it's something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for more context, Varanasi is like a very holy city for Hindus. So it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, okay. I
don't-
see. I think it looks like a good-looking stadium.
Yeah, but like, is it well located though? Like that's what my main concern with all these Indian stadiums are.
Well, I can tell you this without having been there or have anything to do with it, it will not be well located.
Exactly.
It will have one road into the car park, and it'll have one road back to the center of town, and you will be on that road for 5 hours after the game, like in Pune, like in Nagpur,
Ahmedabad.
like in.
The worst, absolute worst. So, by the way, again, credit where it's due. I was at the Chinnaswamy for the RCB CSK game. They've actually done a pretty good job of revamping the infrastructure around the stadium and how the spectators get in and out. I must say, like, I wasn't hopeful at all. Was pleasantly surprised with how it
It
was
won't matter
managed.
because they won't be hosting games in the future anyway.
There.
They
Not
won't be hosting
no
IPL
comments.
games. They won't be hosting IPL games. I would put my money on that being the first team that ends up with their own private stadium.
I hope, man. I hope teams go that way. I know it's a very big investment. I think that's the
Imagine
only
if
solution.
Indian stadiums had an easy way to get into them and then clean facilities and easy food once you were there. I'm just saying.
But
We've
about
never
this,
seen that in any other sport, in any other place in the world. So,
But
Come on,
about
Jared,
what
don't
he's
say silly
just
things
said,
in the morning.
exactly. Like, I don't think it's down to just infrastructure. I feel blaming the organizers or BCCI is a very sort of low-hanging fruit that way. But somewhere we'll also have to look inwards. The way we maintain these structures, the way we maintain this, the way we sort of, either throw our waste and all of these things. It's not like we take good care of it ourselves. We couldn't care lesser about how it's being taken care of. So there's no point looking at how BCCI is treating it when we ourselves are treating it like shit.
yeah. Now, it'll be fascinating to see what their next future is. I was talking about this the other day with Robbie as well, of the it's the thing that might change all this actually Indian stadiums is not just the money coming in from overseas. It's the fact that when you own an IPL franchise now, it's a chance to actually show off what you own to partners and sponsors and potential business partners and everything. And and I've been in a lot of the corporate areas in Indian grounds. I don't know if you have, Akshay, but the corporate facilities are shit.
Oh, he's out by the way, Jared.
Oh, did I miss that? Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Did he throw his bat or did he drop it?
I think he
bat's on the
tried to
ground
catch
here.
it and then dropped it. Yeah.
So it's 105 for 3 here after 11.4. And
So I was
they
just
go back
about
to favourites again. This is my man Siddharth. He's just tried to come down to that, and it's a little bit too up and under him, too close to his body. He did throw the he did the Ben Stokes, threw the bat up in the air and dropped it. 101
So I was just about
kilometers an hour. It is very hard to use your
insane.
feet, and he's ended up getting too close to the ball.
Yeah. So at the 11th over, I think my model predicted them at 85 for 2 ish.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So I think this is a weird pitch. Still can't figure out if this doesn't feel like a road, Jared.
But
This
we've
feels
had
like if
some
you're set,
balls
you
that-
can make runs.
Yeah, we've had some balls that
think-
they've just eased for 4 though too. There's a couple that have.
No, I
But
mean I
it's
don't think this is
more-
a 250 pitch.
Sure. I agree with that, but I think it's closer to being a road than it would be to, I don't know. I
No,
think
yeah,
it's a road.
100% with you there. I think like maybe 200 is if you're again a good bowling attack, you will defend 200. Is KKR a good bowling attack? Probably not. So
So
they
I can
need
tell
like
you
220ish.
now,
I think the run line was of 210 at one point.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. About 210, 215, I think is the most it got to.
It's gone
it's
down
a-
to 200 now.
195 at the moment on the markets.
Where am I looking? Where am I looking at?
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
And Jared, we
Yeah,
were
I
talking
think it's
about
just
the
updated.
corporate things.
Yeah, like the corporate facilities and those. Like if I'm a billionaire and I've just bought a cricket ground game and I'm like telling everyone that this is bigger than the Dallas Cowboys and they fly out to India and I take them into some of the corporate facilities. They are like really bad, right? Like I don't even just want to mean basic, like some, like the England ones are pretty ordinary, right? And the Australian ones can be quite ordinary. But like I've seen the American ones, right? Like you're not wowing anyone taking them to, I remember going to Chinnaswamy and being taken around to the fanciest room and going, this? Like you've got whiskey here. Don't get me wrong. I'm pro whiskey, but it was a dank room, right? Like it was not an enjoyable experience being in there.
But Jared, your experience was so different from mine. So I've been to the corporate box only once at the Chinnaswamy. I was blown by the fact that I could drink just gin, whiskey.
Oh
all
no,
of
no,
that.
no!
So
I'm a big
again,
fan of that. But okay, but you can't drink while you watch the cricket.
No, but then the expectations itself are so low. That's what, like, for an Indian fan, the expectations are so low. You see alcohol in the stadium, you're like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold, baby. Just go for it. So
No, I'll give you that. But yeah, it's just little things like that. Even, and Lords doesn't have great facilities. They're not too bad. They've upgraded some of them. As I said, the Australian grounds are good, but not spectacular. But you look at some of the things that they're doing in America now for corporate people, and I know we're like, okay, most of us are not ever going to be in those corporate boxes, but that comes down and you get better facilities everywhere. Like if you look at the new LA Clippers stadium, right? Like some of the stuff that they have there, isn't it? I think they have a thing there where you should never have to line up for the toilet or something like that. There's so many toilets in that place. And if you go to I think Dockland Stadiums in Melbourne as well is another one where I'm always shocked by how many toilets there are, right? Like you don't miss any of the cricket or football, right? You can just run off, go to the toilet and be back. And, you've maybe missed a minute and a half. Whereas normal stadiums around the world, you miss half the game going to the toilet. Like literally, most people get an infected urinary tract from going to professional stadiums. I'm not sure if you can get an infected urinary tract. I'm actually not even sure what a urinary tract is. But if I had a band, it would be called infected urinary tract.
such an insightful conversation that Jared.
No, I think I once went to a Blast game where the people were leaving because the beer ran out.
I mean, things like
So-
that.
I would.
So
I would
no, what
also
was it? So
vote
we
Cardinal.
we were going trying to get the ticket, and then there were like 3 old guys came out. They were like, "Oh, we were just going out because the beer was over. Do you want to take our tickets?" I'm like, "Sure, we'll take it if we don't have to pay for it." I'm like, "Fine." We went in the stadium. Once we got in, I realized the ticket he gave me was a senior citizens ticket. I was 14, and they didn't care. So
I'd already been paid for by then. 109 for 3 here. So Shami's back on. He's gone for 14. He's 2.3. The run rate is 8.72. So they've not really kicked on at the moment. And the market still thinks they're going to. Cameron Green's on 5 off 7. Rinku's off 3 off 3. So they've got power in these two. But it is a bit of a, I don't want to say rebuilding, but it's a phase. Prudvi says, to be fair to Shami, he has an unbeaten 50 at Lords. Was that at Lords or was that at Trent Bridge? Because I've
Both.
seen Shami make a
Trent
50. Is it?
He has both. He has both.
He has both, does he? Yeah. Okay. I know I was at
Oh,
Trent
okay.
Bridge when he made a 50.
The Bumrah partnership.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Because I've written about his 50 at Trent Bridge because in that game he made a 50 and Jimmy Anderson made 80, and it might have been the worst Test match I've ever covered.
And Mohit Sharma also didn't do too badly, right? That's the game where not Mohit Sharma. Who was it with
Bhuvi.
Shami? Bhuvi. Yeah.
That
Mohit
game
Sharma
was
Bhuvi
the one
took a
that,
5
that
I
was
wanna
like
say.
5 days of nothing happening, and then Alistair Cook
Yeah.
imitated Bob Willis and took Ishant Sharma out. And we all cheered.
Yes.
That was it. That was the whole Test match.
Yeah, the Lord's 50 was iconic, isn't it? Like, the whole day 5 was crazy.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that one because I was
Yeah.
at the other one. Can't wait for Rahane after his 50 to say, "Yeah, Viv, talk now." Like, that's a throwback. That's a throwback to Dinesh Randon, and that was at Edgbaston. That one I was there for that
Yeah.
one. I remember being there and us all trying to read the note. And the Edgbaston press box is a long way from the action. And then turning around to the TV, it'd be like, "Please show what he's got in his hands."
This happened last season at the IPL as well, right? By Abhishek Sharma took out a piece of paper and the opposition went up to him and they were like, please show us what the fuck was written on that.
Oh, by the way, Jared, they just
Oh,
had a
look, someone else
graphic
is
which...
onto our thing. Yeah. So they're putting
Yeah,
up the
yeah.
percentage of Sammy's slow ball. So I brought this up with, I was commentating with Abhishek Janjanwala, and I said it is noticeable how many slow balls Mohammad Shami is bowling. And he was telling me, he said, yeah, I don't even remember him having one when I played with him. Like, he might have been, and I've got this theory that Shami might have been one of the last true bowlers to not have a slow ball in world cricket, right? And then we saw him the other day bowling them out of his ass everywhere. And suddenly it was like, okay, this man he's back, he's got them, and he bowled them well. So we'll probably have a piece on this, won't we, Warren?
Yeah.
Because we
Also, where did you talk to Abhishek Jhunjhunwala?
we were on commentary in Talksport together. He lives in London.
Right.
He lives over here.
Oh,
yeah,
did not know
I've
that,
commentated
okay.
with him quite a lot.
ICL legend, my man.
Yeah, ICL and IPL.
Wouldn't go as far as to call him an IPL legend, but ICL.
I think he's a legend just because he got to play in the IPL. Is my point.
Fair.
111 for 3 after 13 here, and this is mistimed by Rinku into the ring, and there is no run. Province says 2007 ODI World Cup schedule release innovations. I'm not sure what he means by this.
2027.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. What did I say? 2011.
7.
2027 World Cup schedule release. It won't be for ages, will it?
Yeah,
It
I
won't be
mean,
released
what
for
did you do?
another 6 months, will it?
I'm sure
At
the
least.
BCCI released the World Cup schedule after the World Cup started last
Yeah.
time.
Always.
Yeah.
Oh, he's bowled him. Oh, what a delivery here,
Oh.
coming around the wicket. I don't know if it nipped away, but Avish Khan, who's had a shithouse day, comes in and just bowls a beautiful ball, top of off stump. That's where you should be aiming, kiddies. And this one just nicks either the stump or the bail on the way through. Rinku was stuck on the crease, and he is gone. I'm just seeing, did he run his fingers on this? No, just see him up. Good ball. Beat him with maybe a little bit of extra pace. 131 doesn't feel like pace. Rinku just wasn't expecting whatever that delivery was.
Did it deviate
What
away
was-
slightly, or was it just a straight ball? I think
That might be on
looked
you
odd.
for later, Varun. I don't see it deviate, but it's a
Yeah, it was
we
a
didn't have
straight
great
ball.
angle. Yeah.
Because it did look
But
like
see-
there was an angle there, and it looked like it slightly was straightening. Because I think Rinku was expecting it to come in to him and follow the angle. Or he might have just
I
played
think he
down the
just
wrong
missed
line.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He just missed it.
Prit says, Punjab suddenly has the best stadiums. Mullanpur, the new stadium looks fantastic. And Dharamshala is obviously the most beautiful stadium anyone could wish for. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I'm not sure the facilities are fantastic there. I haven't been at the Mullanpur one, so I can't give you anything on that. But yeah, Dharamshala it's a very rustic cricket ground.
But the Mullapur Stadium is a story in and of itself, right? It's like how the New York Stadium is in Long Island. The Mullapur Stadium is nowhere close to Chandigarh. Where they call it New Chandigarh, which is like way outside the city. It's in the middle of nowhere. They've got a landfill right next to it, so apparently a lot of mosquitoes and whatnot. But the facilities are good, but it's in the middle of nowhere is what I've heard. So it's very hard. Yeah.
There's another question about this here. Narendra Modi is coming on board. The reason most Indian stadiums are not built in cities is because we are building huge sports complex around it, like in Gujarat, which hosts the Olympics. Well, Gujarat isn't going to get the Olympics, I don't think, by the way.
I love the confidence, though. Very much.
I can tell you that now.
They actually do.
Here's the problem
so-
with this. I can tell you this based
What's
on
up?
Sydney. Sydney did this. Sydney built new facilities in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
right? And guess what? No one fucking uses them. They still want to use all the old stadiums that are in the city because Sydney had great stadiums in the center of town. Why the fuck do they want to go? Trying to get to the who is it? The Sydney Thunders Stadium is the worst experience of my life. I hate that stadium so much. Right? It doesn't work.
Excuse me. I'll personally take offense to that because I stayed right next to the showground for about a year or so in Sydney.
Yeah, and
Loved
you know
it,
it's in the middle of
loved
fucking
the
nowhere.
Olympics.
Then
I know, which is why it was
it's not even
beautiful.
fucking
Having a
Sydney. I'm not even sure it's still in New South Wales.
No, it is. It is. Of course,
One
it's
day,
very-
I don't honestly. There was one game I went to there, right? So I caught a train, and I thought I was catching a train like near the stadium. Turns out I was nowhere near the stadium. I get off the train, right, to get a bus.
Yeah.
I then have to wait an hour to get on the bus because everyone else is trying to get on the fucking bus. I get to the stadium. I finish my report, actually. There's no public transport around there at that time of night. There's no taxis. It was early in Ubers. And I was like, do I just live here? Like, is this my life now? I'm in fucking the middle of West Sydney for fucking no reason? Nonsense.
So Sydney
So
Olympic
Jared, my
Park
models-
has no direct trains. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Tell
for
us
it,
about
go
your
for
model,
it.
Warren.
That's predicted 107 for 3 up to this point. So
Yep.
the close, I guess.
Close
And-
enough.
And
11 for
the
4, yeah?
Rinku ball seamed away, actually, 0.64 degrees. So
Fair enough.
It's
Well,
okay.
Incredible ball
So-
if that's the case. From that angle, very hard to
Yeah.
face. So,
so what was it? I think I have it as an expected average of about 30. And the ball before just seamed in slightly. So I think he
I
was
assume-
expecting it to come in.
Yeah, I assume that also means that that they've got the replacement ball in their hands. Sometimes we've seen a little bit of seam, haven't we, when the replacement ball has come on?
Yeah.
So there's a famous one in Melbourne, actually, and you may not know about this, but there used to be a stadium in Melbourne that hosted 90,000 people that wasn't the MCG, right? And they built it in an
Okay.
area of Melbourne in the east called Waverley, right? And it's now, the oval still exists, and they've just built houses around it. Because no one wanted to fucking go miles out of Melbourne to go to this world-class facility, right? And again, you couldn't get a train into it. The MCG is in the center of town.
Yeah.
So if you're unless you're in the west of Melbourne, every train line in Melbourne goes past the MCG on one side or the other.
Yeah.
Why do you want to drive an hour and a half into the fucking suburbs for a stadium that's the same fucking size, right?
This is
So
one
I've
in
seen this
Geelong?
before. You have to build up your stadiums yourself. Having these stadiums in the middle of nowhere is just wasting your money in the long run. I can promise you that, Narendra Modi 08X.
Thank
If that
you for
is
adding
your
OAX
real
at
name.
the end of it. So let's go with that. But Jared, about what you said, especially even in India now, with any of the new stadiums that are coming in, they're not going to happen in the middle of the city because there's no space available in the middle of the city.
Well, you have there is you can build existing on existing sites because there are stadiums in the middle. There is a way to do it.
Again, there are a lot of legal complications. I can say at least
Oh
for
no, there
say,
are
the Eden
everywhere.
Gardens.
Mate, you want to get to legal conversations? Have a look at the 2 franchises that just got sold. Have a look at the way they were set up. There's always a way around these things if you try hard, right? And at the moment, the issue is that you're setting. I promise you guys. I've done this job for 20 years. Eventually, those new stadiums just get on people's nerves. And you start to see no one wants to work on them anymore, right? That Pune stadium, no, not Pune. Actually, Pune's a nice stadium, although they didn't actually fix the one side of it, but we'll get to that another day. But the Nagpur stadium's a really nice stadium, right? And everyone involved in cricket doesn't want to use it. That means that you are much less likely to actually get it given games. There's no momentum for it, right? These things eventually matter, I promise you guys. We're seeing it in America. In America, they started doing this, and now they're moving back to inner city venues again.
But everything you're saying, Jared, is basis the assumption that whatever they do, they'll do a good job of it. The last thing I want right now to see in Bangalore is the middle of the city being completely dug up because a godforsaken stadium had to be renovated. Because these guys don't know how to do these things. They'll just
that's
take
also
a
true.
decade or two. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've already seen how much time they've taken. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, that's what Bangalore traffic can use, more renovations.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we could slow Bangalore down more now. So it's 112 for 4 here, and Lucknow are at a 70% chance. So by far the most favoured they've been. We weren't worried a little bit before, didn't we, about the fact that that they hadn't quite kicked on. It looks harder to bat now than it has at other stages, because if you have a look, Rinku, Cameron White, and now Rodman have all got stuck at the start of their innings. So either there's something to the fact that we said before that this pitch gets easier the longer you bat, or the new ball is reacting a little bit differently on this surface, or the old ball, whichever one they're using.
This
at the
also
moment.
feels like a good length
Yeah.
pitch, Jared. I think they've gone for runs whenever they missed it.
By the way, the
Digressions
last 4
Rathi's
overs
bowling
of,
with a slip in place. He's bowled a half
Oh,
tracker
wow.
again. He's got to get rid of those half trackers. He's such a good bowler.
I mean, the last 4 overs, by the way, have gone for just 14 runs at the cost of 3 wickets as well. So, I mean,
Yeah. So many dots, though. Specifically, what we're seeing at the moment is dots. And
Yep.
that is something that's one of the key indicators I'm looking for if something has changed with the pitch or the ball, is that no one can get it away. Like that last one, anyone could get that away. But when the ball is on a good area, another dot here, and this one, I don't want to say it skids through a little bit, but Cameron Green ends up plays a shot where it makes him look like a giraffe on rollerblades.
Isn't Robin Powell horrible versus spin, Jared?
leg spin in particular.
Yeah.
He's got better. When I first saw him, it looked like he'd never seen spin before at that point. But
And he just blocks it back to the
As a
bowler
young-
green.
as a young man, his ability to hit pace was incredible, Rodman. But really, for someone who doesn't bat in the top 3, he would come in against spin sometimes. He'd be like, "Okay, well let's see how this goes." Yeah, but 1 single, 2 dots, and the single was a very poor ball as well. As you said, Cameron Green. I mean, that last ball doesn't really do anything, and Cameron Green's just looking to push it back. Tells me that something has changed here. So it'll be fascinating. We'll get to the expected runs in a minute, because I did have that in front of me.
I think it was
Oh my God.
175-ish. That's what I saw last.
Why have I lost it? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is 170.
Yeah.
No, it's just dropped after that ball to 172.
Oh.
That one,
I
it
mean,
seems
Is
to
this the
be.
last over a spin? Siddharth has bowled out, or does he have one more?
I thought he bowled 3, but I can look that up for you.
Yeah, let's check that.
Digvesh coming in again. And this time, Cameron Green finds a single. A short mid wicket is really short at the moment. So it's good field placement as well, just keeping the pressure on. And Siddharth has 1 left, yeah.
1 left, yeah.
He really impresses me, this kid. He doesn't do anything special. But he do you know what he does? He reminds me a little bit of Michael Beer, who played for Australia briefly, who was a very good big bash bowler, in that he bowls the right lines and the right lengths to each batter. So the other day when they were hitting, he bowled really, really wide on a length that was a little bit tricky, which you couldn't cut away. Here he's bowled a lot straighter and tried to get up and under the batters, right? It's little things like that where he's looked at them facing left arm finger spinners, like, where's the best place to bowl my kind of bowling to them?
So on Siddharth, I think there's only 1 ball he bowls today outside the good length region, so he's been very accurate.
Once he commits to a bit, he's very good at it as well. And he's
Was
getting
that-
revs on it at a good pace. Like, there's a lot of things to like about him.
Also, I
He's
think
not
it
young, though,
surprised
is
me. He only played like 7 games in the IPL. I feel like I've seen him forever.
He's a Washi's age.
Yeah, he's
So-
27. So he's been around, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Not
end
got
of
a lot
this
of
over.
chances, unfortunately.
They got another single. They thought about a 2. So 1, ... 1, 115 for 4. And Digvesh finishes with 1 for 25. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 for 25.
That's right. 17 of the last 5, man. Talk about a slowdown. I mean, 200, I think, is now not even an idea they can consider anymore.
Something would have to get very, very right for them to get there.
Yeah.
Also, to answer Gardner Eden's question, can you guys please tell us where do you see the advanced stats, expected score, true strike rates, etc.? The expected score is on Betfair, I think, isn't it, Jared?
Yeah, we're taking that from the betting markets, where there has been $5 million bet legally and probably about another 50 million bet illegally on the betting market. So we're accepting that all these people who are betting $55 million, especially those with algorithms and everything else, are working it out better than we'll be able to come up with a number there. As Rodman comes down to Siddharth, as I said, great bowler, and he's been hit 83 meters here over long, but a great hit by Rodman.
That's a really good hit.
He already
And for
decided.
true values, I'm just going to put the link in the group. Not the group
Yeah,
chat.
we'll put them up. Someone asked about them the other day.
I put it in the comments. Sorry. Yeah.
But aren't we afraid that it's going to crash? Didn't you send me a message saying it was going to crash?
No, I'll send you another link. I have it up and running for us anyway.
Oh, have we got a second link? Have I got a secret
Yes.
link? That's the only way
Yes.
I
You
like
and Shahan have the secret link, yes.
But we'll put it up for you. We update them as much as we can. But it's not quite a professional level operation at the moment. As Rodman Powell's going to get another boundary here. Did he get bat on that? Yes, he did. It was a bad ball from Siddharth. He tried to cramp him, and he'd done it the previous ball. By the way, how far did I say that 6 was hit before?
I think you said 83 meters.
It was exactly 83 meters.
Oh, I thought you saw that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an inside edge. Oh, I thought he flicked this off his pad. No, that was good bowling, to be fair. He's unlucky here that this has gone for a boundary. It's a really good delivery. Gian says, Bikana in a decent location, just one road to get out of. I mean, also, I say this, English grounds are a bit like this as well. And I think Manchester, Old Trafford's really good now because it has the trams at the back, so you can get a bunch of people on the trams. But like because I'm from Melbourne and I'm so used to it. So when you would come out of cricket ground, the MCG, trains would be lined up. Not only are there multiple trains already available to you, but you have football and cricket specials. So you can get the people out of the station as quickly as possible so people don't spend hours on the platforms. And then you come to cricket grounds in the rest of the world and you just like, you can be waiting like 2 or 3 hours to get out of an arena, even when there's public transport. And so when there's no public transport, like here, and there's one road, it's not very good. Anyway, as a man who's traveled around the world, I can tell you there's a lot of cricket grounds with a lot of different issues like this.
I feel in India, the norm is to spend an hour or so, to and fro, spend an hour waiting in the line, and even while going back, just spend a good 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and also if you're used to that, it's probably when you travel you realize how much worse it can be in better it can be in other places, right? What about Delhi? I've never. Is there public transport around Delhi? Because the trains in Delhi are incredible, by the way. I'm a big train dude. They're some of my favorite trains in the world. Just shockingly good. Like I haven't been in many places where I've been like the trains are better than Delhi. Is that anywhere near the stadium?
Yep, there are. So if you're referring to the metro, Delhi's metro connectivity is fantastic, the best in the country by a mile. So
it's one of the best in the world.
Well connected that
I'm putting it up there. Yeah. If Delhi Metro ever need like an ambassador, I will do it the job in a heartbeat because I was shocked at how good their system was. It's better than the tube,
Yeah, that's high praise for sure.
The quality of the train
should be.
The quality of the train. I mean, obviously the tube has its own problems. Do you know what? Actually, have you been to London? Have you ever used the tube?
Yep. I have.
So do you know how hot the tube can get? Right?
I was there last summer, so I know exactly what you're saying.
So do you
I
know
wouldn't
what
wish
the
a central
issue
line on a worst enemy.
Oh, Varun, do you know what the issue is now? On top of everything else, that the collected heat over all those years have made all the clay so hot that they can't actually cool the tube down anymore.
Yeesh.
Right? So someone who knows science better will have to look it up and explain it to us in the comments. But that's what it is. And so now it's just and so even in winter, right, Varun, it can be really hot on some of those lines.
Crazy.
So anyway, Delhi 1,
sake.
London 0 on that. 128 for 4. In what do they call these on the ICC? These overs now? They got a stupid name for them.
Launch overs.
Launch my ass.
Yeah. All right, Prince Yadav back.
Yeah, sorry lads. I don't think blame Streamlit on that, not us. I'll find a way to get a different one up and running.
Oh yeah.
Narendra says, Jared, we're already hosting the Commonwealth Games in 2030. Yeah, no one gives a shit about Commonwealth Games. I say that as a person who lived in Melbourne when we had them. Top runner for the Olympics 2036. I don't think you are a top runner for the Olympics in 2036, is what I'm telling you, and that's based on
Who are the top runners, by the way?
Yeah, I've got a piece that might come out in a little while about that, but I don't think it's Ahmedabad. Can't compare with Australia because 100 times population density. Hey mate, the MCG has 100,000 people that they have to get rid of at that time, and you know they're all going to be leaving the stadium at the exact same time. There is a way to do this. It is not that hard. And it's not just an Indian problem, as I've said before. It's a global problem around cricket. Don't give me this shit. I've been around India. I've been around Sri Lanka. I've been to South Africa. I've been to the West Indies. I can tell you stories about all these stadiums. You put a stadium in the middle of nowhere, Narendra Modi 08X, and you get, right? You get a shit experience for people. If you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. But I've actually done this shit for a living. I know I've lived this, and I study stadium designs, right? Because of this sort of stuff. That's why I'd never vote for you. As the next ball is... I wouldn't vote for him as president or prime minister. And I mean the YouTube person. Cameron Green is still struggling a little bit here. He is 14 of 16. It's been a tough year to be Cameron Green.
He's just at a 4. That's all that matters.
Yeah, Australian fans have really turned on him too.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah.
By the way,
Are they
about
ever on his side?
Weren't they very big on him after the 20? I want to say the 2022. When was the last DGT? Before the 24 one, 21.
Yeah. The first one when that was kind of his breakout though, wasn't it?
Yeah. They seem super
this
big
one
on
is
him
whacked
then.
back down the ground from Prince by Powell. Powell's looking in decent touch now. Obviously struggling a little bit early on, but he's got a couple of balls away here.
Yeah, I don't think Powell would mind LSG's right on pace.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. Yeah, what do you guys think the pass score is here though?
It's going to be north of whatever they make, isn't it?
Is it
still
pass score for what the score they need to win, or what is actually par for a decent attack?
Actually par for the decent attack.
Maybe 180.
This
175,
toss
180?
and hit over deep mid wicket for 6. Big hit there, but it's a bad ball to Rodman Powell. He's going to hit those all day. Oh, just on that other one as well, when the guy said we'll get the Olympics in 2036. As I said before, Sydney got the Olympics, put them in the middle of nowhere, and now it's just a fucking waste. It's a wasteland, and no person with any brains would live out there.
But that's why I still feel the surface, you can go up to a 200. It's just, for some reason, KCAP batted themselves into a shell and they've not really been able to get out of it, apart from Robin Powell in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, so Garden of Eden is saying the True Values app can easily be monetized too. I think maybe run ads and all. I think it will work. Isn't there a Combox app coming, Jared? That's the end game, isn't it? That Combox will have it.
If you go to combox.tv, we will eventually have that. Me and Varun did some early work with them, but at the moment we're just trying to make sure that the app works correctly.
So the thing is that the only reason the link exists is that Cheyenne doesn't wake up at 5 a.m. asking me for some random stats of True Values. So it's just for him. And then I just have it. I think our Discord has it. I don't know how many people use it, but yeah. The issue with Streamlit is that it can't handle more than like 1 gigabyte of RAM at the time, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I've found an alternative, but I don't know how much I trust it yet. So once I trust it, I'll share it on this.
It's one thing on Combox. We will definitely have an advanced stats thing that will be searchable and will work in the future, but we're not there yet, guys. It's just too early for us. We have to make sure that the app works the way that we need it to first, and then that layer, but it's all part of the plan. We definitely want to do that. Prit says, new stadium in Ahmedabad is in the city and Metro linked. Lovely. I love Metro linked. Also, they're trying alcohol permitted zones in Ahmedabad. Didn't know that. Also, Olympics is proposed by India to be in multiple cities and not just Ahmedabad. I think that's what I'm saying, by the way. I think it's definitely not going to be just in one city. I think it's going to be split up if it happens at all, if they get that. The other thing I would say is, and this is really important, you all know this, because Indians are going to get really excited when they have the Olympics. The Olympics is the biggest scam ever pulled on countries or cities ever in the existence of history. All it does is drain your resources. You spend an absolute
Thank you.
fortune on things, and nothing good comes from having the Olympics. It's the opposite, right? You should be fighting against having the Olympics, right? And I say this as a city that had the Olympics well before I was born, and Melbourne is desperate to get the Olympics back again. And after seeing what happened to Sydney, and I know Brisbane and all this sort of stuff, it is the worst thing that can be perpetrated on your city, right? And me and Varun lived through it in London. Fuck all has happened positive for London out of the Olympics. So I was involved in Sydney when the Sydney had the Olympics. I've been involved in London when they've had the Olympics, and both of them have been ruined. Most cities, I think almost every city in the history of the world who has had the Olympics is still fucking in debt for having the Olympics. That's how bad it is. It does not help your city at all. It does not help your country.
I mean, it's more of a soft power thing is what I used to initially think, but I now don't even have an answer. Like, why do you want to host an Olympics?
Yeah.
Because India cannot afford one. Simple,
Yeah.
as simple as that.
It's a real shame because I love the Olympics as a concept, and I love following it, and many different things of it. But as a business decision for a city, it is horrendous, and you don't recover from it, and you end up with, as we said before, a bunch of properties in the middle of nowhere that you can't use anymore, right? That don't even help people. Right? They end up causing more issues than they're worth.
This happened with China as well, if I'm not wrong. After the Beijing Olympics, it sort of became like a ghost town of some sort. I'm forgetting.
Look at the history. Look at the history of the debts. The debts is worse than the ghost cities. Ghost cities, fair enough, I suppose. You've got to have, a couple of 100,000 live there. Maybe you got to expect that a little bit. But the real issue is the debt. You just get into debt doing it. And it's because the Olympics keep pushing you to build new things, when in some cases you don't even need new things.
Yeah.
Right? You have the facilities already.
And also about Ahmedabad, like someone spoke about it being metro linked and everything. But how will you ever get over the abomination that it is? I mean, that the entrances, you've got just one or two entrance gates for
it's got a problem
100,000
there,
people.
doesn't it? I haven't been to that stadium, so I'm not an expert in that stadium. But I have had a lot of friends tell me that it's a pain.
Man.
I'll tell you a really good story about this.
It's a stampede waiting to happen every game.
Rodman Powell is doing something here, guys. He's on 32 off 17. He mishits this one, but it may not be enough.
I don't know I'm not sure I like the dead bowling plans though.
Well, you don't like bowling knee-high full tosses all the time?
Yeah. Slightly suboptimal there.
There's been a lot of full tosses. There's a great story about Boston Red Sox, which is a very different kind of stadium because it is in the middle of Boston, and you can get to it from multiple areas. And I forget what the name of the Boston train line is, but all these different ways that you can get there. But they worked out something really fascinating by using data, which was that all they had to do was change the number of gates at each entrance, and that it basically meant you didn't have to wait getting into the stadium anymore. And it's like, I've talked to so many cricket grounds and stadiums about just using your data better. So counting where people come in. Because what happens is, quite often you have two gates at major grounds, but they're at either end to each other. But at one end, you have the same amount of gates open, but at one end it's free, and at the other end it's shockers. So I think, Old Trafford has this because of the trams. You can't get into the first gates because they don't have enough gates open. That one needs to be twice the size, right? There needs to be like the one at the front. So it's just little things like this. Anyway, as I said, I really like this stuff, and we're the people who pay for these fucking stadiums. We're the reason these things work. They should be made better for us, right? We're the fans. We're the reason that these things exist, and we are not treated correctly. Anyway, we'll finish with that one there.
I mean, I want to say
that's not a wide, is it?
Oh, it says they're reviewing it, so
yeah.
It's just above shoulder, not above head. So yeah, I'm assuming that he's not bowled two bouncers before this already.
No. Well, he bowled full tosses, hadn't he? So Avesh Khan, I think, what did we say he was? 30 runs off his first 10 balls. He's gone for 10 runs off his next, what's he up to? 20, if that wasn't a wide. Off his next 13.
13 balls.
A hell of a comeback. Yeah. And plus that really good, important wicket of Rinku. So well done to him. Remind me to put that in my notes. There's more Olympic stuff, by the way. IOC have to fund countries to host Olympics. They don't want to. The IOC is the scam.
Where do you think IOC themselves are getting the money from? Like how?
Yeah. They are the scam, guys. That's like saying to someone who is selling you insurance for something you don't need, those people should really make sure they give you some of that money back to the people who bought the incorrect illegal insurance. Well, they would, but the whole purpose of it is to scam. We got some others while we got a quick break here.
Good point. Have you tried the Mumbai local, Jared?
I don't think I have. Is it good?
It's interesting. Just to quote you, Varun, have you
I
tried
remember I went to a station
What's the
there
story?
once and we couldn't get in. It was so packed trying to get in. I couldn't get into the station.
Oh, I've never been to Mumbai.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Mumbai local is something. It's an experience.
Because I spent a lot of my time around the town area, which is quite nice and you can walk around easily.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
so it's easier to get cars in that area, right? Like taxis,
Yeah.
I should say. Is
Correct.
it the town that doesn't have tuk-tuks or is it another area that doesn't have tuk-tuks?
Yeah, it's the town.
Yeah.
It's the town.
So there's not as much congestion. So and you can get to Wankhedi pretty easy from there, can't you, from the town?
Yeah.
So that's generally when I've been in Mumbai. Occasionally you stay in a hotel out near the airport.
Greens finally got a boundary.
The only advantage with being in the town is the fact that the train line also starts from there, Churchgate, if you've heard of the station. So
I think that's where we
the
tried to
starting
get
point.
into, yeah.
Yeah. So that's your best shot at getting into the train. So if you found it difficult there, rest
No,
assured you're not getting
I'm pretty sure it was the
else.
station when we got there. People were lining up to get onto the platforms or something, and also the person I was with wasn't used to. They weren't from Mumbai either. I think the two of us just went, let's just go grab a car. We know what we're doing. And
Dude,
but I have done a lot of
there.
trains in India, like not just local trains, but also I've got trains from Mumbai to Pune. I've got trains from
nice.
Kerala
Got
to
it.
Bangalore to
Nice.
Chennai. Is that a train?
Yeah, there's a 5-6 hour train. Yeah.
Chandigarh to Delhi, plus trains within local places. I love public transport. This is why these sorts of things matter to me, because I actually give the shit. So 42 runs off the last 18 balls. The majority of those have been Powell. He's 32 off 17. Green's off 19 off 19. But got Mohammad Shami back on. Coming very wide on the wicket. And he hits the pad of Robin Powell and no run.
Jared, seems like his streams are reaching far and wide from one world leader to another. We've got Kim Jong-un in the super chats.
I'm everywhere, man. Code Noob says, watching Akshay's late reaction reminds me of Internet Explorer meme. I don't know what the Internet Explorer meme is, but I do remember using it. Nevin PD, this is for you, Varun, says, is there a formula or script where anyone can calculate the true stats, or is that proprietary? It is proprietary, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it technically is. I can't give you the formula because I don't know the formula.
There is a script to Green, and he's going to get this one away, finally.
There definitely is I use a Python script, but I don't know the formula for it. So
yeah, we have to keep some of those things, but we will try and make as much of it as publicly accessible as possible. We've talked to the guy who ran Basketball and Baseball Reference about it before, and we've tried to get it up ourselves between me, Varun, and some friends. We're working.
Shoddy. Well done, Green. Chalo.
Kenneth says, dropping the out of from, even if temporarily expensive play. Oh, out of form.
Yeah.
Expensive play can actually reduce the pressure of price tag. No, not really. You feel it causes issues. I'll tell you how it causes.
oh my
issues.
god, they reviewed the wide again, Jared.
So hard to
You
get
muted.
a wide against Cameron Green from bowling and bouncer, guys, because he's very tall.
Oh,
you know,
that's a
I
wide
think-
one, but that's a wide.
It should be a wide, yeah, that one.
It should be.
Okay, so let me.
We need to
explain
implement what
happens
Rob is saying.
when you play in a tournament where you get sold for 100 grand and another guy gets sold for $10 million, $5 million, $3 million, right? When you get dropped, when that player gets dropped and you come in, there is a resentment that starts to fester in the team that you are now doing the job of someone and you are not getting paid their money. So imagine the CEO of your company went away, right? And you're on 30 grand a year and you have to do his job for a month and you don't get paid any extra. That is why in professional sport, that is a real thing, and it's really hard to manage, and it becomes a big issue. You can handle it, of course, but I can tell you what, I tried to do that as a general manager a couple of times and was told by the players, you are entering a world of pain here by even mentioning this. Even though
Actually,
they
never
agreed with
thought
me
of
from a
this way.
cricket perspective.
Yeah, but that's a very fascinating way of looking at it, right? Because I genuinely have never thought of it this way. I've always been of the opinion that you have to field your best 11 and not your most expensive 11. But it does make sense.
If only professional sport was that simple.
That,
It was given a wide, and this one's whacked down the ground. It's along the ground. They might get 2. No, they don't. But again,
That was a
Cameron Green's
single.
starting to time them. Laughing at Nothing says Commonwealth Games 2010 left infrastructure in Delhi, which are mostly ghost towns, which are almost never used. Olympics here will have similar at a larger scale. Yeah.
not to
Commonwealth
forget
Games,
the scams.
Yeah, what I would say about the Commonwealth Games is, as much as I hate Commonwealth Games as a general principle and just don't like it, because it's not as big, the impact isn't quite at the same. And you can also the people who run the Commonwealth Games don't try and get you to build everything from scratch. But you're right, laughing at nothing. I think we had some issues in Melbourne with the Commonwealth Games as well, but I can't
You know,
say
the
that-
Delhi one was embroiled in scam, right? The Delhi Commonwealth Games. There was a massive scam that broke out of it.
I mean,
Surprise, surprise! There was a scam in India.
How can you have a scam breaking out of a scam concept? That's the double scam. King John says, "Come here, Jared. I have enough space for cricket." Do you know I wrote one of the only football articles I've ever written was on the North Korea in a World Cup. I wrote a whole article about them playing one year, knowing nothing about football, of course, and knowing very little about North Korea as well. It was lots of fun to write.
You know, by the way, there's an annual cricket tournament between South Korea and China. I hope I'm getting the countries right, but 2 of these random South Asian countries, yeah, they play an annual cricket tournament, and it's been happening for a while, like for 56 years or something.
Isn't there also, I think there's a cricket club in China, and I forget the city, but it might be Shanghai, and they're called the Shanghai Hot Dogs. And I apologize if it's the wrong city, but I'm sure it is. Someone brought it up again recently on one of our chats. Is it Shanghai Hot Dogs? Cricket. Can't find it now. But yeah, there's definitely a, yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, the hot dog, Shanghai. There you go. All right. So we have Shami's bowled this ball, and Powell's played an incredible shot he's moved his feet out the way to flick it. He is now on 34 off 20. Green's got himself up to 27 off 22, but the problem is that the expected runs now
Was it 185 last I checked?
It's 183.
Oh, okay.
So 183 feels low to me. So they need what, a 25 run last over, guys?
And
Yeah, they
still
probably
be
need
about
20
5
runs
below
over par,
par.
don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Bancroft says, from your view, what sport is tough? I mean, they're all tough. Have you ever seen someone like from another sport try and face a 90-mile-an-hour bowler, like properly bowl to them, not the full tosses and stuff? Like you realize it's a different kind of toughness that is revolved around this. Like ice hockey, knowing that I'm going to have my face slammed into. Oh, we've got an interesting field here.
Roman
Just one
Powell
sec.
was just scooped the ball for 4 there.
He has. Did you see the fielding position he had? They had the straight hit fielder, but inside the circle. So right behind the umpire in the circle. The old
Pollard
Kyron
field, right?
Pollard.
Yeah.
Yep.
MS Dhoni, Matthew Hayden combination.
Yeah. Who else?
Yes.
Kyron Pollard, Matthew Hayden, Cameron White. They used to do that for Cameron White sometimes too. Yeah, so I think most sports are tough, like, you know, but there are different kinds of tough, right? If you're an off spinner, that's about the easiest job you can have. And yet at one stage in your life, your entire fingers will be opened in calluses, right?
I so wish Ashwin was here to listen to this.
Yeah. Do you know about
I get what you mean.
Do you know my story about outswinging Ashwin in a pool? Anyways, for another day. I've told it before. That was a wide bouncer from Prince Yadav goes too high over Rodman's head.
And about
Blue
what he
Eagle said, who would you rather have, Raghuvanshi or Matre? Oh, how old's
Raghuvanshi by a
Raghuvanshi?
mile. He's very young. He played the 24 under 19 World Cup, so not very old. He's 21.
21. Yeah, I go him.
Raghuvanshi by a mile. I'm sorry, no offense to Matre. Raghuvanshi by a mile.
Yeah,
I would pick Raghuvanshi's younger brother over Matre. If I don't know if that's proper.
Akshay would pick everyone from the Raghuvanshi family, apparently.
His younger brothers are part of the KKR side, by the way.
You know, I'll just go different. I'll take Matre.
All right.
Another review on a wide here, if you're wondering why we're just talking a little bit again on height. Rodman did drop down quite a bit on this ball. Yeah, I'm not sold on Martre just because technically there's a lot of swinging across the line, and I just wonder if that is eventually going to come back to haunt him. It didn't with Steve Smith. But I'm always looking for things that are repeatable. And Raghuvansh's batting looks really repeatable to me for a long period of time.
That's true.
I think that's
Also, about what you
They
said
gave the
on,
wide, didn't they? Are we? Oh, no, sorry. They haven't given the wide.
on the other sportsmen playing cricket or something, last year there was this video that came out not last year, probably a couple of years ago when the T20 World Cup happened in the US. So one of the top baseball players, they did a video of him with Jasprit Bumrah where he gets to face, Jasprit Bumrah bowling at 90 clicks. Boy was, again, understandably, man's not used to this. Just because he plays baseball, he plays at the elite level of another sport does not mean you can play another sport altogether. It's a completely different ballgame, literally.
Yeah. I remember seeing an Aussie rules player who grew up playing cricket, right? Who faced Sean Tate in a studio. And this guy was quite a courageous Aussie rules player, like was known for that kind of guy, always putting his body on the line. And I've never seen him look so terrified. And it was because he couldn't pick up the ball, right? It just wasn't normal to him. So yeah, I don't know where that, but boxing is tough. UFC, is UFC a sport? It's probably not, it's a league, isn't it? Another 4 here is inside edge past leg stump from Cameron Green. They're getting them.
Yeah.
They're not being pretty, but they're getting them. Yeah, I mean, I still think boxing has got to be the hardest. Or any sort of, even martial arts, I think there's more. I just think boxing is a weird one. Like, you're going in knowing the other person's going to try and hit you in the head. MMA.
I would probably put.
Sorry, Richard, you're right.
Yeah. No, I would probably put it this way.
This is
You're
very
losing. You stand to lose a lot more with UFC or boxing or any of these contact sports. I wouldn't necessarily call them harder because I don't think football at its peak or cricket at its peak is any easy. You just stand to lose a lot more because you're physically going to be hurt. So that's
Being a jockey is one of the most dangerous things in the world, isn't it? I think it's one of the most dangerous jobs you can have, jockey. This one's hit out to deep in wicket for
What
one.
is the most dangerous sport in the world? Let's Google this.
I mean, a lot of jockeys end up as paraplegics and dying and, not being able to walk when they're older. I don't know if you guys have seen, horses are quite big.
Yeah, of course. I've never done a rodeo myself or anything like that. But what about those the bull runners in Spain? That's also supposed
It's not a
to be
real
a very
sport,
big
is it?
deal.
You're actually going there to get hurt, and then, that's not a sport.
Apparently it's mountaineering, Jared.
I'm not sure mountaineering's a sport, but that's also, I can see why that would be dangerous, though.
No, but if you're counting mountaineering, there's also mountain ironing, by the way. That's an actual legit sport.
What about cheese rolling? Have you seen those guys who do the cheese rolling down the hills?
Yes.
That's nuts.
Weird sports.
What about chess, but emotionally?
Chess boxing needs to be up there.
I still haven't seen chess boxing. Rob is obsessed with it, right?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Chess boxing. The first time I heard of the concept, I was like, wow, what a way to make a boring sport interesting. So...
Yeah, I like chess, but I don't think I would watch people do it. It's a couple of great slow balls here. And
they finished at 181 for 4.
Rishabh could have had a go at the stumps there. Maybe Cameron Green was just too quick and it took too long. 180, what'd you say it was? 181 for 4.
Yeah.
It feels under par. I can tell you the market thinks that Lucknow are a 65% chance of getting this. So basically 2 out of 3 times getting this. It was an interesting one. There was a lot of swing early on. There was some good timing, and then there was a whole period of that game where it looked very hard to get the ball away, especially for the newer batters. Eventually, Rodman hit a couple. Cameron Green got 1 or 2 away as well. Rodman's got a 39 off 24, but Cameron Green's 32 off 24 could be very, very costly. It might also be his last innings in the IPL this season. No?
Possibly.
I mean, for someone who just said that, you don't bench your most expensive players just like 10 minutes ago, that's an interesting opinion.
Yeah. The different thing is, if they lose this game, it doesn't matter if you bench your most It's
Got
only
it.
when you have a chance of making the playoffs that you worry about stuff like that.
I get what
And
you
if they
mean,
lose today, they may not have much of a chance of the playoffs. Anyway, we're going to take a break here. I should show you a podcast, and we'll come back for the second innings with more Varun Akshay and me, Jared Kimber, where I will not be shitting any further on the Olympics. Maybe. Are we not playing the podcast? Vignesh?
Hello? Are you asleep after the Greens
Vignesh,
innings?
can you hear us?
Baby?
We love the game, but we love the stories. Fans have stories. Former players have stories. Journalists have stories as well. Combox brings them all together. The game lives on.
Hello and welcome to our. We are reaching the end of this series, but today we are going to pick another all-time IPL 11 team, and this is for the Lucknow Super Giants, who have a fairly small history in the IPL. The same history as the Gujarat Titans, but less of a legacy because Gujarat Titans have won a title and come within the ball of winning another title, and finished top of the table, joint top points wise at least last season. Lucknow haven't really had that. So it's just Shayan and me today. Shayan has come as the staunch Lucknow fan who lives in the city. So we are going to pick a 12 again. We are going to pick 11 and a 12th man. Only 4 overseas players. The only relaxation in rules that we have for this 11 as opposed to the others is that the minimum number of matches that people should have played is just 10 instead of the 15 that we have for the teams with greater number of years in the IPL. We did that for Gujarat also, so we'll give Lucknow the same consideration, and we don't know how this will go in a sense, but we also know how it will go because there's not too many ways it can go, right, Shahan?
Yeah, definitely. I think with Lucknow, I was a bit reluctant to do a live for the Lucknow all-time team simply because there is not enough history. Unlike the city, because Lucknow as a city, of course, now it is time for me to do some Lucknow propaganda and talk about Tunde Kababi and all of that, like how rich of a culture the city has. But of course, I mean, the Lucknow team is new, but I think they're doing some cool things. They've actually started this new membership thing that I've actually joined, and it's like you can get a season ticket for 5,000 rupees. And so I'm probably going to look more into what they're going to do and might even do a piece and all of that. I've been in talks with the Taru and all those guys. So let's see what happens, what comes out of it. So they're a new team, and obviously the biggest challenge for any new team is to get a fan base. And right now, I feel the issue is that most of the people in Lucknow, they already have a team that they are rooting behind, right? Like obviously the ones that are pre-existing. Mostly you will find CSK fans, Dhoni fans, RCB Kohli fans, Mumbai Rohit fans, right? So these are the 3 most common ones whenever you even go to see the games. But especially the one that I went to watch, the CSK versus Lucknow game last year where Dhoni finished the match. That game was insane because if you see the videos of that game, it is just all yellow everywhere. And yellow also sticks out more, I think, a bit. So that also plays a part. But yeah, I think in due course of time, maybe if they have some star players, maybe if Rishabh Pant goes on a run, we might talk a bit about him later on, not in context of this team, but generally what it means for him to be a T20 cricket right now, how he can, stake a claim back in the T20 squad and all of that. So yeah, I think those are my thoughts on Lucknow Super Giants in general at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like you said, they don't have enough of a fan base right now, but
Yeah.
they are also young, and if they go on a run, the fan base will
Yeah.
build itself.
I agree.
They just need to, yeah, they just need to do that. They looked like they might do that last season, go on a very unexpected run when Nicholas Puran was winning them matches single-handedly, and then they sort of just tailed off. Nicholas Puran started like Gale, couldn't quite finish like Gale, one of Gale's peak seasons. But which is a nice segue into I'm making the first pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my first pick, Nicholas Puran. I
course.
don't think there was any other candidate who stood out as much as he did.
Definitely.
His raw numbers for Lucknow are also quite outstanding. I'll just read them out here. He has 1,381 runs in 43 games, and his average is 43. His strike rate is 183, which even in the impact player era is
Yeah.
quite amazing. So Nicholas Pooran was the obvious first pick for me. There was nobody who has done great things for Lucknow as consistently as he has, and with as much skill and talent. So yeah, that's mine. I think that would have been your first pick also, Shayan. So I have stolen that from you. So you can go ahead and make your next two picks.
Yeah, I think the next pick has to be Marcus Stoinis. I mean, I don't know if it's as obvious because he has pretty solid numbers for Lucknow, right? If you just look at his batting numbers, I think he averages what 28 at a strike rate of 148 roughly. That's where he's at in yeah, 20 average of 29, strike rate of 149 in T20s for Lucknow Super Giants, 952 runs. There was that epic innings against CSK as well, I think in the 2024 IPL that you had gone to watch, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I was there.
He has done a bit with the ball as well, though not enough. I mean, it's just 13 wickets from 40 matches, 17 innings. So I think when he is bowled, they have used him. So he bowls 32 overs in 17 innings, roughly. So 2 overs a game when he is bowling. But obviously, he's not a frontline bowler, and you cannot bank on him per se. But I think he has had his moments for Lucknow Super Giants, and he can easily slot in at, say, number 4 or maybe even number 5, depending upon how we go with it. If we go with Pooran 3 or Pooran 4 based on that combination. And the other thing is, like, obviously there is a very big name Indian player that, it is a bit hard to look beyond him, but also I don't want to pick him, if that makes sense, because now his best years haven't come for Lucknow. He actually has batted pretty slow. If you remember the 2024 season, he kept going at a pretty slow pace, so much so that we all remember the Goenka incident, right? Of course, that was not fair on Goenka. That was not fair from Goenka to KL Rahul like that in public.
This is like one of those Bollywood blinds, no, where everything is given except the name of the guy, so you can easily figure out who it is. But carry on.
Of course. Yeah, I know. I mean, it is kind of an obvious thing, right? But I just know, I don't know if I want to pick KL or not. I think we can consider him later on, but like I don't think he is just as obvious. I am thinking if I should go for another bowler or an all-rounder. Yeah, dude, I think I'll just go for a bowler. I'll go with Ravi Bishnoi. I mean, he has been there. He has been there in every single season for them. He has played 54 matches, so I think he is also their second most capped player after Ayush Badoni, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he's their second most capped player. And since you have to pick a spinner in this team, you have to go with Ravi Bishnoi, I think, as at least one of the picks. I know there is another good spinner, but I would go with Ravi Bishnoi as one of them.
Two other good spinners, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I would have...
There is an all-rounder spinner, which obviously I think we'll go ahead and pick him, but I think I'm happy with Bishnoi. Stoinis and Bishnoi as my first two.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you are happy with Bishnoi. Lucknow Super Giants weren't, which is why they released him. So he doesn't make their team. He makes our all-time Lucknow team, but doesn't make their team. And
economy of 8.8. Yeah, which is not too bad in the impact sub era, I would say. He hasn't taken a lot of wickets. I think you probably be critical of that for a leg spinner. 48 wickets in 53 innings. But I think he has the numbers in the sense of he has the volume. I know this might sound a bit ironic given I just snubbed KL Rahul for the same reason. But I still think if you're making a bowling attack, you have to pick. I mean, you have to pick one of the spinners, right? And I think you can pick both the spinners and the all-rounder spinner, in fact. I think the way the team shapes up. So, let's see how it goes.
I just wanted to tell you, Stoinis, just going back to Stoinis, his true strike rate is 11.8, which is pretty good. True average is 3.16, so he's slightly above par runs and decently above par
strike rate.
Strike rate. And Nicholas Pooran, his true strike rate is 31.25 and a true average of 21.4. That is just mental numbers, man. If you're scoring 31 runs quicker than the guys who are facing the same distribution of overs as you are, that is something. Yeah. So
that might not even be the most crazy thing about Pooran, because I think at one point we were looking up his true strike rate versus spin last year, and I don't remember the exact timeline or whatever it was, but I think his true strike rate versus spin was like 100 at some point, him and Abhishek, and we were like, dude, what are we seeing? This is just
100
like
versus spin. Okay, that is just next
that
level.
was just hilarious to watch. Like seriously, like you cannot look beyond Nicholas Pooran.
Yeah, by the way, Bishnoi has a negative true economy and true wickets. Almost neutral. Actually, it's almost neutral.
Yeah,
but it's
it's about
slightly
neutral,
in the negative. Slightly in the negative. So But yeah, he does have the volume, so I'll
Maybe
give
I
you
couldn't.
that one.
Maybe I shouldn't have picked them that early, but I think
Maybe you should
the
have.
way the way we are constructing the team, I think he probably makes it. He should make it. I'm feeling less
Yeah.
and less confident. I don't know for some reason. No, it's fine. Let's go ahead.
But we
We can
also
always make
have-
him 12th and the fielder.
Yeah, and we also have only 4 overseas picks, so we have to,
Yeah.
I think Puran and Stoinis were both
Yeah.
straightforward. I mean, Puran of course was, Stoinis was also straightforward for me.
Yeah,
The
fairly.
other 2 overseas picks are the ones. So I'm wondering whether I should stitch you up and pick them, or be nice and leave one for you. Uh, maybe I'll pick one of them, because I don't
Okay.
know if you will pick this guy or not. But I'm going Mitchell Marsh to
I would have picked him.
open the innings. You would have picked him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has only that one season with them, but he
Correct.
did pretty well for them. So,
Correct.
and we don't have, it's not like we have like a huge sample size to choose from. So in that limited sample size, Mitchell Marsh was pretty good. He could, depending on how we go, he even captain the team. He does captain Australia, so he could even
Correct.
captain this team. And I'll pick a pacer who I had great expectations from, but injuries have laid him low. It's not Mayank Yadav, unfortunately. He has played only 6 games for Lucknow, so we can't pick him.
Yeah, we can't pick him.
Yeah, I mean, just to digress a little bit, I loved watching Mayank Yadav bowl.
Yeah, I went to his
the
debut
two-
game.
You were,
Yeah.
that
You
was
remember
quite
we were
something,
talking
right?
about it.
Yes,
at that
yes.
time. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
absolutely insane.
you went to his debut game. I went to his next.
Cricket has never finished at the close of play. It lives in the arguments, the memories, the comment sections. Cricket makes you talk. Combox is entering that chat. Akshay, he's never looked sexier, and he's back with Varun and I here. Oh, it's Rob Barron.
Hello.
See my little joke?
Very similar looking men, me and Akshay.
Yep.
Extremely.
How did you see that innings, Rob?
I found it annoying.
It doesn't sound like you.
Like a lot of cricket, it annoyed me. Thing that annoyed me, number one, was Finn Allen is definitely the biggest wicket in this cricket match, and he kind of got out and he kind of hit the ball for 6, and they didn't bother really looking into that, and they just went, on your way, Finn.
We talked
mind.
about that on air because originally we just assumed that he was miles from the boundary, right? Because no
Yeah.
one looked at it.
Yeah.
Then the first angle, I said to Varun, geez, he looks close to the thing. And then they didn't show it again for ages. And when they did, there's one angle where it looks like he touches it. There's one where it doesn't. I don't have an issue with that, but you have to look at it.
Right, that's my issue, is they didn't look. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they will look at a wide that has gone a yard over Cameron Green's head just because he asked them to. They'll look at that for 15 minutes, but the biggest wicket of the day, they don't really care. And yesterday there was one where we were on the broadcast and it was like, oh, that's a 6. And they just gave it 4, never showed it again. And we're like, well, 2 runs might matter in this game. I mean, it didn't in the end, nothing happened at the end of that game, fine. But they've got to start like caring about the big stuff and caring much less about stuff that doesn't matter, like wides. Raghavanshi, good, but didn't blast off again. He needs to start doing that. Rinku has issues. Cameron Green was boring me to tears for the majority of his innings. Whacked a couple at the end, boring.
He struggled a lot, didn't he?
He was absolutely rubbish until, what was he, 15 off 17 or something crap, and then ended up with a moderately respectable 32 off 24. But that doesn't win you games, does it? No one from Lucknow can ever get any wickets. That's an issue for them. Shami just bowls dry. No one can get the bat on the ball, but no one else gets any wickets. But yeah, that's pretty rubbish, that innings, I thought.
Well, welcome to Combox, and you're going to really enjoy the next innings. No, I think we felt the same. We spent about an hour talking about the Olympics in that innings, which does tell you that perhaps the cricket wasn't quite at its best.
So Jared, we have your Wagon Wheel super chats, I believe, as banners if you want to do them.
We will. We'll get to them. Let's just get through the first over. I didn't see who had the ball in his hand. Did you guys see that?
Is it not Aurora? It's Aurora. Yeah.
It is Aurora. Sorry.
Finn Allen out and Aurora in. So Finn Allen's done his work for the day, hitting a 6 and being given out for it, and off he goes.
It felt like 6 off the bat, that too, by the way. I know that doesn't mean anything, but as he hit it, I was like, well, that's gone for 6.
Yeah, Harsha Bogle said it's gone straight up in the air, so I knew it would be pretty close to a 6.
It's really hard, by the way, when you're doing, because the TV guys, the reason they make that mistake much more than radio does is because off TV, you're looking off the screen and all that happens is the ball leaves the screen.
I think.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're in radio,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking for the ball. So you still make mistakes, but you're looking for the ball. Whereas in TV, it's like, there's the ball, it's off the screen. Okay, it's in the air. I can see the ball and the sky.
What does Brendan Julian look at then? Because he doesn't look at a screen or the cricket. He just shouts out either just random words when the ball goes in the air.
When
He
you're
never
that
gets
good,
it right.
when you're that good looking, you don't need to worry about being good at your job.
I know, Jared. I know.
First ball
So, Rob,
here.
do you think
Target
182 is
182.
par here, or above par, below par?
Below par.
The market's
Yeah.
changed a little bit, Rob. They were 65% when they came off. They're at 68% chance winning here. Luck now. First ball's come in. It's back of a length. It's hit for 4. Just a slash,
Yeah, poor
really,
Bob,
from a mid-part. It's unfair to call that a slash because he played it much better. But it was a back foot drive in complete control. That ball seemed to go dead straight into the middle of his bat and travelled very fast.
I mean, for fear of looking stupid later, I think this will be chased really easily, given the personnel on both teams. I don't see nobody blasted off, nobody kicked on when they got set, and lots of people mucked about in the first innings.
I was going to say they had the 3 guys get stuck when they all. Even Rovman, who eventually batted well, he got stuck when he first came out. It was the triple stuck that did it.
I mean,
Do you
and if
think
Rahane can
KKR
get,
bowled Anukul in the power play?
Rahane was good.
Sir, do you think Anukul will bowl in the power play?
To these two, makes sense,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Spin the ball away.
Yeah, probably.
Big men, maybe slow it down a little bit at times. See what you can get off.
I'd
them.
rather Anukul than Saini bowl straight in the slot to Mitchmarsh.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition.
Yeah.
Bit of swing there and a slightly dodgy run.
This one comes back a long way. So he's swung that, but they've still stolen a single as Green just drops it at his feet. He's a big dude, Green, and he takes a little while to get going, but he's actually quite quick for someone his size. He played centre half forward in Aussie rules football, which is it's like a big guy, but a big guy running position, if that makes sense.
Okay. That does make sense.
There are big guy non-running positions as well in Aussie rules.
I think I probably would have found myself in one of those. Any big guy catching positions? Get any of them?
Yeah, definitely. The full forward position would be that. This one swings back into the bat, no run. Did you say Xavier Bartlett took a catch I think it was in Punjab's first game, and he took a catch, and it was an Aussie rules mark. He almost put his leg up like he.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was commentating, and I had to quickly Google which state he was from because I was like, I think he's from Queensland, but I actually think he was born in South Australia. So clearly, the man's played a bit of footy when he was young.
It was a good ball there.
How many screens do you have, Varun? Have you got 2 as well? As this one jumps a little
Yeah.
bit. And
Yes.
Markram pushes this to point no run.
I mean, regardless of any cricket and stuff, if this ball is 0 or 1, I burgle some money here. So that's what I'm cheering. So at home, have all your money on this ball to be at least 2 runs. Come on, Markram, block it.
Is this because you had unders?
I backed, field it. I backed
Was it under 6.5?
I backed KKR to have the highest first over, which is lost. But when they revised it, I backed the tie at 8-1, which is 8-1 to get exactly 6. It lands on 6 so often the first over. So I have negated my poor start. But so what I must do, like betting fans, is stop betting on overs when Shami has the ball in the first over, because Finn Allen tried to hit 3 sixes off the 3 balls in the first over, and he was nowhere near any of them, was he? So that is something where I'm going to put it away. But LSG, I mean, sample sizes are by no means big, but their first over so far, they've gone 6.
Yeah, Anukul's come on.
6.
Sorry.
And Varun was right. Here comes Anukul.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. That's why Varun is a captain.
He's my captain.
Varun, have you ever captained a cricket game?
No, I have not.
That is a travesty to the world of cricket.
To be fair, in England, captaining is the worst. Like, I go out of my way not to do it because you spend half your time trying to get people to get to the game.
See, that's the
Ball
bit
is pushed along off.
couldn't do when I was in the very famous cricketing hotbed of the Gibraltar Gambling League. I was very able to do the on-field captaincy, but the getting people there and getting the kit to the ground, that was for somebody else.
I've had a few times where teams have said, we want you to captain, and I'll be like, no. And they said, no, we'll do the organising. We just want you to do the... And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. 3 gullies, it is.
Yeah, I can do that bit. It's like, all we have to do, I've seen this guy face one ball. It's like, well, we need to put 2 people here and he'll be out in a minute. That's fine.
Yeah. That's easy. The amount of times in English club cricket, all I do is take slips out and put gullies in, and they're like, why? And I said, the ball never carries the slip, guys. None of you are bowling fast enough. But this guy will continually slash at the ball, and it will carry the gully. As this one's hit back to the bowler for no run.
And you have to know which of your fielders can move, which can run, which can throw, which can catch. And so some fielders, you just have to picture them as the big sack of potatoes. It's like, just imagine I have somebody that can, if the ball goes there, it hits them. Then you need the catcher. And then there's usually like 1 or 2 that can actually throw it from the boundary. And it's like, I'm sorry, lads, I don't care how good you are at fielding. You have to be the boundary riders.
I find that really hard because people in Australia can field, right?
Right.
So in Australia, it's like you're picking your fielders to be in the best positions. Whereas in England, anyone who can move has to be in the ring, because there's going to be 4 guys who can't move. There's always going to be a 65-year-old, isn't there, in one of these games? And he's not even going to be the slowest player either. There's always going to be someone slower than the 65-year-old. And so you're spending your whole time doing that. Whereas I can't do that, Rob. If you tell me who should be in the catching positions and who should be in the run-saving positions from a fielding position, from a normal fielding, that's easy for me. You tell me which Muppet should be in. Like, is this guy the guy at first slip that's likely to be hit on the chest, but the ball will rebound upwards?
Yeah, captaining low-level cricket is an art form, and I think it can have a huge impact on those games. If you just get people standing in the right place and doing the right thing. It's like you're 15-20% more likely to win the game, whereas the stuff that we're talking about here, which they don't do, as we watched a game full of it yesterday, which was a cracker, it's fine margins, right? But as we saw yesterday, games are won and lost. These are big money games that we're watching here on very, very small things.
Anecdotes is bowled a very good over, except for the fact that in the middle of it, he's given 2 wides. So he's gone for singles, a leg by, a dot ball. If he could he's just got to get it out of it in this last ball. He's tossed this up, and he has. He's gotten out of it. So he's ended up going for 7? Was it 7?
It felt a lot like he was
6.
just trying to keep it quiet
7 runs
more than actually take a wicket, right?
What was that, mate?
I think it felt a lot like he was just bowling defensively rather than actually trying to take wickets.
If he was trying to take a wicket, it was sliding the ball into the base of leg stump from a slug sweep, which is fair enough. I don't have any issues with that. But yeah, no, you're right. It was actually funny. There was one time I was playing last year. A bunch of my teammates said to me, "We really need you to take over, with tactics and everything." I said, "Look, this game on this pitch, I'm not sure I'm your best bet for tactics." Because the captain, who you guys aren't respecting, has actually played 10,000 games like this, right? Whereas my brain is more, on harder, faster pitches from Australia or professional cricket. And this is neither of those things. Having the guy at cover just because he once did a marathon 40 years ago is like, that's beyond me to keep that in my mind, that this guy might have done a marathon when he was 15. Anyway, we got another seamer on, and this is hipped, I'm saying, onto the pitch. And we've seen those pitches out there are quite fast. That's the second boundary we've seen today, just because it's hit the practice wickets and gone away for 4. Cameron Green almost injures himself on the way out, and Saini's first ball goes for 4.
Bad news, KKR fans. Cameron Green is absolutely fine.
I knew you would say that. I kind of left that for you.
I mean, he did a nice slide. He was 1,000,000 to 1 to stop that ball, but he slid, 15 meters on his bum.
Rob, we have a betting question for you. Crick thinks is the average of a batsman a good indicator for overs or unders? Bet, also considering all the phases of an innings.
No,
what a shot that is.
Markram has realised.
This is a better version of that shot, isn't it?
Yeah. The last one was a practice, and this one was the last one was like half a flamingo, and this one was 2 flamingos, and he's properly got hold of it. But he's realised that saying he's on now, and this is what Markram wants, isn't it? Exactly
Yeah.
this, like no mystery about it, no movement, just like quite fast, quite slotty. Yes, please. To answer that question, I have never ever in all my years of betting recorded a batsman's average. I couldn't care less. It doesn't help me bet. There are no metrics where I can bet on a
He
batsman's
doesn't even
average.
understand how to divide.
No. Division. No, thank you. It is of no interest to me, so I don't record it. It is probably the number one statistic in cricket that people look at, and I never look at it. I don't care. I don't know what anyone's average is. Doesn't interest me. So don't
Do you ever
look after.
use modes, Rob?
I can understand. I would have a look at them, but I don't use them. No, I don't record
Another
them.
boundary here. He's
Oof.
again. He's flamingoed on the leg side and the offside now because he's cocking that back leg up like he's an ingenue in a 1950s rom-com. Like
I
every
think
time he
the-
kisses, he's just flicking that leg, up in the air a little bit. This one was just on the ground, but he gave it a little dab just at the last minute, flicked it out the back, and another boundary.
I think Nasaini is designed in the lab to be bashed by Markram and Marsh.
Yeah.
This is this is just what he wants, isn't it? He has to get a wicket now, or it's an utterly dreadful over.
It's slow ball and it's a good
Ooh.
delivery and it's not
For
out,
sure.
but I like it.
Missing leg, yeah.
Yeah, probably going a bit too far, but it's a good delivery. Rob, more pissed off at Miller Champions Trophy semi 100 or yesterday?
Champions Trophy.
I'm fine with yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, I
I've
know
already
you are, but you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
I wrote about that because by accident I just I was trying to work out the exact maths of whether he should have took the single or not, which I did, and then I ended up just writing 2,000 words because it frustrated me a lot what happened. But it was such a fun game, right?
I think
don't
if you're
really-
a batter, you have to control the game. And I think that
no.
you and I fundamentally disagree with that.
No, you don't. You what Miller's job is not to hit the winning runs. His job is to give his side the best chance of winning the game, and to do that, he should have taken the single off 19.5. There's no argument. It's a mathematical fact that he should have taken it.
I don't know. I think he's more
it might
likely to
be-
hit 2 off the last ball than Kuldeep is to hit 1.
I think there's an
Cold.
element of like a bit like how in chess sometimes you'll sacrifice a piece to win later. Might be an element of that where he's doing a targeted gamble.
I mean, I can run through it.
Yeah,
Just
take us
going
through the math.
Going back to that previous one, right? The stuff I record is things like runs per innings and median and strike rate and position and things like that, right? That's what interests me. Form, first 10 balls, strike rate, all that sort of stuff helps me when I'm betting or helps my traders when they're trading, right? So that's the stuff we look at. When it comes to the Miller thing, right? As what an easy over that has been, other than the one ball where he did something different, the slower ball, the rest have just been take as many runs as you want. So they're now 31 for 3, nice and easy. Okay, so Miller, right? I'm just gonna run through this quickly. I'm not going to run through it quickly. I'm going to run through it and take ages. Right, Miller needs 2 off 2. Right, we know that to be a fact.
Yeah.
So if him and Kuldeep get 1 off 2, it's definitely a tie, and then we all go round again. And
Agreed.
well, we're going to assume for the purpose of this maths, it's not, but let's assume that it's 50-50 who wins a super over, right? Because we don't know what decisions they're going to make. We saw that with South Africa, Afghanistan. Any old nonsense can happen when we get there. So let's say it's 50-50. So Miller knows this. Miller knows in his head that it's about 50-50 who wins a super over, right? He also knows he will probably get to have a go in the super over. Another thing he knows, he's faster than Kuldeep is, right? He knows that as well, which is, I think, slightly important. He is offered a single on the penultimate ball. It's not a question of maybe he can run 2 or is there 1 there. It is a 100% single if he wants it. He hits the ball into 20 yards of open space, right? So if he wants the single, he can have it. Now it's up to Miller to decide whether or not he wants it. If he takes it, their route to defeat is only through a super over. They cannot lose in normal time, right? So then you've got to go, well, what price we don't get there? That's the price that Kuldeep is to get more than 0 from the last ball that we don't have the super over. More than 0. Obviously, it can be a wicket. But it's not the normal ball because they will 100% run the bye. And now Miller's off strike. He's fast, right? Kuldeep isn't. We saw that. We saw him waddling around and he didn't even try and run and all that. So Prasid knows that he must.
You're assuming that the ball's going to the wicketkeeper, yeah.
No, that Prasid knows he must either bowl a dot or get a wicket. You know, Kuldeep is is almost impossible that he hits a 6. It's very unlikely that he tries. His basic job is to try and get bat on the ball and run down the other end, right? All the fielders know that they either restrict them to naught or they've lost. So it's not a normal percentage chance of getting a single. But considering everything, and I ran loads of numbers, this isn't a number I just plucked out of the sky, it's about 75% that Kuldeep scores a run off one ball when he's 1,000,000% running the bye if he doesn't get it, right? So if he doesn't get the run, he gets out or they get run out, they're 50%, let's say, to win anyway. So if Miller takes the single, Delhi are 75% to win in regular time, and they're 12.5%, which is the 25% of him getting out or being a naught, divided by 2 to win after the super over. That means Delhi are 87.5% to win the game if Miller takes the 1, right? That's what it means. And that is based on loads and loads of, years of betting experience, knowing what price every ball is and all the rest of it, right? That's about right. And then he's chosen to go through door number 2. Now, what's the chances if he does that? Well, so now he definitely needs 2 off Prasad to win. We know this.
Yeah.
1 is a decent second prize because you get another spin of the wheel.
Slug sweep here, and that is 6 off Anukul. Traditional Mitch Marsh shot. And if you're wondering why we're not talking about the game, they're well over 80% chance of winning at this stage, Lucknow.
It's Sunil or bust now, isn't it? He probably bowls this over. I think he has to bowl this over. They've gone through their cards and none of them are trumps, so they have to pull out Narayan and hope it works. So door number 2, Prasad is going to try and get him out, or at least try and bowl him a ball that he can't score 2 from, right? So bearing in mind that Miller is on a heater now, he's 29 off 9 since he came back. He had 2 innings, didn't he? He had one where he broke his hand and couldn't score any runs, and then he came back as a completely different man, and he's 29 off 9. So what price is he to get 2+ off this ball? Again, going into all the numbers and everything, I came out at 53%. He's slightly likely to do it, just to get the 2+, not the single, the 2+. He's got 4, he's got 6, he's got fielders mucking about, extras, Y+1, loads of ways he can do it. Then the second prize is the single. Now, normally in the last over, you're about 40% to get a single off any given ball. Once again, this isn't a normal ball because the fielders know if they stop it, they've won the game, right? They stop the single. So all the fielders are massively on it.
This is up in the air. And is it going to be caught out at deep mid wickets?
Yes,
It
It is.
Well, that's what we needed. Not the best ball in the world. It was just back of a length into the stumps. And unfortunately...
Also, it was Viber who came back in.
Yeah, which we weren't
to the
expecting.
attack. Yeah.
And Markram has just tried to sort of strangle the pull shot really as much as it. Have you seen where his hands are on the bat? He's like right down on the blade.
Choking, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that had anything to do with that shot, but it looked like a choking pull shot as well.
Well, there's life in the game at least. And that's life in the game without having bowled Narayan yet. So that's a really big wicket, actually. Right, let's finish this off. So you're normally 40% to get a single, but you're not here. You're less because of loads of things. I reckon they were like 33% to get a single off that ball. So that leaves the dot or the wicket, which is ultimately what happened. The dot or the wicket is something like 14%, and that's about right? That's about the right number, 7-ish that it's dot or wicket. So if Miller takes the single, they're 87.5%. If he backs himself, which is what he did, and turned the single down and said, right, well, I'm 53% to win the game right now, or 16.5% via the single and then super over route, comes out at 69.5%. So he's made an 18% bad decision in favour of the other team. He is 18% less likely to win.
Here's my argument. I think you're way too high on Kuldeep scoring a single. And I'll tell you why. Wicketkeeper's got the glove off. It's not a normal situation.
He didn't have the glove off and he was miles back.
He should have had his glove off, right? But I'm saying if that is the situation that you would have had, right? From that point of view, if it was the last ball, he would have had the glove off and he would have been closer, is my guess. The reason he doesn't have the glove off in that situation is because of they knew the bouncer was coming, right? So it was a different kind of delivery. That bouncer wouldn't have been bowled to Kuldeep. So I'm saying if Kuldeep's facing, right, I reckon the keeper's got his glove off, is my guess, and he's closer. Secondly, you have all the fielders in. You've got a guy who hasn't faced the ball yet, who now has to get good enough contact to get it through all the different fielders. On top of that, you will have someone running to the wicketkeeper's end and you'll have someone running to the bowler's end.
No, you will have all of those things if you're captaining, Jared. How many times have we watched the last ball?
Okay,
when
also fair.
I was
But
about
you
to
know
say
what
Gill is very defensive as a captain.
But that's not defensive. That's just a normal field for the last
No,
ball.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. I've recorded lots of last ball fields of the IPL.
That is true.
I will send you back to Brett Lee's last ever game in the Big Bash final when he's on a bloody hat
What a
trick.
game that was.
And
Either
all
way,
they have to do is stand
We
by
all
the
agree
stump
that
and
they would
go.
have fielders in the circle, and that Kuldeep is not a very hard hitter of the ball.
He's not a
Agree?
very fast runner either. I agree
Right,
with all
yeah.
of that.
So I think your 0.75 is where I have the argument.
Okay.
Right? The other thing I would say is, and this is this out? Is he being strangled down the
It
leg
is.
side on
Oh,
a
he has
ball
been
shot?
given, yeah.
2 wickets
He's
to
been
pull
given.
shots
All over.
here. And suddenly this game is back on, just as we're finishing this chat, which is quite handy as well. It wasn't a good delivery. It was down the leg side. Mitch Marsh tried to give himself some room by moving across the offside, get it fine. And instead, a little bit of glove, do we think, guys?
Must have been.
Yeah, glove, I would
he's
say.
walking off, isn't he? Yeah.
Just a little bit of glove on the way.
So
through.
Jared, to ask you a question, like if Miller was on the non-strikers end, and so when Kuldeep was on the non-strikers end, he was completely backed up, wasn't he? He was not trying to gain advantage. Miller would have tried to gain advantage, right? Doesn't that increase the odds of a single?
It does, but think about you just go to Kuldeep's end. So what?
No.
Okay, I agree
Come
with
on,
Rob.
they're not going to go Kuldeep's end. They're not clever enough.
Well, I agree with Rob. That's a different argument. But I'm thinking about this from a smart cricket perspective. What happens is, Varun, you have one fielder for that last ball who basically fields next to the stumps. That's the job, right? And then you tell everyone we're going to Kuldeep's end no matter what, right?
Okay, but Jared, you are hypothesizing as if you can control all these people. I am setting the prices given what I know about all the people and what they
Also
normally
fair.
do.
But I
So
think
what,
you're still over.
Are we
I think
assuming
you're still
Butler will
over-indexed
accurately
Kuldeep first ball.
Are we accurately assuming Butler will throw to the non-strikers end with such accuracy under that
He's
level
not
of
the only
pressure?
one out there, though.
But he's
It's
the one
not
who has to throw it, isn't he?
No,
Like
he's
if,
not.
If he misses.
No, he's not.
Okay,
Because
assuming if it
won't-
goes to
I'm not saying
fielder.
it's going to be a bouncer. They bowled the
Okay,
bouncer
fair.
because Miller was facing, right? If it's
That's fair.
Kuldeep, you're probably bowling a slower ball and off stump and letting him try and whack it and he misses it and drags it back onto his stumps is your thinking, right?
It's your thinking, Jared. You are thinking as you, and you are not thinking as them.
If I was a batter in that position, Rob, if you told me that I was 18% better chance, but I'm on strike and I can control it, I think I'm willing to take that.
Okay,
Rather
so
than let a number
the thing is
9 who
though,
hasn't
right,
faced it.
if
Had
you
Kuldeep
choose-
faced the ball?
one, yeah, and he did
Okay,
exactly the
one.
right thing. He steered it down to third man and took the one, right? So his brain worked. His brain didn't
He's a
work
smart
off the last
cricketer,
ball.
Kuldeep. I like that.
His brain didn't work off the last ball when all he has to do is run because he didn't start running until Prasid was past him.
Okay, so here's my point. I think the issue is more. I don't think that Miller made a mistake as far as the decision he made because I think it's much more 50-50 than you think it is, right?
Well, I've worked it out and it's not. So carry on. That's
We
close.
got another hook shot that's almost
Oh,
caught,
and it's
by
a
the way.
6.
Drop for
Yeah.
6.
Yep.
These things have impacts on games. The old drop for 6.
But what I would say is one of the bigger issues with this is, and you can say this for the fielding team and the batting team is,
Maybe
they
not.
don't have the right conversations.
No.
Because all Miller has to say is the minute that ball is out of the hand, I don't care what you see me doing, you are going to stand a little bit wider on the crease and you are going to run until you cannot run anymore.
Right. So Miller has enough experience, 550 professional games or whatever it is. He has enough experience, and so does Kuldeep, for that conversation to 100 million% happen. Because it's very easy to say, well, in the heat of the moment, temperatures are rising, where the adrenaline's all the way up. These are old cricketers, right? In terms of the IPL, loads of experience. Miller walks up to him and goes, "Just remember, Kuldeep, your job now. You've done a brilliant job so far. With your 1-off-1 optimum innings, guided the ball to third man, got me on strike, great. And now I've hit the 6. Job's a good one. All you have to do is run up with Prasid." I said this last night. Imagine what Glenn Phillips is going to do in that
Phillips,
situation.
yeah.
He's running 1,000,000 miles an hour and he's starting off crouching. Kuldeep is leaning on his bat when Prasid starts his run up with no intent whatsoever to
I
run
don't
fast.
disagree with any of this.
Going right back to bloody Faruqi in the double super over nonsense of the World Cup, who couldn't run either. But so for his running, A, he doesn't set off quickly, bad effort. B, he doesn't back up, bad effort. C, he doesn't run very fast. Now, you might say he can't run very fast. Fair enough, he can't run very fast, but he didn't run very fast. And he also doesn't dive. Because when he's in a heap on the floor, you assume he's dived. Well, what actually happened is he ran, realised he was getting run out, and then he just belly flopped onto the floor.
Yeah.
Oh dear, we've
He
lost.
he does that. I don't even know what you would call it, but it happens sometimes at running where you almost collapse after you get to the other end. It is the Ryan coming on. That other one wasn't a drop 6, by the way. It was
No,
just over the
it's
top
too
of
high.
the fielders.
I
Butler
think, as I
brilliant
was
in all
telling on
that.
the group chat, Rob, I think Miller being 13 of 11 was worse than him not running that single.
Yeah, and that would be the other argument I would have here, as this one is defended, is that Rob's right, but how many mistakes are made in the game before that? And we end up over-indexing on the final mistake. And I get it, and I understand why, but like, as you said, we've just gone through a bunch of different mistakes there, including the wicketkeeper not having the glove off.
No, because what happens in the game is Miller is 12 of 10. Before he's about to explode, he gets retired hurt. Stubbs comes in. He makes like 7 of 6 or 7 of 7. 5 of which are overthrows, by the way. He doesn't even, he looks horrible, and he gets out. So the finishing anchors thing we talk about, they truly fucked them over, and Miller somehow, like, he caught up and got them back in.
I love the fact that both of you have used this to justify your own pre-existing beliefs on cricket.
Exactly.
Well, hang on. What
like,
pre-existing belief?
You hate David Miller.
I don't.
And he hates finishing anchors.
I hate all anchors, right?
I hate
but
what
I'm
he
going
did.
on my finishing anchors hating run.
I hate what he did in the just to answer the question that was asked originally. I hate more what he did in the Champions Trophy semi-final, because he scored 48 runs in the last 3 overs of that game to land on exactly 100, and then he celebrated it while his team lost a semi-final of a proper tournament by 50 runs.
You've never mentioned
Unacceptable.
it to me before.
Why did he have 17 overs of pissing about to score his first 50 was my question there.
Although that Miller has finally completed his Dhoni arc, though, bottling a chase after making a wrong tactical call might have he's truly earned the tag of the finishing anchor now officially.
We've got a good one here where a wicketkeeper and fielder have clashed at backward square leg, trying to get the ball. We've got a bunch of super chats that came up in the wagon wheel, but for some reason didn't come on the show, so we're just going to do them here now. Prathmesh says, "Is there a case for dropping a keeper to the edge of the circle?" Oh no, we've answered that one. There's no case for it. It doesn't help your team at all. Andy says, "Bar the IPL, which leagues have a cultural footprint?" Big Bash, SA20. CPL, I would say, a little bit, Rob.
Does a blast count?
Cultural footprint, it does. CPL.
Does Blast maybe as well then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about cultural footprints, the Bangladesh Premier League does, because we've had a lot of stuff
in
to
the
talk
wrong
about
direction, perhaps, though, Rob. And I would say the PSL
Is that a
as
cultural
well.
footprint or a legal footprint?
Define
in the BPL's case?
cultural footprint to me, guy. This is what we're here for. Define cultural footprint to me, and I'll tell you which ones are in it.
Andy says, "Is Stubbs or Brevis?"
Have we answered that?
We did that one as well.
We've done that one.
Sam says, "Why are quality seam all-rounders rarer than spin?" It's very hard to be athletically gifted enough to bowl fast and also athletically gifted enough to bat well. Those are two very, very different skill sets. It's not as different between spin and batting, from what we could tell athletically.
Also nowadays, sorry, Varun, go on.
Sorry, I was about to say, aren't spin bowling arounders quite rare too? It's just people think of spin bowling arounders like Maxwell is not a spin bowling arounder.
Yeah, but I think that's part of it, right? You can kind of fake spin bowling. You can't fake being fast, can you?
Like, by that logic, is Saurav Ganguly a seam bowling arounder?
Well, no, because he was bowling slower than the spinners in this competition.
Sorry, Rob, you were saying.
But I think you can cheat spin. You can't really cheat pace, right? You can be Darren Lehman or Viv Richards, right? It is very, very hard to be, to be someone who can, even Ganguly, right? Like, or Paul Collingwood, they're always limited by the fact they can only ever bowl, they can only ever move their arms so fast, right? It's also easier to have a late career surge where you learn spin, right? We've seen that before. There aren't very many people who at the age of 30 suddenly go, do you know what? I'm going to bowl right arm medium fast now, well, left arm medium fast in his case, like Sobers, right? It's very rare. If you're not a bowler when you're young, chances are if you're a bowler when you're older, it's going to be spin, not pace. So I think there's a few different moving parts there. Samit Khan says, South Africa's pace factory rolls on. Rabada, Berger and Geedy, elite. Janssen and Kotze are rising. Are we saying Janssen's not elite? Mapaka, McKenna next. If Stubbs, Breakfast, Herman, Luhan click, can they rival India, England, Australia?
Good shot.
That was another boundary there. It's.
I mean, they're better than England, aren't they?
They already have.
Yeah.
Didn't they win a World Test Championship just the other day?
They whitewashed India 2-0.
Yeah, I think they're okay. Would you guys have Berger as elite? No.
No, Berger's not ahead of Jansen.
No.
No.
I think I'd
That
swap
was-
Berger and Janssen. Coetzee and Berger I can see.
Yeah, I
As a
can see
good
that.
group.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no, they've got lots of talent. Also, for the first time, they've got spinners coming through. I know all their spinners at the moment are older, so we have to see if the next crop come through. But they've actually got spin. That was not the case when me and Rob were young. G26 says, any expectations, predictions for the West Indies 4-day championship?
Ooh.
Anyone to look out for? What's the 4-day championship? Am I missing something? Oh, he means the first class. Does he?
Yeah.
I think so.
Phone Michelle and ask him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to answer that one perfectly. I believe that the tournament will go ahead and people will play cricket, and there will be mostly a red ball used.
Nice.
Mhm.
Jessica, the Transmental Alchemist, says, in October 1982, at the age of 27, with 54 test caps, both of them averaged 37 with the bat and 23 with the ball. Yeah, I was saying this before. So someone said, why is he not in it? Actually, it was an interesting question. I don't know if you saw it, Varun, but they asked why Sobers and Callis are instantly seen as the two best all-rounders of all time, and Imran isn't. I was like, that's because people don't know what they're talking about, because Imran should be in that. I'd have Imran at least at the level of Callis, and I think I could make a pretty good case for him to be a better player than Callis.
I think he's better than Sobers.
You think Imran's better than Sobers?
Yeah.
Big call.
Okay, I never compared the two of them, but I like that.
See, I think the issue is, Jared, you respect batters, and I think they're idiots. So that's where the difference.
I don't respect batters at
comes
all.
from.
I think
Yeah.
that's pretty clear from my work.
You did a book called The Art of Batting, Jared.
Yeah, but I've also got a book coming out called The Art of Bowling, to be fair, to balance it out.
Yeah, if you respected bowlers, you would do The Art of Bowling first. You're a phony.
To be honest, I didn't even pitch The Art of Bowling first, which is crazy because I do enjoy bowling more. Maybe I wanted to warm up with the idiots first.
That's fair.
And so we were talking about Botham. As I said, a young Botham is definitely in the class of the other three guys. It's just that he doesn't continue with playing that way, does he, Rob? By the end of his
What would that be
career,
like? Ben Stokes' batting and Pat Cummins' bowling, I want to say, at one point, at his peak.
The thing with both of them,
Yeah.
right, is what players, boringly don't do now is that he was drunk for half of it. Like he was literally taking days off in the middle of test matches to have massive benders, and invite some of the other players round for it.
And it does catch up to him, though.
Yeah, well,
And he's really bad in the fourth innings with bat and ball, Rob. So maybe the massive...
he's levered.
Whereas Sobers did the same thing, right? But Sobers, it doesn't catch up to him. So, there is an element of that as well. But yeah, no, look, I still think Botham is a great. I just don't think he's quite... I don't think you'd ever put him on the level as the other. I tell you what, they've got to change these pitches. They can't have these practice pitches out there because that and any other ground on the world is stopped. And he's hit that. It's hit the quick part of the pitch for a shot putt. And the fielder has almost shit himself. It's come so quick towards him.
There's so many fielders at this ground that look like they've given up when they're boundary riding, because basically the second it hits those practice pitches, they're like, well, it's going off there at 1,000,000 miles an hour. There's no chance I've got to stopping it. So he's tried to go off cutter there, has he? And Pant has just absolutely seized upon it, and that might be the best shot he's played in this competition, Pant, because I didn't think he looked very good despite steering them home the other day.
Do you know what he did there as well, Rob? He gave himself room, so he didn't just come down. He gave himself room. And this one, he's got up and under on the leg side, but he got nothing on that. It might have been min off the toe, was it?
Bit
I
lucky.
thought that was 4, then it just somehow only got like 1.
God, it ended up at mid-wicket. He was trying to hit it to very fine leg, so it must have hit the toe. It's a fascinating shot.
Also, like, what is it, Jared? Imran has I want to say a 40 inning streak where he's averaging like 14 with the ball or something, and like 45 with the bat. Right?
I mean,
it's crazy.
He has almost
and
a
that's
10-year
actual,
period where
right?
it's 50 with the bat and 20. under
But that's
20 with
not
the ball.
actual. The issue with that is there isn't some years where there isn't an overlap, right? This is, I think, there was an overlap with his batting and bowling. So
I think at his absolute best, he's the only person that for about a decade was as impactful as Bradman.
yeah, fair.
And I think that is, that's a ridiculous thing to, for anyone to be. I just want to have a look at both of them then after the age of 27. So from 28 onwards, let's see what we've got here.
Narayan to these two should be quite fun because neither of them play this type of bowling, even though Narayan's got his own type of bowling, really. Neither of them score quickly against this type of stuff. After that last over, they don't need to. So I'm interested to see whether they just push him around and take the 5 or 6 singles that they'll get.
That's a pretty loose ball from Narayan there.
Yeah, that was a bad ball.
So Jessica said at the age of 27. Oh, wait, she said at the age of 27. Let me just change that then, because I've got the years wrong here.
So October 1982.
Oh, I'm just doing the age thing on Cricinfo.
No.
But it tell me if I'm wrong anyway. Yeah, he played 54 test matches, she said, didn't he? Yep, I've got that one here. All right, so he's averaging 37 with the bat and 23 with the ball. Do you guys want to have some guesses at what he does for the next 50 test matches of his life, essentially? 47.
Was it 30, 40, I want to say?
He averages 29 with the bat and 37 with the ball.
It's pretty good. Pretty close for him.
Yeah. So he basically flips his numbers, right?
Yeah.
So if he kept going the way he was when he was young, no issue with him being up with the other guys.
Yeah, easily.
It shows that to me that when you talk about Sobers kind of smashing it up at the same time and his numbers not dipping, and Warne's improving, if anything, towards the end, you think the level of genius that those guys had. You know,
well,
but both of them have to do more with his body, I guess.
Warne wasn't sleeping a lot because the shagging, but he wasn't a big drinker.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Same with Sobers. Sobers was I'm not saying Sobers didn't drink a lot. I don't think either of them drank at the level of both of them. They were both up all night because they were with women, right? Whereas both of them was up all night with men and women and anyone with an ashtray full of beer, right? So I do think there is I mean, I'm not an expert on how much sex takes out of you, but I would assume it's probably better than 15 pints.
Varun?
So there was
a dip. Cricket things.
There was a dip after the wickets, Rob, where they got down to about a 55% chance of winning, and they're up over 73% now. And as you said, they're just milking Narayan.
Yeah, and this, if you get above the run rate, what you can do against KKR these days, particularly when there's no Chakravarti, is you can just see off Narayan and just go, all right, fine. If you want none for 24, done. You know, we'll shake hands at none for 24.
Everyone else is hittable, isn't it?
Here's one for you, Rob. Crick Thing says, follow up on the batter's run line. How do I identify the run line is plus EV?
So this is the buzzword now amongst there's a lot of shysters around that don't know anything at all about betting, that bleat a lot on social media.
EV, Rob?
Sell tips, expected value, I think. So basically, the whole point of the game.
Good ball, that.
Only 4 off the over though. The whole point of the game, right, is you get good enough at working stuff out where you can work out the statistical chances of something happening. So when I do my bat line, right, I go, okay, here's Rishabh Pant. Let me look. Let me see how he's been getting on. And I do my numbers, and then I do my matchup, and I go, right, how does Pant get on against these bowlers? How does he get on against these bowling types? What do I think his form is? Because I can look at his numbers, and it tells me one thing, but I watch all the games as well, and I go, well, actually, I thought he was pretty rubbish at the start of his last innings. So maybe my number comes out when I've done it all at 25, right, for Pant. So I go, that's my median number for Pant. I think he's 50%, 24.5, let's say. I think he's 50% over, 50% unders, right? That's what I think. And then I go to the bookies and they're 27.5 for Pant. But because of the juice, because of the tax or whatever, I have to bet 1.85. No good. Doesn't interest me. I can't bet that. But if they're 29.5 and I can back evens under, then I have to bet because I've got value, right? So what value actually is whatever the real price is, can you beat that real price? It's no good saying, oh, well, I think it's 24 and I can back under 27.5. You're backing 1.85. It's no good. It's not a good bet. Or even 1.91. It's knowing what the percentage chance of something is, and you can only do that by doing the right numbers, and a lot of that is experience. And then looking around and going, oh, well, they've got this wrong. It's really easy if you're tossing a coin with somebody. If Jared and Varun sit down all day playing heads or tails and Jared lets Varun have 2.1, he'll win eventually. You know, he'll win. He might not win the next one. He might not win the next 10, but he'll win eventually because he's definitely got value. That's what value is. So it's the first bit is the hardest bit, is working out what the right number is. And then you go and look at everybody else. And if they're away from you, but if it's a 1 or 2 run difference, how can I sit here and say I know exactly what the definite median number is for Rishabh Pant today? I don't know how well he's feeling. I don't know how well he trained this morning. Do you know what I mean? I could be 3 or 4 runs off. So it's be very wary of people that think they that use this EV nonsense all the time and say they know all these numbers, because they bloody don't.
Yeah. No, that is very fair. There is I've seen some of the guys recently sort of come up on my feed, and I was like, I don't think that logic actually makes sense from that perspective. I see why people are trying to go up with it. It's Prasam says, grow up, Kartik. Which Kartik are we talking about?
I think I was replying to someone.
Possible in India, if biz and politics line both need people. Wankhede was renovated in a dense heritage area because they wanted to. It's easier to in India as legal can be swept away. Yeah, Wankhede, we were talking about stadiums before, Rob, and how it's better. We're going to a break here, obviously, with the timeout. It's much easier. There are many reasons why you can and can't do stadiums in a place. I forgot about Wankhede. That's a great stadium. It's just a bit small, I think, for Mumbai. Right? It's a shame that they couldn't get another maybe 20 to 25,000 people in there. I don't mind Wankhede, but even the facilities feel a little bit dated there as well. Rudra says, in Australia, is it more financially beneficial to play Aussie rules football or cricket? So this is quite fascinating. I've never quite run the numbers on this, but how much would Cameron Green be on? So he's on about 2.8 million in the IPL a year. He's probably on what, another 1.1 million, 1.5 million with Cricket Australia. I haven't
He's
seen
bowling.
He's bowling.
Yeah.
Well, we know he's about to be dropped then if he's bowling. He's bowled that short and wide outside off stump. It's been timed beautifully, but straight to the sweep out just for a single. So Cameron Green would be on what, about 3.5, about anywhere between 3.5 and 4.8 million, depending on everything. I wouldn't say he has a big sponsorship, but he'd have to be one of the highest paid players in Australia. The highest paid Aussie rules player is a guy out of St Kilda called Wanganeen, who's on about 1.5 million US dollars. So there's a big difference between what Cameron Green is earning and what the top Aussie rules player is earning. The difference is, though, that there are 500 professional Aussie rules players, all of which getting paid a lot more. This could be out.
Oh.
It is.
Oh,
I tell you what,
yeah.
they've got something out of the short pitch bowling today, haven't they? Another one. 3 wickets on the pull shot. And Cameron Green comes in and he's worth every single dollar. Take that, Wanganeen. But yeah, we thought they might. What length were we saying they should bowl earlier? Maybe they just needed to bowl shorter.
It's just banged it
I
in.
think good length was the best one. I don't think they bowled a lot short when I last
They
checked.
didn't. I think you're right.
Yeah.
So I think there's about 500 professional Aussie rules players. It might be more than that. It might be 700, 800 now with the bigger contracts and everything. But I would assume that the average person gets about 100 to 120 grand. Whereas there's probably only about 150 guys in Australia who get that. But if you get to like Ricky Ponting's level, right? Even before, or Shane Warne's level, the ability to make a lot of money from advertising goes massive. Whereas the top Aussie rules players can basically only get advertising in their local markets, right? Because they play for that team. So even we had a guy a while back from who was really famous, who played for Richmond. He struggled to get nationwide endorsements. Whereas, I'm going to tell you this, Rob, and you're going to love this. Dougie Bollinger once had a nationwide endorsement in Australia.
And so he should.
And not even
He's a
for his
legend.
cricket, but for his performance as a man in the background of these ads, right? And so if you get to the top level of Australian cricket and you're like Ricky Ponting or Shane Warne, you're worth 5 to 6 times what an Aussie rules player will be, right? But if you're a mediocre player, you're much better off to be in Aussie rules. You don't want to be the 18th best player in a Shield squad. You're much better off to be the 30th best player in Aussie rules squad.
So higher floor, lower ceiling, right?
Yeah. And there's more of them as well, right? So Cameron Green, I think Cameron Green was quite a good footy player himself, actually. So, you know, he would have picked the one that he thought would have got him more money, which in the old days was almost always footy, and now is increasingly cricket, as he's bowled the worst ball of the tournament, which has landed on his toe and is about 30 metres over the head of the
It's
new
landed
batter.
on the, there's a secret bit in the pitch that if you bowl it directly in front of you, it actually it's a trampoline, and he just bowled it straight onto the trampoline, and it's twanged about 30 metres into the air. But yeah, if anyone wants to go for a shave or a cup of tea, I'm sure they'll check the wide now for half an hour.
Did that hit the foot marks? Did he actually bowl that into the foot marks? Is that what happened?
Looked like he bowled it directly
bounced,
down.
though.
Didn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Into the foot
Yeah.
marks. I was a slow ball bounce. I can't see where it landed. Oh no, that's the Rishabh Pant one. I don't care about that one. It must have gone 4 meters in the air after bouncing that one.
That was really fun. Do that again. He's just a comedy character, isn't he, for his £2.1 million for playing in this competition?
Talking about that, Andy asked Varun, well, I'm asking Varun, is Cummins an 18 crore IPL player? Rather have Shami?
No, and I wouldn't have Shami for 18 crores. I assume
Ooh,
he means
really?
like as a bowler.
I'd have
As a
Shami
bowler,
for...
maybe.
No, not for 18 crores?
No, because he's so inconsistent in the IPL. There was a period he was really good, but then he was absolutely horrible last season. I think that was coming back from injury, right? But yeah,
Okay, so you take Bumrah before him?
obviously.
Yeah. Who's the next Indian seamer you take before him?
I think Bowie is more reliable.
Okay, Boovy's a good one.
general.
Okay, what do you pay
Bowie's more
Boovy?
reliable.
Would you pay Boovy 18?
I don't. Not this version of Bowie, I think. I don't know if
I
there
think-
is
okay.
another seamer at 18.
All right.
I'll be honest.
Prashid Krishna?
Yeah, fair. Maybe he'd be up there.
I just
I'd
think
also
bowlers
would-
are underpaid. I think bowlers are underpaid in general, and
Yeah, of course
local
they-
seam bowlers are the best thing that you can buy. In when it's easier to find guys who can cheat with spin a little bit, as we talked about before. Rob, Sandeep Sharma.
I was about to say Sandeep. Yeah.
I mean, peak Sandeep Sharma was incredible, but he's now bowling about.
I
Rob's
think
pace.
even Sandeep is quite reliable, isn't it? I think with bowlers, I'd look for high floor more than high ceiling.
I don't think any of us believe that Pat Cummins is 18 crore though.
The trouble with it, that one season he played for KKR, he was a
If
much
he was an
better
Indian player, of course,
bowler.
sure, but like not for an overseas player, I wouldn't pay.
I
that
don't think
much.
he's worth it as an Indian player for 18 crore, is he?
No, because
With
if
his
he's
figures?
a number 8 that can hit and he's a seamer, of course, and he's an Indian, of course, he'd get a lot of money.
Yeah, he's
I
very
don't know about-
valuable if he's Indian, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
about his batting though. It's very inconsistent.
But he
as we've
can
always
get a
said this,
50 ball
Jared.
15.
As we've
In a
said,
dead
Jared, he
rubber.
does. You
15
don't
ball
need to be good at batting. Teams just need to think you are.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Let's call that the Corbin Bosch rule. If I was it last year? Was it 2025? I looked up, or was it 2026? Do you remember?
I think it's 2025, wasn't it?
God, I've got to look it up. I want to ask.
I think you
Rob
did both.
because Rob watches a lot of cricket. This is flicked in the air again, back of a lane. We might have missed
Corbin
something
double, yeah.
here. Well, not that it was our fault. That the bowling team might have missed something in the first innings by not going short more often because the balls are sticking a little bit.
Yeah, they don't look happy, do they?
I think all the
looked
full balls have
million
travelled
bucks,
on this
didn't they?
pitch.
Varun, can you just have a look how many genuine short balls they bowled in the first 14 overs? I don't remember many. That was a cutter as well there from Cameron Green.
Can do.
So, Rob, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. After this ball gets whacked out just over deep mid wicket's head. I mean,
Ooh.
just, but over deep mid wicket's head, I should say. And that's a 6. So, again, it's a 6, but he took on the fielder. Corbin Bosch has played 16 T20 games this year.
Oh,
So in the first 14 overs, they bowled 5 bouncers.
And
in the
what
first
was
innings.
what was the record on those?
What's this? 5 runs and 5 balls or 6 balls? Yeah, 5 and 6. Sorry.
Oh,
that
another
wide?
bouncer. That's got to be a wide again.
No,
isn't it?
5 and 5. Yeah.
Well, he's giving it
It's-
no ball.
no ball here. No ball because he keeps
Oh,
doing
okay.
it over and over again, every single ball.
Yeah.
Well-
Makes sense.
Sorry, I missed. What did you say about the bouncers? How did they go? Five of them.
Sorry, 5 runs and 5 balls.
Okay, interesting. Rob,
Yeah.
Corbin Bosch
Go.
has played 16 T20 games this year.
Okay.
How many runs do you think he scored?
Well, 16 games. I reckon he scored 72 runs.
32 runs.
Bloody hell.
And an average of 8. Would
Bloody
you like to guess what his strike rate is on that?
110.
96.
Oh my God. Wow.
Green comes in again.
Reputation-
Still going back. This could be up in the air as
Whoa, this
well.
could be
And it
out.
might be out.
I feel this
Free
feels like
hit,
a
isn't
drop
it?
catch there.
It was
Oh,
the
it's
free
taking
hit.
it.
Of course
Oh,
it was
shit.
the free hit.
Of course.
Thank you,
Fuck's
Rob.
sake.
Come on. Someone.
thanks,
someone
Hey,
won
look,
that bloody
I
game.
can't look up Corbin Bosch's ridiculous batting numbers. Okay, last year, Rob, he played 27 games. He did make more runs. I'll give you a bit of a hint there. He made more runs last year. 167 runs. So you'd have to say he got in a few times in that. What do you think his strike rate was?
118.
Yeah, 119.
Bloody
You don't
hell.
have to be able to bat, do you?
You just need the reputation of it. It's just,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the other one is Akil Hossain. Someone asked about him the other day. It's like, why don't Chennai use him at number 8? Because he's rubbish, like at batting over a long sample size. He just happened. The thing is, if you manage to do a good one on the telly or at an important time, do you remember when Moeen got like £100 million for playing in the IPL because he scored the most pointless 50 of all time in a test against India the day before?
It's not why Moeen went. It's because I told RCB to hire him.
Well, it shows what RCB know. Narayan's back to Puran, which is a really big deal. But yeah, it's like when you actually go through Akil's numbers, he got a really rubbish 50. I think maybe his only ever.
Oh, what a ball this is!
Puran in half.
Oh, should have bowled him. It's a beautiful length coming back in, and Puran didn't pick it. And to be fair, he's seen a lot of Narayan. They literally live around the corner from each other, I think, and he still hasn't picked it.
What do you mean? What do you mean 7.5 Puran to be bowled? What do you mean? What do you mean, bookmakers?
All right.
Is that low or high?
Do you know what?
Very high.
I can tell you this. Akil Hassan's batting record is going to make Corbin Bosch's look a bit silly in a moment. As I'll just let Narayan bowl one more ball to his man, Puran, who pushes this on the other side. Wants to get off strike and can't find it. 2026, 18 games, 43 runs, an average of 14, a strike rate of 122. So not a great year so far this year. Last year, Rob, 60 games, 275 runs, average of just under 20, strike rate 134. Not a good number 8, but I think we'll all agree not a bad person to have in your lineup if that's the case. But yeah, you're right. I think
he's not a number 8 in the impact sub era.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
His numbers, his batting numbers, it's only the last few years with him. Although Corbin Bosch is pretty bad over his career, but his batting numbers are an average of 15, a strike rate of 114. It's probably similar to what Bosch's are. And
yeah, and it's not. So people in their heads have these guys as like power hitters, or they hit loads of sixes, whereas really they don't. They don't get many goes.
They hit sixes. It's just the 5-dot balls that people have.
Oh, Jared, your favorite example of this, Chris Jordan.
Chris Jordan.
He's done it a couple of times in the Big Bash and in the Blast. The thing about Chris Jordan's batting, he needs to find his level. It's like if he plays in the Blast, he can play at number 4 in the Blast in some of the games. If he gets 3 rubbish bowlers bowling at him, he's absolutely great. But if he gets one good one, he's out pretty much.
LSG has no structure, just 3 overseas and no all-rounder. Yeah, I suppose all-rounders aren't quite as important as they used to be, but I do understand what you're saying there. I think I've got an article on LSG where I'm like, I'm not sure how they are set up to win games outside of Puran being Puran or Marsh and Markram going nuts. There aren't that many other options that they have to win games. Oh, sorry, and Mohammad Shami taking like 3 wickets in the 2 for 9. He should definitely do that more often.
Okay, well, we've just seen the market jumped, and I wondered why. And then we just saw dew cam, didn't we, with the camera thing on the wheels and the tires. And it looks quite wet. So even though Narayan is bowling ... the market has made the chase more likely. They think forward defence against Narayan is absolutely fine because of the dew. And I kind of get it, because who scares you at the death? Because Saini doesn't, Tyagi doesn't, Aurora definitely doesn't at the death. You know, Cameron Green's got to really start nailing these bouncers. But
also, Narayan's only got 6 balls left, right?
Yeah.
And they're defending him. Badoni's coming down there, full front of the full face of the bat, defending. Okay, so Chris Jordan, right, was a very good bat when he was young, and then it slows down. So in T20 cricket, remember, he plays 1 million games a year, right? This is never any small sample size for this man. He averages from 2016 through to 2022. He averages 15, 18, 12, 9, 8, 18, 17. And yet people are still calling him an all-rounder. That's not an all-rounder. If you average 8 over 2 years, you're not an all-rounder.
What if you're really good at fielding, though? Does that count?
He is one of the best fielders I've ever seen, by the way.
He's really good at fielding.
Do you remember him as a slip fielder?
Yeah,
he might be one of the best slip fielders I've ever seen.
Is he the best fast bowling fielder? That isn't an all-rounder.
I mean,
Anderson's
good, but he's nowhere near.
No, Jordan's.
He's nowhere near Jordan.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who's a better fielder. Yeah, I think that's fair as a bowler. S. Sharma says Arshdeep and usually already getting 18 crore.
I did forget about Arshdeep. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I
well,
think
Arsenal's
18 crore for
forgotten about
Arshdeep
Arsenal
seems
this
about fair
tournament.
to me.
Yeah,
And
he's
Hughes
not
is
done
a
that well in
spinner.
the IPL, right?
Yeah, Hughes is also the all-time leading wicket taker and has been playing every year.
Just so you know, if Pooran doesn't get a boundary soon, he's going to get out because he's really angry. Because it's one thing to be blocking Narain and getting deliberate dots, but now he's at a massive 6 and he's 9 off 9 and he's missing balls from Saini, and that one has stayed really low. And Nicky P has not had a good 2026, and now he's 9 off 10, and the rate is going up. I think he's going to have a massive, great big mow at Saini very, very shortly.
What he has to do here, which he doesn't do enough for someone as talented as he is and I've seen him do this, so I know he has it in his wheelhouse, is teams just bowl wide to him, right? And the odd bouncer, maybe.
That's
Wide
wide
bouncer,
bouncer.
by the way.
Yeah. York is early on, fine. Straight and full early on. Then afterwards, once he's faced a few balls, it's basically the odd bouncer, and then they try and bowl wide to him. Have you ever seen him hit over cover? Just forget about mid-wicket, but he can't. He cannot do it. He gets so sucked in to try and hit everything over mid-wicket. Was that a wide, by the way? That had to be a wide.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
S. Sharma says, what if Gujarat used Rashid in Super Over after going for a tie? Oh, he's just talking about your numbers from before. Does that change anything?
Well, no, because I had to assume for those numbers that it's 50-50 in the Super Over, because as the ball hits those pitches and somebody actually stopped it, that's the first time that's happened.
Again, very good fielder, though. It was Rahane, wasn't it?
Rahane,
I mean, just as Jared says, Nicholas Pooran doesn't hit in the offside.
Even then, have a look what he did, though. It's still the bottom hand is coming through. So if he just aims over cover, it's not that he can't do it, Varun, because I've seen him do it. But have a look at that. He still drags it. When he just sits there and tries to ping them over cover, I've seen him hit 2, 3, 4s in a row, right? And then you have to change your plans. You can't keep bowling it to him. But he has to make that switch because he's still like, I need to hit this as hard as possible. No, you don't. Just time them over cover and you'll get so many free runs. We'll just cover this ball here just before Rob comes in. As this is a slow ball dabbed. He goes for another single. He's certainly not seeing the ball beautifully. Sorry, Rob. Does Rashid change your numbers?
Well, no, because I had to assume it's 50-50 because you never know what they're going to do. Because when Afghanistan tied with South Africa, it was really obvious what they should do is like go Abaz because he was the best batsman on either side, like done. Nope. As I well, obviously you go Rashid Khan because he was having a good day and he's your mega gun. He didn't get a go in either Super Over, did he? It's like, so you never know. Like, this is the bit, Jared, where I can't say that they would have done this or would have done that because you never bloody know. They're always doing crazy stuff that I wouldn't do. So no, you can't factor that in. What if they did? Then are they more likely to win? What if they used him as a bat as well? What if he opened the batting and the bowling in the Super Over? What about that? Miller would have batted in the Super Over, wouldn't he? I think that's a definite. Pooran's going to be out any second now.
What is he doing? It's like he's going to bowl a slow ball, mate. It's going to be outside of stump.
Back of the line slow ball, right?
Yeah.
If the next ball isn't a 6, Pooran isn't getting another. What are they?
Your only problem is he might not get bowled because I don't think they're going to bowl many balls at the stumps. That's probably the closest one.
33.5 is his line, and normally for Pooran, who's faced 13 balls.
I mean, he could also chop one on there. It does feel like it could happen.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, when you're backing bowls, I can tell you what you're looking for, Varun. You're looking for them to bowl at the stumps.
You want Narain to bowl at him, actually, the way he's swinging like a rusty gate.
He missed that by a foot,
Pooran, isn't it?
He has missed that by a foot. This is what I mean. He's so skillful. He doesn't need to just be the big power hitter. He can just slam these balls through cover, or time these balls through cover, or the offside, pick up some runs there, and then get his eye in again. Which is what
he's facing all the balls, and he ain't scoring many runs off them.
He's got another 2 there.
Yeah, really good over
Afghanistan, Zimbabwe, Ireland are in the World Cup in 27, confirmed. Also, Rob, India's Minerva FC defeating Liverpool 6-0 is the equivalent of Uganda giving an innings defeat to India in cricket.
Well, did that happen? Like, what? When did they play? Like, they didn't play in a proper thing, did they? They might have played in a friendly because friendlies don't count.
Is this back in the old days? Is this like
I don't know.
I don't know what this is. Sorry,
I need more context. If Minerva FC have defeated Liverpool 6-0, I don't know what it was in. Tiagi's back, so they're saving Narayan's last for later, which is funny. I mean, let's talk about Lesotho women because we don't get much of a chance. I watched them play yesterday, Lesotho women, and I didn't have a chance to watch them today when one of the Brazil women took a 9-for and had 9 of the first 9 wickets.
Wait a minute. He's talking about underage football here.
Is it underage football? What is it?
Yeah, so it's absolutely nothing like Uganda beating India.
Is something going on with the pitch here? That is it dying or something?
I think when you hit the pitch, there's certainly something happening, and they've been rolling their fingers over it a little bit. There is a little bit of inconsistency, and the ball is, as you say, it's dying off the surface. 92 off 54 looks tough for me, unless the Jew comes in.
Yeah,
I know the death bowling's not good.
There's so many factors at play, and you've just named most of them. Like that's it. Like I thought, given what I saw in the first innings, and given the death bowling that is on show here, it's kind of you've got Narayan and then you don't have anyone else. I thought that this would be an easy chase, and I've changed my mind. I think it's probably 50-50 because of the Jew.
This is up and over the top of the offside for 1 bounce 4, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's interesting. Also, when do they change the ball? And would the next ball react off the surface the same way this one is? You know the I don't know if you're watching the watch along when the wicket came of Rinku Singh, but I think that seemed quite a bit, Rob, which for me means that ball was just a little bit in better condition.
Okay.
They don't hold the ball up when they change them, do they?
They did yesterday.
Okay.
But yesterday's game was very memorable to me, and none of the others are really. Yesterday's game was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
Tiagi's in, and this is on the hip, and Badoni's trying to steal the strike here, but he can't get back for 2.
So before that former model had them at 90 for 3 using Hawkeye. So yeah.
90 for 3.
Nice.
And what were they at that time? About 90 for 3.
90 for 3.
So what's the point of us watching cricket anymore? We can just watch Varun's computer.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know. There's some sort of Epstein jokes that can be made there. Vibor says, is it psychologically better or worse for Jaiswal to have Vaibhav at the other end? All attention is off him, but there's already talk about Vaibhav being better.
Better.
Yeah. Playing with
Because
a player
I think
like that at the other end.
The difference
what you
is
want.
Jaiswal stops attacking after a while. I think he thinks too much at times since he in a flat pitch.
Oops. Oh, this
Slog.
is up in the air, and it is going to be
Gone.
caught.
Be out. Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
That was a very obvious unders for Nicky P there. He looked awful, didn't he? That was
Yeah.
a bad knock.
Awful. I mean, he's been out of form for a while, hasn't he? And he looked like someone who knew he was out of form and was trying to hit his way clear of it. And again, though, it's the short ball. It's not quite a pull shot, this one, but it's a similar kind of shot, which he gets nothing on. Wet piece of lettuce, and it lands at mid-wicket, and there's no run. Well, there's no run.
There's definitely no run.
There we go.
That's a huge wicket.
Hey, talking about bad commentary, as I just did there, did you get my text message about KP yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, what's he doing?
Did you see it, Varun? The one I sent to Barry?
I mean, he's right, isn't he?
What did he send?
He said they either if they don't get David Miller out, they won't win unless something else happens.
Oh, yes.
But do you know the worst thing about that phrasing is he'd almost said exactly the same thing about 10 minutes earlier about KL Rahul as well.
Oh my god.
His commentary about KL Rahul ever since they did that video together has been hilarious because he hypes KL Rahul up so much as KL's just pushing full tosses to mid-on for 1. No one can push a full toss to mid-on like KL Rahul. Oh, the great Indian batter that he is.
Yeah, the cricket rarely matches up with what Kevin's saying, does it?
Abdul Samad is in. Did he make runs earlier this year? I feel like I saw him.
He had one really good one so far.
Yeah.
The unknown for me here is Mukul Chowdhury. I don't know how good he is.
Good ball here. Good pace on. And I reckon that seamed away just a tiny bit as well. Again, around that same sort of period, 11, 12 overs. So it might be a slightly different ball. Shyam says, Rob, what's the luckiest bet you've won on a game? The most outrageous. Is yours one more outrageous than the one I had off when
I mean, that was a good one. Jared's got a great story for this.
I can't
which
even remember. All I can remember is that I made a series of huge mistakes, and somehow did they lose 4 for none, Delhi?
There
Yeah,
was a
something like that,
199 for 6 to 199 for 10. Yeah.
And I had 197 and under.
I mean, some of the outrageous ones are really, really good and really, really funny. But the cricket one that is the most memorable because I got really stuck in. So I used to have a theory, and it still kind of works, but it worked a lot more back in the day. That if a test partnership got over like 100, then the run out price became much shorter because you're like, well, how else are they going to get them out? At some point, the declaration batting starts, the batsmen get tired, it becomes a legitimate form of dismissal, right? And you used to be able to bet it every time at 33 to 1. That's what it was. And it was the Stokes and Bairstow Johannesburg mega long partnership, right? And they couldn't get them out. And I just kept betting run out. And every, I was betting on runs per over and bat runs and all the stuff I always do. And whenever I won a bit more, I'd have another 30 quid on run out, another 50 quid on run out. And back then, you used to actually be able to get these bets on. You couldn't do it now. You'd probably get 20 quid and they'd stop you betting. But I ended up racking it up that I'd had quite a lot of money on run out at 33 to 1. And I think it was Stokes played an absolutely dreadful shot, a chip, the easiest, one of these, just chip straight into the hands, as easy as you're ever going to see, to a not very renowned fielder for his catching, Abraham de Villiers, right? and AB 1.001 to catch the ball, like a lob dolly straight into his hands, drops the ball, and Stokes is halfway down the pitch, and AB angrily throws the stumps down, run out. Thanks very much. And I was like doing roly polies around the house, jumping in the pool. Like that was a very, very funny day. That was my favorite one because it was out and out luck, just pure luck. There was no chances. Badoni plays another really nice shot.
Yeah, lovely sweep.
Oh, sorry, Jared. The ball that Tyagi bowled to Abdul Samad seemed about 0.8 degrees away from him.
That's a lot for a 12th over, right? I think that's something we have to start looking at. So mark that down as another potential piece because I think we're seeing a lot more seam when they get these replacement balls on. And I think teams are starting to work this out and they're keeping seamers back who can come in and bowl that.
Yeah, also all 4 wickets have been short balls, right?
Yeah. Seam on old ball doing...
This is quite fun, this game.
Rob, what about your Krunal Pandya bet? The one for 1 in 71?
Yeah, so he was, and I called it before it happened, and before it started. As he's plinked that, Badoni. Lucky that he did. So that was one that we called live on one of the watch-alongs. Was it last year? That I think it was.
Yeah, Cricket 8.
And it was like, this is the day where they're going to put Krunal up the order. Why can I? Was it 75 to 1 or 70?
It was 70 something.
70.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm backing that because it's miles too big. Because watch, he's going to come up the order. And then there was a wicket, and he came up the order, and he was like toe to toe with Virat Kohli for an hour, wasn't he? And then he suddenly started smoking it everywhere, and outgunned Virat and got his only runs of the season were
he's bowled
him
full and straight. And
I was about to ask why he's bowling wide to 2 right-handed batters.
Yeah. He's gone for the big hit. He got away with the last ball, which was a dirty full toss, which he almost got a wicket off. And now he's gone straight and full on this one, Anacol. And yeah, just a standard spinner. And it flicks his pad on the way back through and hits off stump. And
pitch is dying here, I think, in front of our eyes. I think there's whatever it was in the first innings. I mean, there were bits in the first innings where we thought, well, they're just not scoring as quick as they should be here. And maybe it was the pitch. But I think this pitch is getting worse and worse because Samad played that as if he knew exactly where the ball was going to land and he could just hit through the line, and he's nowhere near it. That's a huge wicket, that. They've got very little help.
Ball, I don't think it turned.
No,
it just slid on.
Straight ball, right? Yeah.
Maybe kept in the surface a little bit, went a bit slower. So they were before Purim went out, they were a 57% chance to win. And they are now about 20% chance to win.
Yeah,
I think the market was a little bit slow on how difficult this wicket was. That's why you listen to Combox. It was certainly something that we were picking up. Anyway, Mukul Chowdhury is out in the middle. I've got I don't know what my notes say about him actually. He says, trying to find his notes.
So yeah, I had a bit, and there's just not enough of a sample for me to draw any conclusions. Right? And we haven't seen him do anything yet in this IPL. He got 14 in the first game. He got 2 not out in the second game. The 14 was off 11, and he got caught and bowled, didn't he, by Kuldeep? So I don't know. What is he, 21? Varun, you seen him play? Rajasthan, isn't he?
Who? Sorry.
Domestically.
Mukul Chowdhury's out in the middle, Varun. So we're just talking about the batting.
This cricket match we were watching, Varun.
Yeah, sorry.
I see he got
I haven't seen
54
much
off
of him
28.
Yeah. I think he's the one who's been.
28.
Apparently, he was smashing it in one of the practice games. So.
Oh, is this that guy? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a T20. He was batting with Lomraw, remember him?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he faced Shardul, Deshpande, Shedjay, not the best attack I've ever seen. And they got 216, which was then chased. So I'm not sure how much that tells us.
He's massive, isn't he? As this one is lofted over the offside. Long off, might actually be up in the circle there as well. So it was a free swing of the bat. And he didn't time it beautifully, which again, it's been a while. I think we saw one shot from Badoni. Was it Badoni? That pinged off the bat through point a little while ago. So not brilliantly timed, but good enough to get a boundary.
This is the slight problem that Badoni has, is he doesn't have the guns, does he? Never has had. To like that ball there is there to be hit for 6, but he's just sort of 10 meters away from hitting it for 6. And they need 6s here to get this chase done. They're going to have to negotiate an over of Narayan at some point.
Yeah.
Slow ball.
Oh, the timing suddenly looks back here. What a cover drive from Badoni. So one in the air, bit mishitty, a little bit sloggy. And this other one just in the slot and a test match shot. And deep cover doesn't even have a chance of stopping it.
When do you go back to Narayan here, Jared, if you're the captain?
What are we, 13
Are you saving him, or are you trying to get Badoni out right now and you've won?
I'd build one more over, I think, and then go back to Narayan.
So what, we'd be 14th now, so 15th. Yeah, 16th sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, who are you bowling next over then?
Unless this over goes ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I would have picked a better side, Rob, so this is unfair.
Are you going back to Cameron Green then, are you, next over? I think they probably will, you know.
That's not, I don't mind that. Who was the other one who got the, yeah, because you're probably going him ahead of Aurora, aren't you, at this point?
I think so.
Older ball. But it's one of those two, and I want slower ball bounces.
I think you'll get them.
Oh, my God. This ball's rolled along the ground.
Yeah, the pitch is dying, lads. It's dying in front of our eyes here.
Leg cutter on that
played
one.
very well.
Yeah, leg cutter, and it just rolls through the keeper on about 4 bounces. Also, Mukul Chowdhury looks really tall to me. Do you know what I don't want if I haven't faced many balls in the middle of recent times? Is a pitch where the ball's rolling along the ground and I'm tall.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of dismissals in play here. 70 off 39 on a tricky looking pitch.
Oh, misfield, of course. And then onto the fast pitches, although he's lucky he's taken enough pace off it. Oh, and then he threw the ball into the middle of the pitch. Some good work all round there. I'm seeing here somewhere online, and I know some of these are just made up, but it says Mukul Chowdhury is 5'10".
He's not.
Just have a look at him at the non-strikers end, guys.
I think some of Saini's cuts are spun as much as Narayan's have.
Yeah. The spinners actually haven't got that much purchase, but the slow balls have really stopped for whatever reason. I don't know what the difference is, but...
I want to know Mukul Chowdhury's height. That's what I want to know. Never mind the cricket.
Yeah. 6'1", 6'2", maybe?
He's no Brett Dory, is he?
He's no Brett Dory. Oh, this is up and over the offside. And does that carry?
6, is that? Is that 6?
No, 4. He's
Four more.
given us
Okay.
4. If you're going to bowl the slow ball bounces, they either need to be shorter.
Goodness me. But this is what I mean about Badoni, right? If I was his coach, I would say weights for you, please, because both of those balls that Saini's bowled are absolute 6 balls. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot here, but he could have 4 more runs this over. And that has failed to be a 6 by what, 6 inches? Just a few more bench presses or a few more weights or whatever. You've got to be able to hit dreadful balls for 6. And that was a dreadful ball, wasn't it? That was a hit me ball outside the off stump. And he's set and he's looking really good, Badoni. But he could have a higher strike rate if he added a bit more power to his game.
He's going to be facing up here again. And this one he hoiks on the leg side. He's just going to get the one. So
I've
we've
got
just got
some
a
good
message
fielders,
here
haven't they?
from one of Deepak's many personal trainers, Coach Athav, who says, I love Nicky P, but again, a tacky wicket and he hasn't made any runs. So this is why you can't just look at one innings and one game and say, oh, this is the reason he hasn't made any runs. And I'll tell you why. Because this year in 2026, he's played 10 games and he's averaging 13. That's a lot of wickets that were bowler friendly. Last year, he played 63 games and he averaged 39. Did he not get any wickets that were tacky or bowler friendly in that time?
The good Puran is possibly the best out of everyone. He's up there, isn't he? He's in the conversation for being the best.
He would
Like
be
the
up
best.
there.
If
I think he's
everyone's
just
at their
slightly
best,
too flawed to be the best.
if everyone's playing at their best, Puran's.
Oh, okay. You're saying peak Puran. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But the one we got at the moment, I don't know what I would do with him, because last IPL he came out and just belted it absolutely everywhere, and then he kept getting LBW in his first 2 or 3 balls, and he ended up having a normal season instead of a brilliant one. But considering he had a really, really bad SA20, not much cricket because he doesn't play in the World Cup, and whose fault is that? I don't know. West Indies board, I guess. Doesn't play in the World Cup, and then comes into this having not played much recently and had bad form when he did play. So no confidence. And then they go, right, you're our number 5. And that doesn't seem to be the right answer to me.
Dirty full toss here.
Has he got the guns?
He has. I mean, to be
Guys,
fair.
and it's his 50.
Yeah, it hasn't
Well
been
played,
a
sir.
mile, but he it's a good innings considering the match situation as much as anything else here. And he's got himself in. So 54 off 33, which for this pitch is kind of where everyone's been, right? Rahane looked like he was smoking them and he slowed down, and Rodman started slow and then got to this sort of 160, 170 is like good form on this wicket.
This is a very, very good innings from Badoni. Not an easy pitch to tame, is it? And he's tamed it so far.
Ribu says, Fleming basically said that he wants CSK to play Bazball, but is Samir Rizvi's success proof that there is always room for the old Dhoni-esque adage of just stay there and the runs will come? So Rizvi is just a terrible starter. Rizvi would love to score quicker when he goes out there, but he has trouble hitting the ball for the first 7. So I haven't watched Rizvi and thought to myself, this is a guy trying to get himself in and then hitting later. As Badoni hits this over cover. No, he doesn't. It's out to long off and he's out.
Oh, wow.
That's the game.
Okay.
That
was there to be hit. His hand just came off the ball, the bat, didn't it?
Sorry, I was just checking the bounce. Definite inconsistent bounce.
Yeah. Just seeing how wide this was. Was it on the wide line? Yeah, it was out, maybe even outside the wide line. As you say, Robbie lost his shape a little bit and didn't quite get it. He probably, again, talking about what I was saying with Puran before, he was trying to power that away, whereas actually the best shot for that ball was probably just to try and time it over cover. And instead, his bottom hand has come in, and then eventually the bat's hands come off the bat. Look, he's batted really well today. As we said, everyone has been got to about that level and then struggled. Abe says, Rob, what is your solution to fixed odds betting mess? Do you think it will ever get good for sharps? Also, Decimal provides odds to which books?
I don't know if I'm allowed to answer the second bit, but all over the world, Decimal provides odds. All over the world to multiple operators, some really, really big ones. What is my solution to fixed odds betting mess? Well, they won't put me in charge of everything, which is the only way it gets sorted, but it is a complete mess now. Do I think it will ever get good for sharps? Well, no, because they're running businesses, these people. But I tell you what, it's a lot harder than it used to be. Obviously every year it gets harder, but what unfortunately is happening now is people that want to bet and get bets on in fixed odds, who have any kind of brains in their head, must go black market. It's your only option, and that has its own huge problems, the black market, because if somebody doesn't want to pay you, what are you going to do about it? And the days of getting accounts with all these firms and getting all your mates to get accounts and stuff have become numbered, because even if you do get one, they last 5 minutes these days. And it used to be like, well, at least I'll be able to win a couple of grand off each of these betting accounts before they kick them into touch. And now they're getting kicked into touch, not just because of your IP and because you've used the device before and all that sort of stuff, because the models now, some of the very biggest companies, I know people that work for them, and they used to have to justify why they shut somebody's betting account to their boss. They say, why did you close that guy's account? He might have been profitable for us in the long run or whatever. Tell me why you did it. And now they're getting bollocked by the same bosses for not closing people's accounts. So they get people employed full time that don't know very much. I mean, I know quite a lot of these people. They don't know very much. And they just sit there chopping accounts all day long. Hatchet. Oh, look, this guy's had a winner. This guy had a bet the same time as some other clever man. Gone. And there's no benefit of the doubt.
I remember when I opened my accounts, I lost a couple within 5 bets where I wasn't even betting big amounts of money. But I think they were just Googling my name, right? And just taking the thing off. And the other thing is, I think they're now using AI to check betting patterns. So people like Rob, they're actually trying to find his betting patterns, even on an account that has nothing to do with him, and they're just closing it.
Yeah. So they have lots of spyware and stuff that they shouldn't really do, where they track your IP, and there's some of the stuff, I think it was called iOvation or something, where they know which websites you're opening. So even if you're a brand new account and you go onto the bookie's website and you also open Betfair, they're like, no, we don't want that. This guy knows how to look at prices, so we're not interested in him. Whereas if you sit there opening up bloody, Daily Mail or some site that rots your brain, you might get more of a run. There's lots of ways where they're tracking you, but yeah, they're now using AI, as Jared just said, to do the betting patterns. So then you have to try and do stupid betting patterns to make the computer think you're stupid, and that's fine. And then you might get a run, but you don't get a run anymore. You used to be able to get a run when you did jumped through all the hoops and did all the stupid stuff. Now it's like, well, what do you do? And most of my stuff historically, I don't do it now because I've got a job, but was live, betting all the way through the day and all the way through the games. It's not possible to make a living doing that anymore. That's why I've got a job. The pre-match stuff is still, you can still get it, but things like shops and betting in Asia and all that sort of stuff, I mean, there's lots of ways to skin the cat, but the easy ones have all gone, unfortunately. If Shami's your number 8, you're in trouble, lads.
I was about to say, it's giving me flashbacks to India and the 2023 World Cup. That
he's reminding me of the 50 I saw him make at Trent Bridge, but not the 50 at Lords I wasn't at.
That was a fun day. Which
one?
The Shami 50 against England at Lords.
Yeah, the Trent Bridge one certainly fucking wasn't.
Why not?
It's just that pitch. Do you remember? It just nothing happened off that serve. Do you remember how bad the Trent Bridge pitch was for about 4 or 5 years in Test cricket? Where if you could survive the new ball, it was like batters couldn't really score easily, but bowlers couldn't get them out. So it wasn't it wasn't even enjoyable to watch the batting. And the best dismissal I saw at that ground at that time was Ian Bell, and they fucking took it back off me because apparently he thought the ball had gone for 4, and you can't get run out if you make a huge error.
Yeah, what a joke that was. Fast.
God, that's a woke nonsense by MS.
That was the worst. Was Duncan Fletcher was the coach then? He should have fired himself.
Narayan back.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. This is probably a situation where you could have even held him back until it got out of control, right?
Agree.
But yeah, I'm not having a go at them because this is the exact over I said they should bowl him, so I'm not going to complain. But
no wrong answer here. They're going to win the game anyway.
Yeah. Always miss that by a meter. Neil says, how do you get players like Abby NP in form whose batting feels like it needs lots of confidence, and are they really out of form or just have a patience problem? No, you're out of form. I think Nicholas Pooran in the last 2 years was averaging 40 with a huge strike rate, and he's now averaging 14 or 15, whatever I said before, 13.4. So that's out of form. The thing with Pooran is, and Rob will know this, he's actually had this happen to him a lot in his career. So I won't go through the whole thing, but he basically averages about 17 for the first 3 years of his career. Then he averages 35, 35, 28. Then it's 21, 26, 29, so a bit of a dip. Then it's 49, 39, and now it's 13. He'll get that up, obviously, this year. But we do see him go on 2 or 3 year runs where literally no one can bowl to him, and 2 or 3 year runs where he gets out a lot more than you would expect for a player of his quality. He's what we would call, Varun, a spree batter.
Oof.
Now, how do you get
So-
that sort of person back into form? You have to work out why they're out of form, and that's that tough.
I mean,
bit.
Abhishek has a 48 of like 19 and like a 50 of 20 balls in his last 4 innings, right?
Yeah,
And then
I'm
he
not
has
as
2
worried about
single
him.
digit scores.
Also,
Yeah.
2 months ago, he was in the best form of any batter we've ever seen with our human eyes.
Yeah. That would be
I'm
true.
much less worried about him. I think that when he got
yeah.
sick, it actually affected his bat swing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think with Puran, he's just lost a bit of confidence. It's one of those things where you just need people to pump him up. What he needs is a really understanding team owner.
Do you get any of them?
Well, I'm talking about LSG here, Rob.
Yeah. Remember when was it his nephew that came and saw us in the Cricket 8 studios? Lovely
He did,
guy.
yeah. He works for Man City.
That's right.
Oh, wait,
Shammy.
so is it? And
And
Gone.
he's out.
Oh well. At least he tried. That was Narayan just way, way, way too good today. 1 for 14 in his spell.
I mean, to have a number 8 who can't bat in the Impact Sub era is truly impressive.
Well,
yeah,
someone
that's
someone said that
is
before,
very
though,
bad
didn't
team
they?
composition.
You know,
Yeah.
it's that whole thing of their side doesn't quite make sense, which is, I think, what I've been flirting around with. It's not that there isn't talent. It's how do you win games, and the structure isn't right.
At least they had like Stoinis last season, didn't they? Like they had some, or like a season before that. Was it 2024 they had Stoinis, right?
Yep.
Lucknow are going to finish bottom of the IPL.
You're not going to make
mate.
me say that Stoinis is not an all-rounder here, though, are you?
He's not anything anymore, Jared. He's gone at the game. He's too old, and
To be
he's
fair,
Yeah.
he's actually not a bad all-rounder in the Impact sub era, Stoinis. He's not
Also a
an all-rounder
T20
when you
World
need
Cup
him to bowl
legend at
5
one point.
overs. Like, Stoinis was at his absolute best when he played for the Stars or Australia, and they had Maxwell. And then you just use whichever one the pitch suits, right?
yeah, that's fair.
No, isn't he also like a T20 World Cup legend?
Yeah, won a World Cup for Australia. Because who was it? Who was the person who was fielding in the wrong place for Pakistan?
Oh, fuck's sake.
That does narrow it down.
Hassan Ali?
I can't remember. I did a whole video on it,
Is it
Rob,
Hassan
about how
Ali?
the fielder at deep mid
It's not-
wicket
Is it Asif Ali or Hassan Ali?
was in the wrong position. And if he's in the right position, Australia just doesn't win that World Cup. It's that simple. Because Stoinis had barely scored. Went for a big slog sweep, mishit it, hit it straight up in the air, should have been caught on the boundary, and then went nuts, and then Wade finished the game off.
Yeah, well, there's the our old friend Majib giving Glenn Maxwell the opportunity to do what he did in the other one.
Yeah.
54 off 23. Feels difficult.
It feels like a 1%
This is a funny
chance
comment,
to me.
Jared.
Aren't you a CSK fan, though?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as much as I used to be, but I am, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd want them to win. Yeah. Yeah, Amu, you should look at the our group chat to see how much more I abuse him in the last 1 month. So, yeah.
Never analyze your heroes, as they say.
Indeed.
How much has working at good areas changed how you see cricket?
Completely, right? I think I was a lot higher on anchors before I started watching good areas.
I don't even remember you being high on anchors when you started.
That's because I was already watching you for a year.
Fair.
No, but I think what
So,
happens
do you know
is
what that
I
is?
watched
That's
the...
like, I'm just going to speak over you for 1 second. That is like how
Sure.
when you can see that the LBWs start get changed in cricket before DRS comes in. And that's because the umpires have already started to see the footage and be like, oh, all these balls are hitting the stumps. Why are we giving them not out? They're all hitting the stumps when spinners bowl. And that you're like that version, but the good areas version where you're just like, I did love anchors. And then I watched your videos. And by the time I worked for you, they were the worst thing in the world. What a six that is.
So I think what happens was... Wait, what? Has he hit that for 6?
Yeah,
Wait till you
just
see that.
helicopter shot.
That's
Oh,
the MS Dhoni shot. That's the full helicopter. Beautiful.
Nice.
That's what we've come to see, Mukul.
Oh, nice.
44 off 20.
Can't hit that if you're 5'10", can you?
so,
Death bowling,
what do you
by
call
the
it?
way. This game
So
isn't
I
finished.
watched.
Lots of bad
I think I
bowlers
watched
left.
the IPL MVPs video. Then I reverse engineered true values, and ever since then I've been intent pilled.
Intent pilled.
Yeah.
44 of 20. Okay, Rob, I'll give you that. We'll keep half an eye. I actually closed down all my windows, but sure.
Well, you turn the game off completely. That's brave.
No, I have the I always have the win predictor up. Not the win predictor, but the betting market up,
Scorecard.
so
Oh,
I can
okay.
tell who's if anything's changing.
Well, that shot has changed the game a bit. That was great.
The problem is the other end, though, Rob. Although if you're going to bowl full tosses, outside leg stump bowling around the wicket, he's got away with it. But
Why isn't that in the car park? If he can do the last shot, how he did it, why can't he put the full toss away? Because that honestly, that should be in the second tier, shouldn't it? Why has he missed that? It's not the pitch's fault. Oh, then we're back on if he hits that for 6. They take the single here, so he's trusting Avesh Khan, who has got an IPL 50, hasn't he?
does he?
I want to say he
That's
has.
Arshad Khan.
Oh, Ashad Khan.
Avish
What's
Khan
Avesh
seemed
got?
like a pull.
What's he got?
He's best
19. Oh dear. 19 is his best.
19 not out.
He's got a first class 64. I want to meet the bowlers and have stern words with them.
Can I just say this though? Avesh Khan's batting career is awesome. Okay, the most runs he's ever made in a season is 22, right? But it wasn't the year he made 19 not out.
Wow. Wow, his trousers.
The year he made 19 not out, guys, he made 21 runs in the year, right?
That's
He
last
made-
year he got his 19 not out, right?
Yeah, it was. You're right. Yeah. So he's played 78 matches for 62 runs. But can I just read you out his raw numbers? Because we've been talking about Akil Hassan and Corbin Bosch. In the IPL, Avesh Khan averages 20 with a strike rate of 167. He might be one of the greatest IPL batters ever.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, he's a gun. He's just about to win this game for his team as well, as Tyagi comes in. I mean, what a shambles Lucknow are, the way they put their team together over and over again. And basically they were banking on the top 3 being amazing. But if Pooran isn't, and if Pooran, firstly, he's not in the top 3, and secondly, if he isn't amazing, they're done. You know, they spent all their money on Pant, haven't they, basically?
Oh my God, what a shot this is. This is
double
another
helicopter.
helicopter shot, but from the
Oh my
short
God.
ball outside off stump. So he's played the helicopter movement, but to a slower ball outside off stump that he's hit over long off for 6. Maybe even extra cover.
Where's this guy been? More of this, please. Watch this, everyone.
I tell you what, he's 7'2" now. He's growing an inch every shot.
I'm loving the helicopters. Absolutely loving it. He's tried to bowl, slower ball bouncer, has he?
It's just slow and wide into the surface. Not even a bouncer, is it? Or if it is a bouncer, there's nothing in the surface anymore.
So Jared, Avesh Khan had a true strike rate of 83 in 2024.
He might be the greatest batter we've never thought of.
Greatest intent merchant we've ever seen.
He's bowled a full toss here. Oh, they're knocking back singles too, Rob.
Wow. Okay.
Rohit says, Jared, give your best KKR 11. I mean, I'd go back to the mega auction. Is this the best pitch for KKR? They need a pitch that helps seam bowling, I think. But the problem is their 2 best bowlers are spinners. As I said before, their team is set up to play pace bowling really well, and their best bowlers are spin. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. Your best 11, I think I came up with it the other day, didn't I? Dropping Green and Rahane, and bring in Seifert, and who else did I bring in? Byron, can you remember? I can't remember now. But yeah, I came up with it the other day.
No idea.
They're not going for any runs anymore. It's just 2 dot balls here as he stopped. Why would you not let Avesh Khan, the greatest IPL batter ever, face? Do you know what would be good here? A 19 not out.
What we really need is a review for a wide and then a tactical timeout to take 10 or 11 minutes out of this game now. What a ridiculous question on the main broadcast there. Whose Super Six would travel closest to the moon out of Dre, Russ, Mitchell, Marsh, and Faf du Plessis? Like, come on.
I think it's Marsh. As this is talking about Super Six.
There we go.
Headed for 6. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, that's 83 meters as well. I think you'll find, Varun.
We are seeing somebody getting.
Looks like 88 to me. I don't know. I'm just going to guess.
We're getting the birth of an IPL legend here. This could be, and he's going to get some rubbish balls from these bowlers. If he is there at the end, they're going to win this game. I'm going to say that now. If he is there at the end, they're going to win.
I tell you what, he missed a full toss a minute ago.
Oh, 92 meters. Damn it.
How much?
92.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
So he's at 3 of the last 7 for 6.
Don't you think Mitch Marsh is more likely to hit the ball high than the other two guys from before?
I feel like he hits it
and why
like
was
flat
Faf
and
du Plessis
fast
on that
though, right?
list?
No, he hit 115 meter 6, I think, in 2023.
Oh, okay. But it said height.
Yeah, this is closest to the moon.
No, doesn't Marsh hit it like almost like gun barrel? Like there's no trajectory with Marsh. It's just straight and fast,
he
isn't
can
it?
hit very high balls. I would say he's probably one of the guys that win the slog sweeps he plays, Varun, and the pull shots. They go very high.
Fair.
Whereas Andre Russell has a great exit velocity, I would say. He's like Josh Butler. They very rarely hit it high.
Free swing for Avish Khan, everyone. He's going to end up with a 200 strike rate after he gets 4 off this ball. Because this is a ball where, with 30 required off 13, he has absolute full and complete license to have a massive swap because Chowdhury's facing at least 5, if not all 6 of the next over.
I would reverse scoop this for 6 if I was Avesh Khan.
I want to see more helicopters. That's what I want to see. 30 off 13 can be done.
Here he is, the great
I need a
Avesh
Loftus
Khan.
trade drive.
Kartik Tyagi bowling the last ball of this over, and Avesh Khan leaves the ball
swings and
exquisitely outside off stump. Just shoulders, arms. He missed that by about 1.5 meters and almost fell over. He was playing a delivery that was bowled down leg side, and he got a ball wide outside off stump.
That was some bat swing from Avish Khan, and the draft of that has actually knocked the wicketkeeper over. That is a very, very funny attempt.
I mean, fair play to him. Oh, did you see what he did after, Rob? And then he pointed, he said, there's a gap over cover. And if I'm Mukul, I'm like, yeah, of course there's a gap over cover. You're standing at square leg, dude.
I think he combined Mushfiqur Rahim and Mustafizur Rahman's names there.
He has, yeah. But yes, Patharana and the Fizz would be very handy here as well, as would Joel Garner.
Market says they're 22%.
They can't both. If
22% do this.
If you had Fizz and Patharana, like you can't play one of Green or Finn Allen, right?
Yeah, it is Green coming in. This is very high. This might be the ball game.
I think
actually,
it's out, right?
Oh, boring.
No, it's going to fall in the gap.
Oh wow!
They could have run 5 on that.
Did they run 2?
God.
I don't think they ran at all. Did they?
I don't think they ran. No.
It's a short wide one from Cameron Green, which has worked for him so far today, and it's hit straight up in there. And Mukul Chowdhury says, "No, yeah, they went halfway down and then went back."
I guess fair enough. Half a helicopter. He needs the full helicopter all the way around. This ball has to be 6.
Oh, this one hits him.
Oh wait, misses it.
Oh, has he hurt
This is good
himself
bowling
there?
though.
No, his gloves. He's saying his gloves are slippery now.
He's bowled well there.
It's annoying, isn't it?
It's
I
better
wanted
than the
Cameron
first
Green
one.
to get absolutely belted.
I'm just glad he's bowling. Actually, someone said before, what's your ideal, your best KKR level? If Cameron Green's bowling, I don't mind him being in the side again. If he's not bowling, I just think you can
I
replace
agree.
his
He
batting
balances
with
the
someone in
sides.
more form.
If he bowls, he balances the side, and if he bats,
I
he's
think
not
if
as
you
good a typer.
If
Simple
you
as
have
that.
Rodman Powell to give you like an over on a random day, and Green who can give you 1 or 2, it's not bad. I think it helps you.
Yeah, Rodman's bowling is probably not IPL level.
Yeah, but surely he can.
No,
Shit
you
has
get a
one
sneaky
over here
over. I
and
know
there,
what you mean.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
They also
bouncer.
have
This one he does get
wait.
under, and he's got that for 4.
4?
I think it's a 4.
I think it's 4.
No, that is
He's
a
been
6.
given
Oh
6.
wow. Oh wow.
It was close.
What a knock from the boy.
Yeah, it's beautiful from Mukul Chowdhury. It's a slower ball bouncer again. It's outside off stump. And he did well to drag that around, really, in the end.
Probably.
Oh, actually, no, that spun quite a bit, Varun.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad ball at all. I think it's just a good shot.
62 meters, that 6.
Yeah.
He's getting like 1 every 4 balls for 6.
Yeah.
And if he
Just
does that,
just keeping them interested, isn't he?
he needs
He's
1
been
every
Dawson
3
six
balls.
here.
6, yeah.
And he
Boo.
misses.
Yeah, big
Swing and a miss.
swing. It was like Avesh Khan was facing then. Okay, so he's got 2 balls to go in this over. He goes for the 6 this one and then tries to steal a single and then hope for a miracle. What do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, 6-1 is a good outcome because the bowler of the last over, probably Tyagi. Like there's no good option here. Probably Tyagi. If it's Saini, he'll chase it, or it's Aurora, who you wouldn't really want to bowl at the death either. Like you can't bowl Saini, that's the one it can't be. But go on, hit the 6 then.
Oh, it might be a top edge over the top for 4. We'll take that.
And it's a 4, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. Now you've got to take the 1, I think.
Yeah, run.
What you want really here is the wide.
So
Yeah.
Scamper down
that's
the other end.
1.74 degrees, Jared. the ball before.
1.74. That is ridiculous. I mean, they've done
think
well
that's
to
as
get
much as
close
Narayan is
considering
spinning
the
it.
wicket. Kanish says, Jared, who'd be your ideal Hasaranga replacement? There really isn't another guy out there who bowls that level of leg spin who can occasionally whack them, is there? Am I forgetting someone?
A fit Shadab Khan, but he's not a replacement. In the
Just get
IPL.
James Coles in. Let him have a go.
Yeah.
Slow left arm. Big
I
ball
just
this.
did a piece on James. Oh, this
Oh,
is huge.
shot.
He
6.
didn't go for the strike.
Oh my God.
He's gone for the strike, and he's just whacked this over
Oh,
deep mid wicket
fuck.
for 6. Huge hit there.
What a knock. Muckle.
Now he's left himself, though. 14 runs needed off 6 balls with Avesh Khan facing.
It's 2-1.
Yeah, so it'll either be like 13 or 5 or 13 or 4, isn't it? Assuming it's not risky run.
This is fun. Where's this come from? What a wonderful innings this is. So what we want here is Saini to bowl the last and bowl a wide first ball and they scamper the bye. That's what we want. Then it's on.
What we want is Avesh Khan to just go 6-6, drop his bat, walk off, and never face another ball in the IPL.
Aurora's
I need
getting
an
what?
outside edge 4, Rob. I want an
Aurora.
outside edge 4.
I
Or a
want a
hoik
no
and
ball
it goes over the
single.
keeper.
No ball single, please. I want
This
this-
is like
I
it
want
could
the
be also
siren
be like
gun.
a hoik and then it's an edge and it goes over the keeper. One of those.
Wow. Well, this is fun.
We've obviously got the slow over rate penalty because we have that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So only 4 outside the circle now. Which matters.
There's going to be like a 5-minute review for a wide in this over. It's 100% going to happen.
Yeah, of
Well, they're
course.
going to bowl probably
Yeah.
slower ball bounces, aren't they?
It's Aurora. It's Avesh Khan. Imagine if they just had one person out of their
If they
bottom
bowl
4
a
bats.
bouncer,
They've got no one out on the
a top edge
offside
is a
at
4,
all,
isn't it?
and he's knocked this
Oh,
on the
this
leg
is
side
smart.
and got
Lovely
a single leg.
batting,
Beautiful.
Avesh.
Beautiful,
Beautiful
batting.
batting because
That's
he's a
doing his
gun.
job.
I'm sick and tired of you guys being down on his batting when we know he is the chosen one.
Absolutely correct batting. 13 or 5 for the kid. Easy, I would say. Easy. 1 in 3, according to the market. 1 in 3 does it. Fair enough. Tell you what, gets to 6 here, it becomes very interesting.
Yeah, 1 and 3 seems fair, doesn't it?
Come on. I want to see him do it.
He's going to face all 5 balls, right? So
Yeah.
he's got to hit.
2 6s.
Yeah, that's the only issue is the 6s, isn't it? Because
But
he
he's-
can get it in boundaries. It's just whether he can hit them in 6s.
But he's hit 5 of them already, Jared.
No, I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying he can't. Like, he's going to have to hit 3 4s or 2
Yeah.
6s. That's
Come on.
the
Let's see
issue.
the 6.
Here he comes in. Anyway, he swings this across the line.
Bang!
Might be
Hey,
the
he was
first
going
of the
good.
sixes.
Six.
It is
It's a
the
6.
first of the 6s. That one goes 68.4
God.
meters, if I'm not mistaken. He just hoiks that across the line and puts it into the grandstand for another big one. And he's
an
just hitting the
absolute
ball
legend.
incredibly well.
One more of these and they've done it.
He
One more
might
of them.
be 9 foot tall by the end of this game. He's getting an inch at a time. I'm not sure what the thinking on that delivery was, fellas. Was that pace on or pace off? But it was a length ball angled into the body.
This is awesome. But we knew this. KKR's death bowling's rubbish. this is one of the three options they had, and the other two are Tiagi and Saini. So they don't have death bowling options, this team. But the other team doesn't have an 8-9
season,
or 11. And we're watching.
They're going to win a game where their number 8 was Mohammed Shami, and he came in with about 5 overs to bat.
Come on, do it, kid. Do it.
So Vaibhav Arora's 20th over economy was 15.5 last season.
Okay.
He needs to defend 7 or 4 to a man that is 660s now. What a knock.
Oh my.
He's bowled a cross-seam length delivery in at the body of a guy who is literally just with his all hands at the moment, this kid. Mukul Chowdhury, he's 7'8". He gets an inch taller every time we mention his sixes.
If Babar's on strike now, he takes a single now, tells his partner to get a single, and then gets another single.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that PSL game, Rob? In the same game as the yesterday's one?
I didn't see it. No, I wasn't
So
watching it.
they were like
this field is
116
crazy,
for 4.
guys. Sorry, just let me talk about the field.
Sorry,
they
go
can
for
only
it.
put 4 fielders out. They've got a deep mid wicket, a long off, a deep backward point, and a deep point. They have no fielders out on the leg side except for one.
Oh my god!
So he's going to bowl round the wicket, slow and wide, I assume.
And
that's
he can
wide
just
review.
go for square leg again, can't he?
Mm-hmm.
He can just swivel and smash this into the square leg region if he wants to, which he's been doing really well so far, Mukul. This is all about Chowdhury now. Can he keep his head on? Because he's got 4 goes here, and he will get a ball that can be hit for 6 in these 4 balls. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get out to this one. Keep your head, boy. He will definitely get a 6 ball.
Here we go. He's coming around the wicket, right arm seam. It is the wide one, and it's a good Yorker.
Oh, it's a good ball. That's a very good ball.
That don't know if he got some bat into the ground, but it looked like it hit the foot marks and it went up after he missed it as well. It's good pace on that. So Aurora, who goes at 15 runs and over, now needs to defend 7 off 3 balls with this remarkably odd field that he has at the moment.
It's a 50-50 game. It's a 50-50 game. It's going to be a tie.
Oh man!
Around the wicket again. What does he do? He scoops. He misses.
And
that's gone through to the wicket keeper.
Disappointing.
I wonder if he did hit the toe on that other one. Did you see? It did look like it bounced weirdly.
Disappointing. But
again, to be fair, 2 good balls as well. He's got 2 more goals, 2 good balls. I mean, one of these has to be a full toss, right?
Did that?
He's going to bowl a full
scoop
toss.
Went through his legs in the end. By the way, the attempted scoop.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
7 off 2. Anyway, what a game!
Come on, kid.
Can Mukul Chowdhury do it? He's got the wide one outside off stump. He's played the helicopter shot. He's hit it over cover for 6.
He's hit it for 6. Scores a level.
What are we talking about here?
That's the shot of the tournament. It's the shot of the tournament.
And he's got a 50, right?
Himself the ball before this. This is an extraordinary.
Fucking hell.
What a shot. That's the double helicopter. That's as good as it gets. What is Rahani's just applauded the shot, I think, rather than applauding his bowler.
He's played a helicopter shot, but have a look how he's standing at the end.
With one knee on the floor, if you don't mind.
Looks like he's in the sweep position.
What a shot. What eyes. We have just seen a star being born here.
1 off 1. Now, let's see some funky fields.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the attempted Yorker failed, isn't it?
Now, Avish Khan can become a hero here by... We all know what happened yesterday, everybody. Mm-hmm. What Avish Khan's taking his helmet off. That's a tick in the box.
That's great if he gets a straight drive back in the face.
Wow. What a game. And if it's a tie, I am...
So, Jared, a quick question here.
On screen here.
If you can't bowl a wide Yorker here, right? Because of the risk of a wide. And the other thing is, if you bowl a wide Yorker, the keeper can't collect it that easily and you can't affect the run out, right? So the bye becomes
we saw
much
Pakistan
easier.
do against the USA for a whole over once. You have to go straight Yorker. Here? You have to go slower ball into the wicket. Are probably his 2 best
slow bouncer
options.
again?
Yeah, or you come back over the wicket and you just try and beat him outside off stump. He's not. He's
He
coming
is-
around the
he's
wicket.
around
He's
the-
going to
he's
bowl.
gonna try it.
The slower ball. He's got the bouncer.
Oh, he's
was a
missed
quick
it.
one, and he's got away with it.
And he's missed
and then
it.
they've
Oh
won with
my
the
god,
bye.
they won.
Ah,
Avish Khan's the hero.
Oh my god.
That's how you run a bye, my friend.
Oh.
He didn't take off. Avish Khan did not take off until the bowler
What
went
a
past.
knock this is.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Well
have a look.
played, Mukul.
I just called this again as we see the replay here. So he's coming around the wicket. Avish Khan is stuck in his crease. He's running slow, Avish Khan. He's run out by, I think he would have been run out. It's just that the wicketkeeper's missed. That's all that's happened here is the wicketkeeper has missed with that throw. It went straight into the gloves, but it was a bouncer.
And remember,
they've got
Jared,
through.
Ankush is not a full-time keeper.
No, but yeah. I'm not having a go at him. I mean, you've got to hit
I
a
am.
lot.
Hit the damn stumps.
But Avish Khan, that was terrible running, Rob.
Avish Khan, as I wind it back, did not. So first of all, right, I've just
Fucking hell.
I have paused my screen with Aurora 1 yard behind the umpire, right? So he's got 3 yards to go to get to the crease.
I know what you're going to say.
Avish Khan has his legs crossed. He's leaning on his back with one hand, and his left hand is on his hip. This is unacceptable from Avish Khan. As the ball is released, Avish Khan has his back grounded behind the crease, and he's just looking at the batsman. Nothing to do with him. Doesn't matter. He should be sprinting at this point. Doesn't sprint. The ball goes straight into Raghavanchi's hands. Does he have the glove off? No. Doesn't have the glove off. Why would you? He's standing miles back. There's nobody anywhere near the stumps, which obviously there should be. And he's had a shy as Avish Khan has grounded his bat, a foot short? So he should have had him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
why
impossible
the
to say.
overarm with the glove on? So yesterday, Butler got it with the underarm with the glove on, the Skittles, rolled it along the floor, gone. And today we saw the overarm with the glove. It's really hard to throw a ball accurately with a wicket-keeping glove on. You take the glove off, don't you?
You either have to take
Unless
the
he
glove
knew
off
the
or
bounce-
you do the underarm.
or the bouncer is
those
coming,
are the two
right?
options.
How does the wicket-keeper not know if the bouncer's coming? The bowler has to tell him, right? Why is there no fielder
That he wouldn't know
anywhere
100%.
near either set of stumps?
Well, that's what I keep saying.
No
the
fielder
way-
anywhere near them. Anywhere near.
LSG have just won a game with Mohammad Shami as the number 8. This day will go
No.
down in history.
Hey, they've won a game at which Mohammad Shami was the number 8 and came into bat in the 15th or 16th over.
That's also true.
Absolutely bizarre scenes. What are we officially banning KKR team from bowling? Well, they almost did it themselves, Narendra. But thank you to everyone who's been on the live watch along with us today. What a fascinating. That was not the ending we were expecting. I can tell you that. Avish Khan deciding it doesn't matter if I run or not. It just matters whether the wicketkeeper can hit the stumps. Incredible batting by Chowdhury towards the end there. Some of that cover drive I'll be thinking about for a long period of time. And KKR decided that no one needed to be near the stumps right at the end. So big thanks to everyone who've been on this watch along. Obviously, we'll be back again tomorrow. But me and Rob, I don't know, Varun, are you popping in for the podcast or are you?
Nah. Too lazy.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But we'll see you all again tomorrow. And if you hang around in a couple of minutes, me and Rob will be back for a quick chat on this game. And to be fair, it's been fun. Combox. The game lives on.